just happens.
On talkSPORT's YouTube channel and also coming to you as well on your smart TVs on this Saturday afternoon. It's Saturday, November the 22nd. It is just gone 1 o'clock. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. To my right-hand side is Lee Phelps and William Hill. To my left-hand side, Abby Summers and Kwaku Wafari. The first international break done. October 1. Finish November. See you later. We have now got 5-6 months of proper Premier League football until we stop again. This is maybe the time of year where we start to separate the boys from the men, and the teams really have aspirations to achieve what they want to do, start to go on runs and take things up. So it is the 12:30 game today. Then in the Premier League is Burnley versus Chelsea. Been playing in this game for 30 minutes. Burnley started the game really, really well. Had a good sort of opening 10-15 minutes, putting a lot of pressure on Chelsea, getting a lot of long balls into the box. Didn't create any clear-cut chances, though. Chelsea maybe in the last 15 minutes or so settled into the game, having a decent amount of possession, but yet to really create any clear-cut chances themselves. Burnley have won just one of their 18 Premier League games against Chelsea. We've got 5 games at 3 o'clock in the Premier League. Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, Brentford, Fulham, Sunderland, Liverpool in action at home to Nottingham Forest. It's Wolves Palace. A 5:30 game is Newcastle v Man City, to a remarkable scoreline in the Championship. Southampton have had a really tough start to the season. A few weeks ago, sacked their manager Will Still. Away at Charlton today, 9th in the table. Southampton are 4-0 up. Charlton 0, Southampton 4. It's the first league meeting between the two sides since April 2011. Another surprising result is that Coventry, the league leaders, are losing at home to West Brom. Coventry won their last game against West Brom, but haven't won consecutive games against the Baggies since 1985. And promotion-chasing Bristol City are leading Swansea by 2-0. Bristol City have won one of their last 6 home league matches against Swansea. And West Brom have just doubled their lead away at Coventry. How about that? Coventry 0, West Brom 2. Ryan Mason's West Brom 2 up at the league leaders. West Brom have won 4 of their last 5 league matches against Coventry, but did lose against them in April. They've got a decent record against them, and they're going along very, very nicely in the early kickoff. Lee Phelps then, I'm guessing not many people would have had Charlton 0, Southampton 4, half an hour into that game. That's a remarkable scoreline in the Championship. They were 4 up after 22 minutes.
Yeah, amazing, and almost as amazing that West Brom are winning 2-0 at Coventry, to be fair. Unbelievable scorelines in the Championship so far. In terms of the odds, I mean, the market on the Charlton-Southampton game, you won't be surprised. Now, we suspended the 90 minutes because Southampton were 10,000 to 1 on with 4-0 up. Southampton to score 6 or more goals is 7-4, so there's still prices you can take there. Coventry to turn it round, a 15-2, probably not that big really. They need to score 3 goals. Obviously, well capable, but yeah, not good at Coventry for them. I mean, Preston losing last night was a surprise. I think, to be fair, I think Blackburn shouldn't be where they are on the table. I think they're a better side than the table suggests. They were, right down in I think the 19th,
just outside the relegation zone,
before last night, and they're a much better side than that. But yeah, that was a great result. So maybe it's going to be a weekend of surprise results. Bristol City 2 up, they're 12 to 1 on to beat Swansea. And in this in the Premier League game, the prices pre-match, Burnley were 5 to 1 to beat Chelsea. After 33 minutes, they're now 3 to 1 to win it. The draw 21 to 10, and Chelsea have got bigger and bigger. They're 10 to 11, so nearly even money. But this just it just looks like a customary Chelsea 12:30 after the international break performance. As
Liam Delap comes forward here. Neto and down the right-hand side across the face of goal. And that is Kyle Walker at his absolute best. They work it really well, Chelsea. The ball across the face of goal was a dangerous one. Gittins running onto it on the left-hand side. But Kyle Walker knew what was coming. He followed his man. He read the ball going in across the face of goal and cleared it out for a corner kick. But something you mentioned earlier, Kwaku, in our pre-match chat that we did amongst the 4 of ourselves, which, by the way, was excellent today, I should say.
It's actually really good.
Award-winning, they say.
Yeah, well, there we go. It will never see the light of day. You mentioned, Quake, Liam Delap's hold-up play not being particularly good, but there he was fantastic, wasn't he?
It was really, really good. He held the ball up, he turned his man, he drove, he played the right ball. That's what you want to see from your striker. If you're not scoring goals, we want to see hold-up play, and that's what the best Chelsea strikers have done down the years. If you think about Jim Hasselbank and Didier Drogba and Diego Costa, it wasn't just their goals, it was what they brought to the rest of the team and the way they engaged their wingers as well. So that's what we want to see from Liam Delap. We saw it, and we saw a chance for Chelsea. That's what he needs to do.
Yeah, go on, Lee.
So it's 13-2 to score the first goal, by the way. Liam Delap, as another Chelsea corner comes in, which is interesting. I think we do want to see that. There's loads of price boosts. João Pedro over one shot on target is priced up at 9-2 as well. That he needs 2 shots on target, obviously, but 9-2 seems a decent price if Chelsea start to go through the gears of it.
Yeah, Quake, that's probably Chelsea's best move, wasn't it? But is it fair to say, aside from that, it's been a pretty sluggish performance so far from Chelsea? Not your best?
Yeah, to be expected. We talked about it before the show that this is going to be a typical Chelsea performance where the first half is ponderous, and then Chelsea have got so much strength and depth on the bench. Think about Moises Caicedo and Estevão, who can come off the bench and change the game for Chelsea.
Oh, sorry to cut you off. That was a really, really good corner in there by Reece James. On top of the goalkeeper, lots of bodies in and around the goalkeeper. It was clear that then Enzo Fernandez from close range couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. But Chelsea, Quake, just starting to turn the screw on the stroke at half-time.
Yeah, and they pulled up a stat in terms of the teams that have scored the most goals from set pieces. Obviously, Arsenal were clear at the top with 10. Chelsea are second with 8. So Chelsea, that's something we've improved. The delivery is different now. It's on top of the goalkeeper, and so we do look more dangerous from set pieces, which we hadn't for the last couple of years, which is a huge part of the game now, right? This is what everybody's doing. Everybody's trying to catch up with Arsenal, and we've added that string to our bow. It's
a big week for Chelsea, isn't it? Obviously, this game today, and then next weekend you play Arsenal, don't you?
Yeah.
As we come out of the third international break of the season, where do you think Chelsea are at in terms of league form this season? What is achievable? We're still kind of just coming in the top 4, the kind of realistic best case scenario for you guys?
Something happened to me over the international break, and
did you have an epiphany?
A feeling started to bubble up inside. And again, I'm not going to come on here and say that Chelsea...
Pilates to Abby is hard, though. She really, really does put you through your paces, honestly.
Oh, Chelsea Charles, Chelsea goal!
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yes, get in there. 10 minutes before half-time. He loves to that celebration, Pedro Neto, but yeah, a good ball in. It's whipped in from out wide. Pedro Neto at the back post. A couple of Chelsea players queuing up at the back post, but he gets his head onto it, and headers it past the Bradford, and Chelsea 1-0 up.
Yeah. Lovely goal. Really, really nice header. Chelsea have won both of their...
I wanted to just dive into what this feeling is, because it's...
Was it Pedro Neto was going to score a header at the back post?
No. See, I think your feeling was potentially that you might insert yourself in a title race. That's the feeling I'm getting.
It's...
I just want to hear you say it.
It's not beyond the pale.
Oh.
It's not beyond the pale.
This is a lovely ball that is, by the way. Sorry, from Jamie Gittins on the left-hand side. He's outside the box on the left-hand side. He cuts in on his right foot and bends a really good ball into a dangerous area. Pedro Neto makes a really good run, peeling off away from the back post, and he just heads the ball back across goal. Lovely ball, lovely header.
Poor defending. There's no one in Neto that doesn't let him go. But yeah, if you're Burnley and you're at home, you can't allow players to sneak around the back and score a header like that, can you?
I don't even think Burnley have been particularly poor.
I think Burnley in that sort of first 15-20 minutes started the game really well.
They just
can't finish.
All right. And they'll go down.
Yeah, probably. I think so. Sorry, Quake. Sorry, is this you? Sorry, are you...
Yeah,
no, I was too. I was just doing my job, Abby, and telling people about the goal and how we went in. I'm just dotting the I. Okay, over to you then, Abby.
Are you in title race?
Ask me.
No.
You're asking you now.
I'm asking you now because...
Ask me after the Arsenal game.
No, I'm asking you now because it's around the same time of year that last year I recall saying to you, you're in a very similar position that you are this year, and you refused.
And do you remember what I said to you? I said, we're not in the title race this year, but next year we will be.
So are you in a title race?
Ask me after the Arsenal game.
Ask me after.
Because after the Arsenal game will be...
Where's your chest? Like, Chelsea fans have chest. Okay, they would never ever shy away from saying they're in a title race. So I'm asking you, what's the date? So 22nd of November.
22nd November.
22nd of November. You said you've got a feeling that's bubbling. Are you, Chelsea, in a title race?
When asked about the North London derby tomorrow, you're like, I don't think we'll get battered. So you can't talk to me about saying anything.
Oh no, I can.
That like,
I can.
No, you can't.
I'm not the mighty Chelsea.
We win trophies every year. This is my team winning.
You are Chelsea. You are the mighty Chelsea. You are.
Okay.
You don't have the same, little, what is it you always say to me, flush your head down the toilet, little bro energy.
Can you see a situation where this Chelsea team finished the season top of the table?
I love how you've rephrased it.
Yeah, but in a more less controversial way.
Yeah, weirdly yes.
Or Kwaku, how many pints did you have last night?
Weirdly yes.
In what? Genuinely, I admire your enthusiasm, and I'm happy to sit here and tell me this Chelsea team are improving. Blah blah blah. It's a young team. I'll give you all that. I cannot believe. I find it strange that last year of all years you decided to almost laugh at the fact. And fair play, you got it spot on. I am absolutely flabbergasted. You think that this Chelsea team finished above Arsenal this season?
I think Arsenal will win the league. I said the league was over like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Therefore, you can't finish above Arsenal.
You asked me, is there a world in which Chelsea could finish above Arsenal? And I believe there is a world in which Chelsea could finish above Arsenal.
Over a 38-game Premier League season, how and why can Chelsea finish above Arsenal? Do you really think a back four that, a centre-back pairing that has Tosin and Chalobah, and if it's not them, Achapong and a goalkeeper in Sanchez, you think that team over 38 games is good enough to win the Premier League?
Where's this belief come from?
I'm watching as things unfold. I'm watching the way that Chelsea are racking up wins, and I'm just watching it very closely. And there's something that's changed. There's something that's
What's
a little
changed?
bit different. What has changed is that, and again, nobody's moaning about injuries this season, and credit to all the fan bases because no one's actually crying about injuries. But Chelsea trod water without their best player in Cole Palmer. And we're getting wins, and that's about one of the best players, not just in the league, one of the best players in the world, a top 10 Ballon d'Or contender. Chelsea are treading water without their best centre back in Levi Colwill, who's out for the whole season. This is a group that have learned how to win games and win games crucially. And when you ask me about the Chelsea's back four, I say that Marc Cucurella is the best left back in the league. I say that Reece James is the best right back in the league. I think that Robert Sanchez is having a very, very good season. Yes, you can talk about the centre backs and they can be critiqued, but Trevor Chalobah is an England international, and so I look at Moises Caicedo, one of the best midfielders in the world. I look at Estevão, who we saw in the international break, one of the best young players in the world. I look at João Pedro, a very adept Premier League player. And so I'm looking at this team, Enzo Fernandez, a World Cup winner. I'm like, I can see the bones of a good team here. I'm not saying Chelsea are going to win the league, but if you ask me, is it feasible for this Chelsea team to win the league? Yeah, there's a world in which this Chelsea team can win the league. A lot of things have to go our way.
Okay, so a lot of things have to go your way. Is this Chelsea team better than Manchester City? Is it better than Liverpool if they get their act together? I'm just asking because you're just saying there's a world in which you can finish above Arsenal, which would mean you would win the league, which means you do think you can win the league. Yeah. But then you're also putting Chelsea above the other contenders, which are Manchester City and Liverpool.
I don't think they're that far apart. Sorry to butt in. And if you think about, if you think about it from a betting context, Arsenal are runaway Premier League title favourites at the minute, odds on. Then you've got Manchester City, who are 9-4, so just over 2-1. Liverpool 9-1. Chelsea 25-1. That's the only bet. Maybe Liverpool 9-1. I'd rather back Chelsea at 25s than Liverpool at 9s right now.
Chelsea last season, bear in mind Liverpool runaway champions. Chelsea conceded just 2 more goals than Liverpool with that moribund back four that everybody.
You were one of the main protagonists for that. Yeah. You spent 6 months on goals last season, crying and desperately saying that Chelsea needed a top quality centre back.
Yes,
so don't now say that we were all wrong. You were one of the main people.
That we were all deriding, right? That terrible back four, that Chelsea team that couldn't defend, conceded 2 more goals than the runaway champions of Liverpool, who've got arguably the greatest centre back the Premier League's ever seen, and so. And this version of it with Reece James, who's playing week in, week out, is a better version. Robert Sanchez is a better keeper this season. Robert Sanchez, under the radar, has been one of the best.
Really good this season.
I'll be one of the best keepers.
I'll hold my hands up and say that I thought he should have been the first bit of business you should have done in the summer was replace him as a goalkeeper.
And this is the difference between my team and your team, right? We play Arsenal next week. Every Chelsea fan is going to that stadium saying we're going to beat them. And
this about me. We were talking about you said you have a feeling you think Chelsea could go and win the league. We're not talking about my team. We're not talking about the transitional season that I'm in. I said to you, I don't think we're going to go there. And I don't think we're going to lose. I don't think we're going to get battered. And to be honest with you, with my track record at the Emirates, that's quite good.
My track record.
Well, my team's track record.
like it's all about you.
In fairness, every time I've ever been to the Emirates, we have got battered.
Are you watching it tomorrow?
I'm watching it from home.
Oh, home. Okay.
I'm not going.
Nice.
I'm not going. I'm not going.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, sorry, we digress.
I've just found a clip, by the way, on YouTube from last season. Yeah. Around this time last year, Kwaku Afari will win the league next year. Yeah. Kwaku Afari and Abby Summers clashed on Chelsea's title hopes.
And so I'm being consistent with what I said last season. I think there is a world in which Chelsea can leave.
What world is it? Parallel universe, this world? Put your chest on it, Kwaku.
So, Abby, so right now...
Show me that. What date was that clip?
11 months ago.
Today?
No, 11 months ago.
So if you think that you're going to go to the Emirates and get something, right?
This is not about Tottenham. I'm asking you about Chelsea.
Speaking about Chelsea here,
Stop deflecting.
I am relating it. This was related, right? So Chelsea, as things currently stand, are where? They're 6 points off Arsenal?
Yeah, we're 2 points behind you.
What? Wait, that doesn't work.
3 as it stands.
Three as it stands. If you go and get something, it's 4. If Chelsea beat Arsenal next week, it's 1. Do you know what I mean? Like that, and that's why I expect to happen.
Do you think you're going to do this for the whole season then? Do you think that come May, Chelsea are going to beat Arsenal? Because if you said there's a world in which that Chelsea can finish above Arsenal, that would mean that you've won the league. So what world is it? This world?
Quick. I don't know if it was you or another Chelsea fan, but I don't know if it was you or Roy Jones. I thought it was you on this show.
Yeah.
Didn't literally a couple of weeks ago you say that a problem with the Chelsea team, the way it's been run at the moment, hearing for example words in your mouth, is that the ownership want to do one thing, and that's bring in young players who have got potential, improve them, and then sell them and go make a big profit. It's not an ownership that want to win the Premier League now, and that's been shown in the market by the type of players that you signed. Was that you said that to me? I think it was you.
Yeah, I said we're capped.
You have had quite a change of heart.
Yeah, I told you something changed during the international break, and I looked at the team on paper, right? And I was going through these players, and can anybody argue that Reece the top 3 right back in the league?
That's probably
is Cucurella top 3 left back in the league? Yeah. Is Caicedo top 2 centre midfielder in the league? Is Cole Palmer top 2 player or top 3 player in the league? Like, is Enzo Fernandez a World Cup winner? Is Robert Sanchez one of the best keepers in the league this season? That's the bones of a very good team. So if you're asking me, is there a chance for Chelsea to win the league? Yeah, as much chance as anybody. I think Chelsea, if you did Chelsea and Man City combined 11, I think it looks very even, if not more Chelsea players in there.
Do you think that the lack of experience, a young Chelsea team, is if Chelsea do actually find themselves in a situation where come March, April time, you are pushing and going for the league, do you worry that this team has enough experience to get over the line?
Well, that's the issue, right?
Sure.
They haven't got over the line before, and we've seen it with an Arsenal team that have been challenging for the title for the last 3 years. They haven't managed to go over the line. It's normally a process to get there. But I am just watching this team carefully, and I'm looking at them picking up results, just going under the radar, not too much discourse, and it's the Chelsea team.
Oh, Delap with a shot there, tries to be the goalkeeper, his near post goes way wide.
It's a stretch to say that they'll win the title. But going back to my point earlier on, if they continue to improve, and there's I think what Kwaku was saying, there's some merit in what he's saying. They were 9-1 to finish in the top 2 before today. I don't mind that.
Yeah, but we're saying first though, Lee, and they're 25-1 to win the league, and that's saying a lot, isn't it, in terms of where Chelsea? I think it's a young team. I think it's an exciting team. I still
world champions, aren't they?
Yeah, well, yep, club world champions. You'll never sing that, Abby.
Well, and again,
although I'm sure you would look to rack up a club World Cup soon.
No, she'd rather win the Europa League than that.
100%. I'm not doing this with you again.
But half time, Burnley 0, Chelsea 1. As things stand, Chelsea second, 3 points behind the mighty Arsenal. Please tell me you're in here next Sunday doing Chelsea Arsenal with us, the watch-along.
I hope I am.
Yeah,
I think I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, we're eating good next week.
We're starving for next Sunday.
Yeah, but yeah. Again, everyone's entitled to their opinions, but I'm just looking at the Chelsea team and base it on the Club World Cup final where we beat the best team in the world 3-0. And that we're how many months removed from that? There's no game I go into saying that Chelsea got no chance. Unlike these lot who are going to Emirates saying they've got no chance. Just deflecting
so much. Well, by all accounts, then, if you are
Chelsea winning
the champions of the world, then you should be walking this league because you beat the best team in the world. So actually, yes. You are, just say it. Say.
What do you want me to say?
I want you to say what you're not saying because you're literally read between the lines of what I'm saying, skirting around it. Just say, I think that we could win the league. That's all I want you to say. Just say it. Say it. Well, he's saying in a
conversation about that.
Yeah, but he's saying in a world I can see. There's a world. Just say, yeah, I think Chelsea will win the league. Just say it.
Yeah, there's a world in which Chelsea can win the league.
It is talkSPORT goals. Burnley 0, Chelsea 1. We're back in a couple of minutes' time. A very good afternoon and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. We are live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and coming to you as well on your smart TVs. It's Sam Ellard, Lee Phelps, Abby Summers and Quakey Rafari with you this afternoon until 5:30 on a busy Saturday of Premier League football. At half-time in the early game in the Premier League, guaranteed title winners, according to Quakey Rafari, Chelsea are winning 1-0 away at Burnley by a goal. You know, I joke. This is the title challengers. Pedro Neto with the goal. There's been some goals and some results at half-time in the Championship. Bristol City 2, Swansea 0. Southampton are 5-1 up at Charlton, which is remarkable. And league leaders Coventry are losing at home to West Brom by 2-1. So while it's half-time then in our early game in the Premier League, Lee Phelps, should we pick through some of the 3 o'clock games in the Premier League? And you can try and pick out some prices that might interest some of our listeners and viewers.
Yeah, there's some good games, aren't there? I mean, it's been a feature of the last few weeks where we've seen some prices that are very backable for an ACCA. And you've got the likes of, whether you like all these, Bournemouth, who are maybe a little short of 4-6, Brighton 19-20, so just a touch of odds on at home. I think Sunderland are a good price, 13-5 at Fulham. Liverpool, obviously, you'd think would win at home to Forest. Palace at Wolves. So there's a decent ACCA. You've got your ACCA boost you can use on that as well. Bournemouth, West Ham. Bournemouth have got a bit of an injury doubt. I'm just waiting to see the team news on Semenyo. Obviously, that would be a big miss. But Doak obviously was injured for Scotland. Cliver missing as well. I just wonder, West Ham at the price, maybe not quite big enough. Callum Wilson I like, though. We put him up when he the last goal show we did before the international break against Burnley. He scored more goals in this fixture than any other, 7. They were all for Bournemouth, obviously playing his old team. I love a player going back to his old club. So he's over 2-1 to score at any time. I'll go for Callum Wilson. I think he's maybe just finding a little bit of form, him to score in that game. We disagreed on this one in the preview show, but I like Brighton to win at home to Brentford. I don't
mind them to win, but one thing I couldn't understand, and correct me if the odds have changed, but you told me that Brighton was shorter to beat Brentford at home than City were to win at Newcastle and Villa were to win at Leeds. Yeah, I couldn't get my head around that.
Yeah, still the case. Yeah, Brighton and actually City.
Does that surprise you?
City have drifted. No, because I think I think Brentford are a worse away team than Newcastle are home team. If that makes sense. Yeah. So you've got to weigh everything up. I just think Brentford, maybe flattered to deceive a little bit this season. 1 win, that was at West Ham. Didn't win at Fulham. Didn't win at Forest when they were poor. Obviously, Sunderland and Palace, not surprisingly. Like I said, I like Sunderland at Fulham. I don't understand this one. I don't understand why Fulham are the favourites. We've watched them week in, week out. Quaker was saying on the warm-up earlier on, they have gone under the radar. They really have. We've watched a lot of them, and they are not a great team. They could be. I think they're the outside chances for relegation.
I think Marco Silva doesn't last the season. I think he moves on.
And Sunderland, obviously,
Why do you think then the bookies have priced up as Fulham's favourites to win?
Yeah, I guess because they're at home and they don't trust Sunderland quite yet, and away from home they haven't been as good as they have been at home. But they've not been poor. I mean, they did win at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
It's so if they can win at Stamford Bridge and they've got the confidence.
Winning the title winners is quite impressive.
Absolutely.
Then you can win at Fulham, can't you?
It's a place to go.
Yeah, so I like Sunderland, 13-5. Think Liverpool will win at home. We talked on goals again. They just need some confidence from somewhere. I mean, some of their players had a really good international break. Others were poor. Salah didn't score for Egypt in Uzbekistan.
Tough place to go and get a result.
Isak ended up playing 29 minutes because he was on a booking, and so they didn't want to risk him. He needed time, in the international break. But some other players did do well. I think they'll win. Palace away at Wolves, like it, and I like City at Newcastle. I know that's not a 3 o'clock game.
So you convinced me with this during our goals preview show on Thursday morning that we do. My 3 ACCA is Palace to win at Wolves, City to win at Newcastle, and Villa to win the league. So I got around 10-1 for that. Yeah, which I think is really, really nice. But I think City and Newcastle, given how poor Newcastle have been and how good form City have been in, I think City to be more than over evens is a really nice price.
Yeah, and we've got epic boost on Haaland. We keep doing this week in, week out, and it keeps landing. Haaland to score at even money. I mean, his record, I was looking at his record earlier. I know we all know it, but I wrote it down because I couldn't believe it. So I wrote it down. 14 in 11 Premier League games, 5 in 4 Champions League, and 16 in 8 for Norway during the qualifiers.
They're good numbers, aren't they?
35 in 23.
They're not too bad.
Outrageous.
For you guys, the 3 o'clock games, what's jumping out at you? I guess kind of most eyes are going to be on Liverpool. Can they finally find some sort of form? The next few games on paper for Liverpool aren't bad, but as we obviously know, performances have got to improve. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be defeat.
Mate, this one is huge. I think if Liverpool lose this game, the concern is deep set. I think people start to ask real questions, not about Arne Slot's future or anything like that, but just start to ask real questions about where this team's going this season.
Why is he coming out and saying he's worried about their match fitness? I don't understand that at all.
Talking about Isak, wasn't he?
But was it just him? Was it all of them?
Was he talking about the whole
the back page of the papers today talking about Isak, him saying Isak's still not match fit yet, which does feel a little bit bizarre given the fact that we're not too far off December and he's saying that Isak isn't fit yet, which I find bizarre. The other interest, I do think Bournemouth West Ham is an interesting one as well, because if this game was a couple of weeks ago, you think home win easy. But I think Bournemouth only won 1-4, West Ham back-to-back wins. Possibly that could be maybe a slight coupon buster. Quakey, West Ham going to Bournemouth.
Yeah, no, West Ham have been good in their last couple of games, and I think most people back to Nuno to turn things around. They've got bones. I remember Lee saying at the beginning of the season, he looked at the team, like, they're not that bad of a team. Just couldn't get a tune, Graham Potter, and that's why he was relieved of his duties. But Nuno started to turn things around, so I fancy West Ham to get something in that one.
Everyone just writing off Wolves, like, completely?
I think so, yeah.
You don't think there's any type of, like, new manager bounce?
Maybe. I mean, he's been talking about getting a tune out of them, hasn't he? But it's a bit soon, isn't it?
I don't think that is. I just don't think that's as clear cut. I mean, I rate Palace very highly, but I think that might not be as clear cut.
We will be watching all of the 3 o'clock games with you in the Premier League this afternoon. Those were the latest odds with William Hill, BigGamblerWare.org, 18+. Of course, we'll take a very quick break. Then when we come back, we're watching the second half of the early game in the Premier League. Title challenging Chelsea or up away at Burnley. It's a very good afternoon. Welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. We are live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and as well coming to you on your smart TVs on Saturday, November the 22nd. It is just gone 1:30. It's Sam Ellard, Lee Phelps, Abby Summers and Quakey Wafari, a chirpy Quakey Wafari this afternoon. Yep. That's because his beloved Chelsea are 1-0 up away at Burnley in the Premier League. And as things stand in the live updated Premier League table, Chelsea is second in the table, 3 points behind Arsenal. And of course, next weekend, Chelsea play Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. Again, we're watching with you on talkSPORT Goals, which should be an absolute belter. You love kickoff times, don't you, Quaker?
Yeah.
So this stat is just for you. Chelsea won each of their last 7 Premier League games, kicking off at 12:30 on a Saturday. There we go.
Interesting, because Enzo
I knew you like that one.
I love kickoff times.
We know.
I'll talk about it in a sec. But when Enzo Fernandez talked about the kickoff time, he moaned. This is the second time after the international break that Chelsea played in the 12:30 kickoff. I don't like when managers moan about kickoff times.
Klopp did that a lot. Like, there was a stat with us where it was something like 7 of the 8 games after the international break.
Your one was ridiculous, though.
He didn't
I think Klopp was justified in that. Your one was actually ridiculous.
He did have a point, Maresca, saying that it's fair enough. I don't mind you having the 12:30, but it's weird that you got both of them after the international break.
Yeah, I just think
it should be shared out.
I think you give the players an inbuilt excuse. I agree. I think you get on with it. In terms of kickoff times, weird that the North London derby's on 4:30 on the Sunday. That's normally a 12:30 on a Saturday. North London.
But I weirdly think if it's at Spurs, it's at 12:30. If it's
yes.
My guy gets me there, don't you? Yes. Absolutely loves that.
That's good.
I thought it was all to do with. I thought it was.
We got this, haven't we? I'm pretty privileged. We're on it.
Yeah.
I do agree with you, but why? Why do you think that?
I just think sometimes TNT get the Spurs game at home and Sky Sports get the Arsenal games. The way the package works.
Fine.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's also to do with policing.
Surely both of them need to be policed in the same way.
No, but I think it's to do with that other game.
Right,
I think it's also to do with other games that are going on around the same time.
Okay.
I actually.
It's supposed to be a bit of fun.
Sorry.
You're not supposed to get all
have a Kit Kat.
Also, by the way, as well, can we zoom in on this? By the way, what is this? It is a Kit Kat matcha.
It's cute though.
Matcha of the day.
Can you?
Hey.
Oh, someone take that home.
Come on.
What is a Kit Kat matcha?
Try it. It's basically what it says.
Sam,
a
is
matcha Kit Kat. It's not woke nonsense.
What is it though?
A Kit Kat that's matcha flavour.
Have you ever heard anything as nonsensical as that before?
What is matcha flavour?
You can have it.
Grass.
It's like
It's not. It's not.
Lee, have you got a garden?
Give this to.
Have you got a garden?
Give this to Lee.
If you honestly imagine, I mean, like, what is that? That's not something you want to put in your mouth, is it? I mean, seriously.
He's going to try.
Try that half.
No, I'm good.
It's just grim, really, isn't it?
I'm feeling a little bit fragile myself, and I don't want to.
It's nice. You can't say that's horrible.
Yeah, I can say it's horrible.
You're lying.
Lee, matcha. If you went to the end of your garden
They're really
and picked up some grass and ate it,
Rubbish. They're really nice.
That one
Try
always
it.
gets me. That's what it tastes like.
But I think it's really nice.
Reece James off at half-time, Badiashile on. I hope that's not an injury.
I'm sorry, Quake. Are we supposed to be working on it? Good point. Go on.
Yeah, Badiashile
That's
on.
hopefully managing minutes, isn't it, after the international break?
I hope so. It's interesting that it was a half-time, but I didn't see Reece James pick up a knock at the back end of the first half. But that's what Maresca's done really well in terms of Reece James. He's managed his minutes, and as a result of that, we're seeing Reece James play the best football of his career. He now is a nailed-on starter for England as well, and that's what all Chelsea fans want to see. But I think that's a little bit concerning.
So we're about to get underway then in the second half at Turf Moor. Burnley 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea up the second at the moment as things stand in the Premier League. We've got 5 games for you at 3 o'clock in the Premier League. Bournemouth taking on West Ham. Bournemouth winless in the last 8 Premier League games against West Ham. We've got Brighton versus Brentford. That's 11th versus 12th. 2 sides on the exact same points. Fulham really, really struggling, aren't they, in the Premier League this season? 15th in the table against the Sunderland team that are absolutely flying 4th in the table. Fulham, though, have earned 91% of their points in the Premier League this season at Craven Cottage. That's the highest ratio of any side at home in terms of points picked up. Can Liverpool get back to winning away? Some decent fixtures to come on paper. Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest is a 3 o'clock kickoff. Rob Edwards takes charge of his first game as Wolves managers today. They take on Crystal Palace, who are 10th in the table. Wolves still searching for their first win of the season. And the 5:30 game is Newcastle versus Man City. The 12:30 game in the Premier League is yet to get underway because the referee, is he the ref? Who is this guy? I've seen him before my life. Who the hell is this? Honestly.
What is this?
Yeah, it's the faffing about with, I don't know
The
what.
mics.
It's the mics. I'm not being funny. Those wires look more complicated than our wires going into our ear. I mean,
Yeah, we don't have producers putting our own ear things in, do we?
Imagine asking Marco to put. Oh, you've done a terrible job, by the way. Keep coming out, honestly, seriously. I need some new headphones.
Do you miss the old, like the old big one?
Oh, I miss the old big ones big
yeah.
time.
Yes,
I mean, this anyway. Honestly, the guy helping him was about 9. I mean, we could be here all day.
No,
anyway,
he's done it now.
Excuse me.
He's done it now.
Yeah, but this is taking too long.
All right, the 3 o'clock game's about to get underway in the Premier League, and we haven't even started yet. And some crazy scorelines in the Championship in the early games. Bristol City beating Swansea at home 2-0.
Take your time. Yeah,
honestly, they're never in any rush, are they? Honestly, it's like they know they're on. Reece James, by the way, is walking back to the tunnel. He's got some sliders on, white socks. He's got a snood on, and he's got a smile on his face, Quakey, which would. You'd hope anyway.
Cole Palmer should be made to wear sliders at all times at home. If I was a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't want him barefoot in his house anymore.
But I would even go, but I'm not being funny. You could even argue with the sliders that you've still got a danger of. Maybe that's an awful suggestion from you, Lee. I mean,
trainers?
Yeah, trainers feels more sensible, doesn't it? Yeah.
Fine.
Tim's.
The 3 12:30 games in the Championship. Bristol City leading Swansea by 2-0. Bristol City will go back in the playoffs as things stand. A remarkable scoreline in the Valley. Southampton, a team really struggling, sacking Will Still a few weeks ago, are 5-1 up away at Charlton. And Lilies Coventry were 2-0 down at home to West Brom. They've now pulled a goal back, Lee, and it's Coventry 1, West Brom 2.
There's an interesting live kind of score accurate, if you like. Chelsea, Coventry and Southampton all to score in the second half is 5-2. I could see that happening. I think we said Coventry were 15-2 to turn that round at home to West Brom. Pull that goal back, and they're now priced up at 3-1 to do the same thing, to win the game, that is. The draw is 2-1. Southampton 5-1 up. Unbelievable. And I think Chelsea will get another goal here.
Are you surprised, Quaker, that you brought Badiashile on, not Gusto?
I think Gusto will have a big part to play midweek against Barcelona in the Champions League, especially if Reece James has got an issue. Hopefully he hasn't. So, yeah, I am a little bit surprised. I think the natural replacement for that would be Malo Gusto. But, yeah, I don't hate it. I think Badiashile's actually improved. He just hasn't had enough game time. Whenever he's filled in, he's actually looked okay. So, I don't hate it.
I thought Kwaku made a really good point about Liam Delap and needing
when
early in the first half when you were saying, "Oh yeah, it never happened, did it?" I get what you mean. But since then, actually, I think he's played really well. I've been really impressed at his hold-up play. I just thought, a goal for him in this game would be massive, not only for the club but for his confidence as well. I just thought he's looked much better. His hold-up play's been much better. The way he's linked in with his teammates has been better as well as Chelsea go on the attack.
João Pedro with a shot from outside the box. He just leans stands back a little bit, gets his foot under the ball, and it goes over. Really good play there from Chelsea. Pedro Neto looking really dangerous once again down the right-hand side, carrying the ball into the opposition half. It came back in field. It worked its way to João Pedro. It was a really nice first-time ball by Enzo Fernandez. His first touch was really good. It almost behind him to drag it in front of him, and then he takes a shot with his left foot, and it goes over the bar. But that was a good move there by Chelsea.
Yeah, Pedro to score in this game, by the way, is 9-2. Liam Delap to score the second goal is
Which
7-1.
You said Pedro.
Oh, João Pedro, sorry.
Okay. Well, it could have been Neto or João, couldn't it? You need to be more specifically.
I wonder if we can get that. Any Pedro.
Any Pedro to score.
I like it.
I'm looking through the Burnley team, seeing there's a Pedro in their team.
Middle name Pedro. Somewhere.
I don't think there is a Pedro in their team. So yeah, Burnley 0, Chelsea 1. Lee, in terms of I don't know if you spent it during the game, but in terms of before the game, relegation odds. I'm wondering, Wolves? I'm sure Wolves are pretty sure, obviously.
1-8.
But Burnley and Leeds, are they the sort of next two teams now in terms of?
Yeah, Burnley before this game were 3-10. They'll be even shorter than that. They'll be much shorter. Yeah, I think Leeds are. West Ham are still a shorter price than Leeds, though. Even despite the two back-to-back.
Find that strange. West Ham are stronger than Leeds, surely. They've got better players.
I guess what we can't do is we don't overreact to two back-to-back home wins. Yeah, fair enough. It's good. Yeah, but you've got to see a bit more than that.
No, sure. I would just say that I think West Ham have got better players than Leeds overall. Not just based on the last two games. I think they've I think West Ham's got a really good manager in Nuno Espirito Santo. There's been a yellow card here for Kyle Walker. Interesting there, Kwaku. Just on, I know the international breakers has just finished, but I know you're passionate about England, and the Jude Bellingham has been quite a big thing that's been rumbling on and stuff. We have a thing, don't we, in this country where it feels like we love to big players up quite often, and then we quite often like to pull them down a peg or two. Is that almost just what's happening here with Jude Bellingham in a way?
Yeah, it's almost like we're not allowed to have nice things. Do you know what I mean? Like, as soon as we get something that's amazing and shiny, we kind of ruin it, and we do that all the time. I remember seeing articles in various newspapers or headlines of newspapers comparing Wayne Rooney to Shrek when he was a teenager.
Yeah, sure.
Why do we do this with generational talents? We always go through cycles. The Beckham one's slightly different because it was a thing on the pitch that kind of caused the outrage, but burning effigies of an incredibly talented young footballer is unnecessary. And it's just the discourse is just too much around Jude Bellingham, and people talk about him having an attitude problem. I disagree with that. He's got an attitude, not an attitude problem, and we need more players with attitude. We need more players with personality. And I think the issue that Jude Bellingham's having right now is that in this England team, I don't want to call anybody out for lacking personality, but he's the only one that's got that bit of bite, and so is Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel's got a bit of bite, so I think there's a little bit of a clash there. If you think about the personality of a Bukayo Saka or a Harry Kane, more passive in their nature, but Jude Bellingham is absolutely different gravy. When you talk about the number 10 who should start for England, I think if you went abroad and you told people there was a discussion about who's going to start number 10, they'd think we're crazy. Jude Bellingham plays for Real Madrid and is one of their best players. Jude Bellingham went to Real Madrid in his first season and basically dragged them to a Champions League. I know Vinicius was great in that season. Jude Bellingham has scored multiple winners in El Clasico. Jude Bellingham is one of the best players this country has ever produced. I don't know what kind of conversations we're having. I think Morgan Rogers is great. I love Cole Palmer. They can't touch Jude Bellingham. He's a joke of a footballer, and I feel like all this noise just needs to quieten down because we're talking about one of the best players in the world.
You think Jude Bellingham's that far ahead of Foden and Palmer?
Yeah, I think the thing about Jude Bellingham is that I think we almost take it for granted because he makes football look so easy, and that's part of the issue.
So do Foden and Palmer, though. The way they glide with the ball, their technical ability. Cole Palmer had an 18-month spell where you could argue he was the best player on the planet.
Yeah, they're more aesthetically pleasing. The thing about Cole Palmer is that this is his first season playing Champions League football. Jude Bellingham's won the Champions League and been arguably the best player for his team.
So is Phil Foden. He's won a treble. He's won 4 Premier Leagues in a row.
But he's won a treble. I can't compare Phil Foden and Jude Bellingham. I think that they're on completely different levels.
I think. By the way, I also want to make this. I feel like I'm not doing this to put Jude Bellingham down. I agree with you.
I think you're looking at different options that can be in that.
Yeah, sure. And I also think, by the way, on the whole kind of him walking off and being substituted in that game last weekend. Yeah. I think some of the noise and discourse around that was quite frankly an absolute disgrace.
Also, don't you want someone to not want to be substituted?
Yeah,
don't you want them to carry the game?
Imagine the headlines if he walked off smiling, being really, really happy.
It is just idiotic. It is just to say
decades of it. The media always do this.
It's horrendous. It's this kind of
I'd hate to be subbed if I was 5-a-side, let alone being like a.
Wait till you find out who's doing William Hill next Sunday. Eh?
I know what you're planning. I
made that gag all the time, haven't I?
It's great.
No, I agree with you, but
I think it's interesting that Bellingham, Palmer,
and Foden as well. I think has to be in that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think what you say is right. But Palmer, his record in finals
is
he's crazy. He's not far behind Bellingham. But you're right. Bellingham's just got the proof, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's just proved it a bit further than Palmer. But I mean, imagine being in the situation where you got Bellingham and Palmer coming off the bench for him, for instance, or vice versa. By the way, I'd take either. It's
and they're also different types of 10s, aren't they? In terms of what you want. You know, Jude Bellingham, you say, is probably more of a powerful midfield player, making late runs into the box. Whereas sort of Foden and Palmer, I say, maybe technically better and almost better in tight spaces in terms of trying to play that pass through the eye of a needle. So they're almost kind of different profile of 10s. What can Liam Delap here do on the left-hand side in the box? He goes to the byline, ball across goal. It's quite a ball in, and Burnley managed to clear. 52 minutes gone, still Burnley 0, Chelsea 1. Chelsea leading thanks to a header from Pedro Neto late in the first half. Chelsea with most possession in the second half, just playing the ball around inside Burnley's half. Burnley with 11 men behind the ball, Kwaku.
Yeah, and I think it's an interesting debate to have, because I had this conversation with my friend, and he's also a Chelsea fan, and he
had Harry Simeon before on talkSPORT too.
Yeah.
Because he's not a Bellingham fan at all, is he? In terms of
he's not having him at all.
What he brings to the team.
Why is he not having him at all?
Do you know what it is with Jude Bellingham? And I can actually fully understand this. And the conversation took a whole different turn in terms of Jude Bellingham. I think it's people just don't like him, and like I can understand it. You know, I can see why. I'm not blind to it. I can see maybe he rubs people up the wrong way because of the way that he carries himself, but we just have to take that. We have to take that with Jude Bellingham because he is such a good footballer. But I do want to engage in the conversation about like who's better, because I don't think, like, if you say you'd rather start Phil Foden or Cole Palmer, that's fair enough. I just, the way I view them and the way I see them play, I think Jude Bellingham is just on a different level, man.
I think that I'm not having that he's on a different level to Foden and Palmer. I think because Palmer's been injured, maybe we're forgetting how good he is.
And also,
I mean,
Foden.
I know Foden didn't have his best season last year. It was the year before they won.
Palmer and Foden could both go to Real Madrid. It wouldn't be like a huge surprise if they signed them.
I say they're both good enough to play for Real Madrid. Yeah.
But none of them at 19 could have gone to Real Madrid and won the Champions League like Jude Bellingham did. Bear in mind, they're older than him. Like, none of them could have gone to Real Madrid as a teenager.
I think what Foden was doing at City also around a similar age. I think you can't. Okay, it was slightly later, but I still think but look at what he's also achieved.
Yeah,
Phil
100%.
Foden. I think that we are blessed that we have got so many amazing attacking options.
These are amazing headaches to have. And one thing, another thing, a lot of people say is, why can't you get them all in the same team together? But I like the fact that Thomas Tuchel's, for the right balance of the team, he wants that 6 in Elliot Anderson. He's got the kind of box-to-box Declan Rice number 8, which is where he plays for Arsenal. Leaves one space in that number 10. Saka's on the right, we know that. Kane's on the left, up front. And then one other option would be, can you squeeze one on the left-hand side? But I think we've done this before in previous tournaments. It hasn't worked. I think having that natural left winger, a Rashford a record, Rashford's a man in possession right now, to hog that touchline, be direct, playing his natural position. It then feels like the balance of the team is better, as opposed to just trying to get all the 10s in the same team and lacking that balance and not playing in their best positions and not bringing the best out of them. Before you give your answer, Coventry were 2-0 down at home to West Brom. They pulled a goal back. West Brom went down to 10 men, and now Coventry have equalised. 59 minutes gone. Coventry 2, West Brom 2. Top of the table, Coventry coming forward here. A ball comes in. A shot from outside the box, and it's cleared. So the 3 games in the Championship, lots of goals in the Championship. Goals as they go in on talkSPORT goals. Bristol City 2, Swansea 0. Charlton 1, Southampton 5, and it's Coventry 2, West Brom 2.
Yeah, the beauty of in-play betting. Coventry were 15-2 to win this game.
Which you thought was short, didn't you?
They're now odds on. Just one thing, there's been a lot of chat, hasn't there? And I think we'll hear more and more chat about the temperatures in the World Cup and how will England cope. One other thing there, I mean, I know this is only a small thing, but Bellingham plays in a different climate to a lot of the England players playing for Real Madrid and has to cope with that. And I think that's going to be interesting, having him in that team in a difficult temperature, difficult climate for the World Cup. And England are second favourites to win the World Cup behind Spain, 6-1, France are 7-1, Brazil 15-2, Argentina 8-1. That they wouldn't be that price if we were based in Brazil or Argentina.
Yeah.
But we're always shorter than
favourites or second favourites, aren't we?
Yeah. So, but 6-1. I do think that's another plus though for Bellingham, and another plus that he would be able to play and cope in a warmer temperature than the rest of his England teammates, and most of his other England.
And also, we always do this, and I've just done it. But the man that's probably in possession of the number 10 shirt right now is Morgan Rogers, and we don't even sort of have that conversation, do we, about him? Because as good as he is,
he won't be in the starting lineup.
You can't see a situation where he plays ahead of all three of the players mentioned. That is a shame because he's a top player as well,
also,
and he's been so consistent for Villa.
This is the benefit of having so many options. Like, each game will depend on probably what your best option is, and that is also a sign of a good manager that isn't just going to stick with maybe the same 11 every single game. You've got so many options that can come off your bench. Like, let's utilise that.
Well, the sign of a good manager is Frank Lampard at Coventry. Coventry were 2-0 down at home to West Brom. West Brom have gone down to 10 men, Lee Phelps, and Coventry have completely turned it around in the space of, 15 to 20 minutes. Is that Torp, Lee, with a special hit from outside the box?
When you look at this lineup that Coventry have got, they've got goals all over the place, and I know we're going on about bet builders and all that, but if you look at Coventry in terms of shots on target and players who take shots, they are fantastic. And this is another corner in for Coventry. It gets played out. Just waits. It's probably not quite as good as the goal I thought it was. It hits the ground first, I think. But what a strike! Yeah, hits the ground first, which makes it harder for the keeper to save. But yeah, Coventry 3-2 up. West Brom down to 10 men. Yeah, he's scoring goals for fun this season, and they have shots from all over. 3-2 Coventry. I'm
going to bring you some team news very, very shortly, Lee, but you mentioned, didn't you, Semenyo?
Yeah.
And I believe that he is not in the squad today.
Interesting. No Kluivert
for that game for Bournemouth. So that's a massive, massive blow for them as well. And yeah, perhaps that West Ham price might jump out a little bit more. Going to bring you full team news very, very shortly in all of our 3 o'clock games. Alexander Isak for Liverpool, by the way, starts for Liverpool. Isak starts. Full team news to come. Alexander Isak, though, does lead the line for Liverpool in that game against Nottingham Forest at 3 o'clock. So Bournemouth, West Ham, Brighton, Brentford, Fulham, Sunderland, Liverpool, Forest, Wolves, Palace, all 3 o'clock games today in the Premier League at 5:30. It's Newcastle versus Man City. Burnley 0, Chelsea 1, nearly played an hour. Confirmation then in the Championship. Coventry have turned it around. Coventry 3, West Brom 2, Charlton 1, Southampton 5. What a result this was. I bet Will still sat at home thinking, goodness me, what on earth?
I knew that was in there somewhere.
I was so close to getting out of them. And Bristol City 2, Swansea 0 in League 1. Exeter Burton was postponed. Plymouth 1 up away at Port Vale. Gillingham 1, Barnet 1, Harrogate 0, Walsall 1. Quaku just need the second goal, don't you, to really kill this game off?
You're so excited as a Chelsea fan. You know that within the next 10-15 minutes we get to see Estevão. It's such a nice little treat.
The new Cristiano Ronaldo.
Can't wait for that.
Is that what you're dubbing him?
Like I had said on the show a couple of weeks ago that if you look at Ronaldo's first season at Manchester United, 03-04, played 29 games, 29 league games. 15 of those were starts and 14 of those were off the bench. And if you look at the numbers, I think Estevão will far exceed those numbers. Look at the talk about those players as they're coming up. The talk about Estevão when he was 14 years old is that this kid's going to be one of the best players in the world. They're calling him the Brazilian Messi. And I think that we are very fortunate in this country to have him come to this country because Endrick, Vinicius, Neymar, they go to La Liga. It's very rare that these young Brazilians come to the Premier League, and he's embracing every minute of it. And when you watch Brazil play in the international break, I'm sorry, but he looks like their best player. He looks like their main man.
Do you like the way Enzo Fernandez is managing his minutes then so far? Do you think it's the right way to do, as you mentioned there, to almost just ease him into life in the Premier League as opposed to going, you're playing 90 minutes week in, week out?
100%. It's a long-term view to it. And also, I think that gives you some indication in terms of Enzo Fernandez's security at the football club, because a player that's precocious and that talented, you'd think if it was a manager that needed to get results, he'd be starting week in, week out because he is good enough to start. But
precocious.
He's managing his minutes.
I've never heard such.
Where did Quaky Rafari find that word from? Precocious.
That is like Mary Poppins.
Do you like that one?
Is that how you say it?
First player, while they're checking that, Estevão, the first player aged 18 or younger to reach 4 goals for the national team since the 60s.
Pretty good going, given how many good, young, exciting players they have played for their team. Yeah.
He is an unbelievable player. And what is really abnormal about Estevão is that the decision making is on point. And obviously he's a winger, so he's going to try things, and sometimes it doesn't work, and he maybe needs to tighten up a little bit on occasion. But he's a player that doesn't rely on blistering pace, and that's what I love. I think when you're a young player and you don't rely on that, that means that your technical ability is of a standard, of a level that will translate for the rest of his career. honestly, this kid is going to be one of the best players in the world. And obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the greatest players of all time, top 5.
High praise, Quaku. I like it.
Estevão's going to be one.
Vinicius Junior, by the way, he's only 3 goals behind his record. He got 11 in 45. He's already got 8 goals from Brazil. It's like, It's mad. Yeah, it's crazy.
In pretty good company then. So Burnley 0, Chelsea 1, 62 gone. And I'm going to bring some team news then from our 3 o'clock games today in the Premier League. Bournemouth versus West Ham. It's 9th versus 18th. Bournemouth have got Petrovic in goal. Cook, Diakite, Senese and Truffert. The back 4. Scott and Adams will sit. Tavernier, Krupi, Brooks will support Evan Nilsson. So Krupi and Evan Nilsson both start for Bournemouth, who have not got Semenya and not got Cliver in the team today for them. As for West Ham, it's Areola in goal. Quaker, what happened there?
So the ball's played across to Pedro Neto. He tries to kind of run for the keeper. He goes at the near post and hits the post. Very, very unlucky. Kind of unorthodox. I thought you'd go across the keeper, but Enzo Fernandez finds him towards the edge of the box, and I think the keeper gets a hand on it. Did the Bradford get a tip onto the post? And Chelsea unlucky there, but we are pushing. I think the second goal's coming.
Good from Delap again as well. The run was really good. Took the players out of the way, and they look like they've got something brewing.
Yeah.
Something bubbling.
Yeah, something bubbling.
It's like racking up the goals.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just not having this.
Come on, Felsie.
The racking up is just...
No, but you know how objectively how hilarious that was.
It was out of context.
It
was out of context.
It wasn't.
It was out of context.
We were specifically speaking about you winning the Europa League.
And I
then
said,
boldly
I
made
want
the comment,
focus.
let's now start racking up.
I said, I want... Are we going to do this every week?
Yes, absolutely.
We're going to do this every week.
Like Spurs say racking up. I don't know what it's like.
It wasn't in that context. It was in the context.
Racking up means to accumulate, gain, or achieve a large amount of something, such as.
I wish you'd start acting precocious. Okay? Start being more precocious.
Sorry, I haven't done the West Ham team.
You're being really immature.
They've got Areola in goal. Kilman, Igor, Julio, and Todibo as the 3 centre backs. Juve, Potts, Fernandez, and Wan-Bissaka across the back 5 of Wilson and Bowen in attacks. There's no Lucas Paqueta in the starting 11 for West Ham today. West Ham have only failed to score in one of their 16 Premier League games against Bournemouth. What about Brighton versus Brentford then? Lee Phelps likes Brighton at home to Brentford after winning their first 2 Premier League games against Brentford in the 21-22 campaign. Brighton have won just 1 of their last 6 against the Bees. And the team news for that is going to come very, very shortly. It's Verbruggen in goal for Brighton. Riefer, Van Heck, Boscagli and Kadioglu, the back 4 for Brighton. So no Lewis Dunk. Belaber and Ayari, the midfield 2. Minter, Ruta, Gomez will support Danny Welbeck who leads the line. Once again, no Matoma in the team for Brighton. He's been injured for a long, long time, hasn't he? Brentford have got Keller in goal. I'm sure he's had a good couple of days celebrating Republic of Ireland's achievement. Those 2 incredible results. Ayer, Vandenberg, Collins, Coyote, the back 4. Henderson, Yarmouk will sit. Damsgaard, Utara, Sharda will support Thiago. Remind me again, Lee, of the odds for Brentford there to win away at Brighton.
12-5. And look, that team news is interesting, isn't it? Because, Thiago, obviously, we've talked about him a lot. I think you could argue that Brentford look a bit better up front than.
They need it your 3-1 price, where you say
I might have changed my mind on that. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that team news makes everything. I think Brentford, if they can get going, then I think Brentford look a bit stronger up top than Brighton do.
Abby, have Brentford been maybe one of the surprise? I mean, apart from Sunderland, obviously, but lots of people kind of thought Frank's gone, Andrews, lack of experience. They sold obviously a couple of their best players, including Mbremo, but 12th in the table, been really, really good at home. He's building a good little team there, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that in terms of like what people predicted Brentford would be after Thomas Frank and after losing so many key players, they're just not that. They're just doing their job and just kind of picked up where I guess things have kind of left off, which is a real credit to someone like Keith Andrews. I feel like people wrote him off very, very quickly. Brentford have always done good business over the years as well. They recruit really, really well.
Like Brighton in that respect.
Very, very much so. They kind of used to do this like kind of Moneyball metric type of recruitment, and that always kind of meant that they had good players in every single position, very, very similar to Brighton. So I think that they really are credit to their board, credit to the manager for coming in, and it's just been kind of a bit of a seamless transition, and that is really what you want.
That's high praise to Keith Andrews.
Very much so.
The great work that Thomas Frank did.
Very, very much so, and especially when you think about those players like we mentioned that they've lost over the summer as well. I mean, and Wemo being the one that really springs to mind. But we did see like when they lost Ivan Toney, and even when they went through the ban with Ivan Toney, like they still did well. Like they relied on other players, and other players kind of picked up the slack. So I think Brentford are a very, very stable, very solid club.
Yeah, and Igor Thiago was brought in
Great player.
to replace Tony, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He had a season where he didn't play, and now he's scored. I mean, Welbeck's obviously. I said about Brighton. Welbeck's been fantastic this season as well, hasn't he? So we shouldn't say that. I think whenever I see Danny Welbeck on the team sheet now, I'm starting to think, okay, yeah. He scored goals. He scored against Leeds, of course, scored against Manchester United, scored a couple against Newcastle. So he had one game where he didn't score, obviously, against Palace, which was a pretty poor game at 0-0. But it could be a good game, that, Brighton-Brentford.
I like the score draw there in that game. Fulham-Sunderland. Fulham, a team that are struggling, not far off the relegation zone against Sunderland, team 4th in the table. Fulham start the day 1 point off the drop zone. The Fulham team today is Leno in goal, Tete, Anderson, Bassi, Sessegnon on the back four. Iwobi will play a bit deeper alongside Sander Berg. Wilson, King, Kevin will support Jimenez. What about Sunderland today? It's Roofs in goal. Be a back five, we think, of Hugh, Mukiele, Ballard, Geertruida and Mandava, Lefay, Siddiqui, Xhaka Traore in midfield. We once again Wilson Isidore leading the line. The team news then for Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. Can Liverpool get back to winning ways and try and go on some sort of run and put some results together? Liverpool lost this exact fixture 1-0 last season, the only league game in which they failed to score all season. As for Liverpool, the team news, it's some good news that Alisson's back in goal. Szoboszlai's been playing at right back. Konate, Van Dijk, Kirkes. No way Andy Robertson was playing, was he, today? No. After what happened over the last couple of days. McAllister, Gravenberch to midfield 2 with Curtis Jones to midfield 3. Salah, Gakpo, Isak the front 3. I really wanted to see Ekitike from that left-hand side. He's on the bench though. As for Nottingham Forest, Sells in goal, Savona, Milenkovic, Murillo, Nico Williams back at Anfield, Anderson, Sangare, the midfield 2. Gibbs White will play off Igor Jesus with Ndoye and Dominguez from the left-hand side. And the final game at 3 o'clock is Wolves versus Crystal Palace. Rob Edwards' first game as Wolves manager, bottom of the table, still searching for their first victory this season. As a Palace team, maybe just faltering a little bit. They've lost their last 2 Premier League away games, as many as they had in their previous 18. They're 10th in the Premier League table. To that chance in a second. Johnson in goal. For Wolves in defence, Agbadou, Krejci, Gomez, Mola Wolfer, Menetzi, Andre Gomez in midfield 3. Shran Larson, Arakadore lead the line for Palace. Henderson in goal. Gahey's fit. He plays alongside Aqua and Richards. Munoz and Mitchell, the wing backs. Wharton and Kamada in midfield. Sarr, Pino and Mateta is the front 3. Kwaku, 70 minutes gone. Burnley 0, Chelsea 1. And was that Burnley's best chance of the game?
Yeah, ball's played over to Fleming. He found some space in the box and he just kind of skied it. But Chelsea switched off at the back there. Can't let that happen. We're only 1-0 up. Needs to get a second goal because the 1-0's always such a precarious scoreline in football. Not precocious, just precarious.
I love your random words.
But, no Caicedo one yet. Does that surprise you?
No Caicedo.
Feels like a good moment to bring him on now in the last 20 to try and see the game out.
I think Maresca would love us to get a second goal so he doesn't have to bring on Caicedo. I think he doesn't want to play Caicedo at all.
I'm sure, yeah.
Haven't seen him warm up at all. I think he would love to get through this 90 minutes without having to play Caicedo, especially with Barcelona and Arsenal coming up in the next couple of games.
What game would you rather win, Barcelona or Arsenal?
Arsenal.
Thanks.
Arsenal.
So I don't know. You know, it's a poor question for me. No, do you know what? Because really, the answer is you want to win both, don't you?
Yeah.
We're Chelsea. We win everything.
They're going to win the league.
Yeah. I'd rather win the Arsenal game. But Chelsea Barcelona, it's heritage, man.
Is that the Tuesday or Wednesday?
I'll say Wednesday.
Is he Wednesday?
Yeah, we're Wednesday.
We're doing Goal Show Wednesday.
We are doing Goal Show Wednesday.
Am I doing it?
You are. I think you are.
I'm supposed to be going to.
Oh no, it's not. It's Tuesday. Your game is
Tuesday.
Yeah. On that Wednesday, Arsenal are playing, Liverpool are playing, and Spurs way to PSG.
Yeah,
that's a good
big
night.
Week for us,
that's a good night of Champions League football.
Good night.
I'll see you on Wednesday, Abby. Yeah.
See you on Wednesday.
Good stuff. Lee, it just feels like Burnley at the moment, almost just huffing and puffing, really, aren't they? Yeah. But the only real way you can see them creating any sort of chance is that kind of long diagonal ball into the box and try and kind of make something happen from a second ball.
Yeah, even then you're clutching it.
Possibly
straws a little bit. I think.
Got to.
They've looked. Chelsea have looked. I think they've looked good defensively as well. I think they've just looked very solid, and it just looks like what you guys said originally. It just looks like it'll be a 2-0, maybe a 3-0, probably a 2-0 to Chelsea. There's a few substitutions being made now by Burnley.
Broya coming on as well, which is interesting.
Yeah.
He's had a weird career, I think, Armando Broya.
Yeah.
Like been at Chelsea as a kid, who had kind of big expectations on him. He feels like he goes on loan lots of places.
Yeah.
Has a bad injury, comes back, can't get himself fit, goes back on loan, and almost you kind of almost feel a bit sorry for him.
I do feel bad for him because he did have a lot of promise. Bad injuries at the worst times, man, and that's football, right? If you're developing, and
you need a bit of luck, don't you?
Yeah, mate, you do. And unfortunately, it just hasn't worked out for him, and he's now coming off the bench for Burnley against Chelsea.
Do you think he would have made it at Chelsea?
No.
Didn't have the quality.
Nah, just didn't have the quality. It's hard. How many kids from the academy really do make it?
I don't know. You send so many.
Not many
at
Chelsea.
Like,
yeah.
Not many at Chelsea.
They make it for other teams. They never get really.
They make up for other teams, but you've got to be super special. Like Reece James is very, very special. I don't think Armando Broja's of that level. But he was a decent player.
Go on, mate.
No, you carry on that. I was just going to say, we're at that stage in the game where we had this argument a few times. Burnley against City, they went for it and they had a right go. They ended up losing heavily to City, didn't they? And we had this argument where I said, for Burnley now, this is the point where they have to go and try and get back in this game.
You've got to start putting.
We're at 72 minutes. They have to have a go. If they don't have a go here, they'll end up losing 1-0, 2-0. If Burnley have a go, they've got a chance. Or do they just sit back, they just settle in and think, right, we're going to lose 1-0 here?
No, I think with 10, 15 minutes to go, there's absolutely no point.
They started really bright as well.
Yeah, they had a good opening first 10 minutes, but they've Chelsea have pretty much the 20-minute almost. Chelsea have pretty much dominated this game, and this is why they're just getting that second goal is so crucial. No, you just don't need anything silly here, do you?
No,
you've Burnley away. You've dominated the majority of the game, have the majority of the possession, and as cliche as it is, the longer the game goes on at 1-0, again, any sort of set piece chance, it gives Burnley a chance, doesn't it? So a second goal.
And from Burnley's point of view, they have to go for it.
Yeah, hang in there.
Or do they just hang in there and take a 1-0 defeat?
No. When I said hang in there, I meant hang in there up until this point. Keep it at 1-0, which they've done. Oh, yeah. I mean, those substitutions are pretty attacking. Foster came on as well with Boyer. That's 2 attacking players. Yep. No, of course, you don't just take a 1-0 defeat. You have to try and go and at some point be brave and try and put bodies forward and get a goal back. And if it does leave space for Chelsea to expose, then that's going to happen. I'm almost certain we surely can't be too far away from Moises Caicedo being on the pitch. Chance here for Chelsea. Neto tried to take the ball down the right-hand side. He's just outside the box. He comes back inside. But Estevão does really, really well to read it. And Burnley have possession. Going back to the summer, Kwaku, when sort of Nicholas Jackson looked like he was going to lead the football club. Yeah. Remind me, was Liam Delap always sort of Chelsea's first choice striker or to go for the target? Or were you linked with other players in the summer? Like, did you always think that Liam Delap was the man that you kind of wanted to come in and kind of long-term be Chelsea's number 9?
I remember I was singing his praises last season on the on the Culture Show.
Great volley.
Yeah.
Liam Delap, take him to the World Cup. It's Lee Davis.
That was one of my top 5 moments.
Very good. We've all been there, mate. I've done it plenty of times.
My pins aren't the best. I think he was definitely one of the top targets. I think João Pedro was brought as well to kind of play that role as well. In hindsight, if Chelsea could do it again, I don't think they send Nicholas Jackson out on loan. Right. But Jackson is a certain type of personality, and if he's not playing football, you're gonna know about. Who do you think's better, Solanke or Jackson? Oh, I had this conversation in the...
Yeah, same.
Nicholas Jackson's way better than Dominic Solanke, yeah.
All right, I said Solanke and I got pelters.
Who do you think's better?
Who do I think is better?
I found Nicholas Jackson incredibly frustrating.
I think kind of like weirdly Nicholas Jackson's stock has gone up since leaving Chelsea, because for the seasons that he was in the Premier League, everyone just slated him left, right and centre. Yeah. Obviously, Solanke's barely kicked a ball this season. What I would say is Solanke is inconsistent, very inconsistent. Like, his time at Chelsea was not brilliant.
Let's be honest.
Hang on, his time at Liverpool was not great. Obviously, he had a very good spell at Bournemouth, and then
one good season.
That led to I'm getting there. Thank you. My point being, he did have a very good season at Bournemouth, and then that led to a £65 million. Are you my parrot today? Are you my parrot?
Troy Parrott.
You know him back, wouldn't you? Yeah.
I was actually about to agree with you as well. If you would just shush for 1 second. Can I talk? Thank you. He didn't warrant 65 million. Realistically, he was no more than a £40 million player and had one good season. But Spurs had to do what they had to do because they needed a striker after Kane, and you had Richarlison, who they'd already spent
I need
60
Solanke
on.
to come back. So I
actually don't. I
can't do Richarlison anymore. I can't.
You can't do Richarlison.
Gusto, right hand side to Neto, back to Gusto, and his shot is just tipped over the bar. It was a quick 1-2. Gusto to Neto. Neto gave it back to Gusto, and his shot was pushed over the bar. Burnley gave the ball back. Gusto did well to carry it forward. Neto's first line ball back to him was a good one. And you just either side of the goalkeeper because the pace was on the ball coming into him. I think he tried to wrap his foot around it, but it was you're just making weird noises, Lee.
I'm watching the Coventry game, and Coventry are going to score a fourth goal. They are all over West Brom. I'm making noises like you do when you're watching Liverpool.
No noises today.
It's right in
routine 2-0 winners coming.
I think Chelsea win 2-0. And I think Coventry win 4-2 because they're both pushing. But Coventry, shots are raining in on West Brom goal, who are down to 10 men, 3-2 up.
Later scores in the Championship. Coventry, as Lee mentioned, they're still leading 3-2, going to extend their lead. What's so funny?
What's so funny?
Yeah. It really annoys me when I'm talking, trying to do my job. People just laugh at me.
I'm so sorry. It was about a coat. It was just, it was the boys at DR with me about a coat that I wore.
That is unbelievable.
It was in the group chat, so I was...
That's unbelievable.
That's absolutely pathetic from you, Alex.
Why? Do you want to know the context?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Bristol City 3-0 up now at home to Swansea. Southampton 5-1 up away at Charlton, and Coventry leading West Brom by 3-2. In the Championship, Coventry lead at the top of the table. They'd be, goodness me, Lee, they'd be 8 points clear of Borough, of course, still have to play today, and they'd be 10 points clear of Stoke, who also have to play today. Yeah. That result for Bristol City brings them up to 4th in the table, and again, there's still lots of football still to play, but Coventry are building a pretty formidable gap, aren't they, at the top of, well, not just third place, but also second place as well.
We don't know what Borough are going to do from here on in with a new manager, of course, do we? So, yeah, Coventry, big win this for Coventry, especially being 2 down.
Have you got any, is it going to be quiet on the Borough front? Hasn't it? It took a long time to get sorted, right?
Yeah, and you just wonder. It's such a strange situation. You listen to Borough fans; they're not quite sure where their season's going, even though they're in such a brilliant position in the table. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens to their season. And I think they'll probably be keeping a little eye on what happens at Wolves today as well, won't they? I'm not saying they're hoping for the worst for the manager, but it's been a strange
in footballing terms.
Yeah, strange that he got them to such a good place and then left them.
Yeah, so Burnley 0, Chelsea 1, 78 minutes gone in that game. Burnley have lost 4 of their last 6 Premier League matches, conceding 2 or more goals in 5 of those games. And it looks like Burnley started the day just outside the relegation zone, are going to suffer another defeat. Chelsea have won both of their last 2 Premier League games without conceding. And as things stand, Chelsea look set to win again on the road without conceding. As things stand, Chelsea up to 2nd in the table against an Arsenal, behind an Arsenal team who they face next weekend in the Premier League. That's a Sunday 4:30 game. That should be a fantastic game. Bristol City 3-0 up at home to Swansea in the Championship this season. Swansea rank 2nd bottom for shots, 3rd bottom for shots on target, 2nd bottom for touches in the opposition box, and bottom for expected goals, which makes me think, Lee, how on earth are they only 18th in the table? Because they should be a lot lower than that on the table. They're having a bad afternoon today away to Bristol City, and 3-0 down as Burnley win a corner. Southampton 5-1 up away at Charlton. Southampton have won their last 2 league games, as many as they won in their previous 27 games. Look set to go 3 in a row this afternoon. 5-1 up away at Charlton, and Coventry leading West Brom by 3-2. A corner for Burnley, and these feel like the big moments for Burnley. They've got to make count. Bang on 80 minutes. Chelsea, they felt safe. I wanted a bit more cutting edge from Chelsea in that final third. Brun Larson, who I thought, wow, here we go. Here we go, Quaker. Here we go. Well done, referee. 80 minutes on the clock. Guess what he's doing, guys? He stopped the game of football. He saunters over to the box, hands on his waist, like he's got all the time in the world.
I feel a role play coming on. Yeah.
And he's going to explain the rules to the players. So if you pull a shirt, it's a foul. If you elbow, they know the rules. And he's just killed a minute of the game, and we won't get that added on at the end of the game. Honestly, drives me absolutely insane. Brun Larson whips the corner in. What's he done here?
He's blowing it again.
What's happening here? Who's he booked? He's booked Badia Shield. Has he given a penalty?
Penalties. No way. A penalty then, surely.
Well, if he's booked Badia Shield, or maybe not because it hasn't. He's fouling him before the ball. Is that not a penalty?
I don't know what that is.
What is that? So
So he's booked Badia Shield and hasn't given a penalty. So is that because he's wrestling with the Burnley player before the ball because the ball's not live in the box? Do you know what I mean?
They've both been booked.
Oh, both have been booked. Honestly, do you know what? This stuff drives me insane. Absolutely insane. This game has just stopped for 3 minutes. Let the ball come into the box, and if you see a foul, then blow. This is absolute messy. The referee, the game's just stopped for 2 minutes.
What was the VAR looking
at? Do you know what, Quaku?
What's the VAR looking at?
You tell me.
What
was he off the pitch? I don't know what the... Yeah, it's hard to know what the VAR is looking at.
What is he looking at?
Baddy Shield and a Burnley player tussling with each other off the pitch before the ball comes in. Right, it's a corner, ball comes in, and Sanchez catches it.
Waste of time. Honestly, waste of time. Sanchez, just chill out with it. Chill out with it. That's the second time Chelsea.
I thought you did really well to collect that ball. Because it was like Sanchez the last season pushes that, parries to that, and puts pressure back on the team. But you're absolutely right. He then charges out with it, tries to pick up Pedro Neto, and Burnley are going to win a...
Not Alisson. Alisson picks out that
was
ball.
such a move.
That's just a poor decision. Just put your foot on it or just keep hold of it. I don't like the way this game's going, by the way.
You seem stressed.
You look nervous.
You are quite stressed in the corner over here.
Like, the thing is, the midfield's been functional. Andre Santos deserves a lot of credit for, like, being the anchor in that midfield and holding it down. But we can't get our foot on the ball. I think this is the time for Enzo Fernandez to start dictating the tempo, put your foot on the ball and take some of the pace out of the game, because Burnley have got their tails up and they feel like there's something in this game.
Still no Moses Caicedo?
No, he's not going to play.
It's all right. They're going to win the league, so they don't need him.
Apologies if I missed it, but Maresca was booked as well. Did you see? He's booked off the pitch. So there's a few yellows being
brandished.
Racked up. I do like brandish is better though.
No, I like racked up.
Racked up.
talkSPORT Goal Show is sponsored by Racking Up. Coming to you every single weekend.
It's going to rack you up, isn't it?
Makes no sense, that does it really?
It does, actually.
It doesn't really.
In footballing terms.
You're going to rack me up in footballing terms.
Yes.
I don't think it does make too much sense. Burnley are going to make their final substitution. Florentino is going to come off with about 7 minutes to go in that game, and Laurent is going to come on. And this I'd be nervous.
I don't think this is finished. I don't think it's finished.
I was far from finished.
Far from over.
Yeah, this is not good. Like, you've got to get the second.
This is where lack of experience could come back to haunt you. You think a more experienced team, more ruthless team, just dominating the game in the second half, kill the game off, and then the last sort of 20 minutes, half an hour become a training session.
Yeah, Arsenal get a second goal. Arsenal get a second goal in this game and kill it.
The Spurs?
Away from home, quite possibly.
The Spurs, I don't know, man. I don't know about that lot.
I don't think Chelsea are in trouble here. I don't think Burnley are good enough to really put them under.
You're really not having Burnley.
You hate Burnley.
Yeah, I just don't think they're good enough. I don't.
You're like Wolverine in between us.
They haven't got that killer edge to put a team like Chelsea to the sword, have they? I just don't think so. I mean, they've taken João Pedro off as well, haven't they? And brought Matchday. And so if you back the Epic Boost pre-match, that does carry on. The Epic Boost carries on. So it's João Pedro to score or assist, remember. So you do need him to come on and finish that bet off for you. But I just don't think they're good enough.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea look comfy still. I think they look comfortable. I think they do get a second.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I know why you'd be nervous, because you want that second goal just to finish them off.
How good is Cucurella, by the way?
He's
so solid, isn't he?
He's unbelievable.
Everything that comes down that left-hand side, he just deals with it, doesn't he? Like, no stress, no drama. He's so good. Armando Broja now out to the right-hand side. Can Burnley... I see here. Got to get the ball in the box. Back into Broja. Chelsea, a 10 pretty much on the edge of their box. Can Burnley find a better quality? Ball to the back post. And to be fair, was that Baddy Shield? He won his a head injury. They've both gone down. There was a head injury there. Baddy Shield did well, got his head on the ball. And the game is going to stop because there is a head injury.
13-2 the draw, which is big price if you are worried. 60-1 for Burnley to win, and Chelsea are 10-1 on to win the game from here.
So we've got a slight stoppage in play there because there's a clash of head injuries. Chelsea, the lack of chances really created in the second half as well is probably a little bit of a concern, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm a little bit sad we didn't get to see Estevão.
Saving him for the big two games coming up, right?
Yeah.
He's got to start one of those games, hasn't he?
You'd hope so. Yeah, I'd hope so.
Maybe in the week and then doesn't play against Arsenal?
I think the Champions League he might start. It'd be nice to see Estevão versus Lamine Yamal.
Yeah, of course it would.
It'd be obviously not on the same level just yet, but...
Has Pedro Neto gone a bit under the radar this season for Chelsea?
Do you know what? I was thinking about him earlier. He's such a great winger for Estevão to learn off of, because obviously Estevão's got more talent than Pedro Neto, but Pedro Neto is the archetypal Premier League winger. Gets wide, beats his man, he he's now starting to stay fit as well, and I feel like he's the perfect kind of senior and perfect kind of pro for Estevão to be understudy to, and we've got great options out wide. There he is.
Oh, he is coming on. There we go. Yeah. You get your wish.
Yeah.
Running at a tired Burnley back four. He has to score here, doesn't he, Kwaku?
Oh, man, I can't. I just love seeing him play. And when we play at home, whenever he comes off the bench, the Stamford Bridge just rises. He's so special, man. He's the most naturally talented player that we've had since Eden Hazard.
And that's pretty high praise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He should, by the end of his career, had a better career than Eden Hazard. Like, that's how talented this kid is. He's unbelievable. I can't say enough about him, and you'll see it as soon as he gets on the ball. He'll do something. He's such a good footballer.
And at the World Cup, he's going to surely shine at the World Cup. Oh, because he plays a lot more minutes for Brazil than he does.
Vinny Rodrigo, Estevão, not a bad front three, is it?
So you're going to come back from that, and if you've managed his minutes the way you think they are, and you come out of the World Cup next season, title contenders with Estevão up front.
Yeah,
next season, Lee. It's only been for the last hour and a half.
He's already told you they are title contenders, but we can have this same conversation this time again next year.
But the thing is, I don't understand what she wants from me, right? So, like, last year when I said we're not title contenders, I'm talking about you.
Me.
Like, last year when we're not title, get that clear.
A Burnley goal right now would be great.
Inject it into my veins.
Inject it.
Abby, I think there's more chance of one of the lads going out and getting us some coffees than there is a Burnley.
I would quite like coffee.
Should score!
Who scored?
Yes! Come on! That's his game, set, match. See you at the Bridge midweek. Big week for Chelsea. Burnley, done. Barcelona. Then it's Arsenal. Let's see who's talking at the end of next week.
I hope it's you.
Title challenge.
Chelsea have got their second goal in the 88th minute. I think it's fair to say this is going to be a game that I think is going to be forgotten about pretty quickly moving forward. It hasn't been particularly good. Chelsea will not care, though. And, hey, bit of a cliche, but the sign of what a good team, a sign of champion, as some people might say, are a team that wins when they're not at their best. It came from Sanchez, who played a ball to Gusto, where we thought for a second it might be intercepted near the goal line. But from that moment on, Pedro Neto does really, really well down the right-hand side. He cuts in field, plays a ball into Mike Guillo, who makes a good run down the right-hand side, holds the ball up, goes past his man into the box, and then goes back across the face of goal. And Enzo Fernandez makes a really good run, arriving late, slots the ball into the back of the net. And Kwaku, again, not pretty, not great. You won't care. It's 3 points. And again, of course, Arsenal still have to play this weekend. But as things stand, Chelsea are second in the Premier League table, and Chelsea 3 points behind the league leaders.
Yep. Yeah, I'm very, very happy. I'm very happy. That was a good team goal. Needed that 2-0. That's what this game should have been. 2-0 away from home. 12:30 after the international break. Just get the win. I can sit back. I can relax. I'm gonna watch the North London derby. No, it's an important win, man.
No, I'm not. That was a good thing. It wasn't quite a sprint down the touchline like Liverpool at home, but it was a brief jog outside the box, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's brief jog outside.
He's learned his lesson, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Don't do the full sprint.
Don't have too much fun, Enzo. Otherwise, you won't be on the bench next week.
It's a big result, man. And I was getting into you. You don't like it. Like last season when I said we're not in the title race, but now I'm saying we are in the title race. You got a problem with that as well?
No, I don't.
What do you want?
I just wanted you to assert. I just wanted you to say that you were in a title race. Last season, you frustrated me because you were around this very same time last year. You were there or thereabout in the same position as you are this year, and you just wouldn't say it.
Yeah, it's different team. This is a better team. This is a better team than last season.
I just want you
defensively.
You're not that different defensively.
Last season we were,
also you're not even playing with Cole Palmer.
That's what I mean. Imagine Chelsea last season without Cole Palmer. We would have fallen apart. This is a more mature team. This is a team that's picked up a couple of people, racked up the silverware, as Abby would say. And we're literally just seeing the evolution of this team. And last year it was the youngest squad in Premier League history. This year it's the youngest squad in the Premier League. And they're growing and they're learning together. I'm happy with what I'm seeing. Get that clear. Okay.
I'll be honest with you. Sorry, I was just going to say, if I had to, someone actually asked me this the other day, if I had to have an option between Arsenal or Chelsea to win the league, I would pick you every single day of the week. Yeah. So we actually really are working together.
Okay.
Here, let's make a truce.
No. I'm not making a truce with you because Chelsea are.
You'd obviously rather Spurs win the league than Arsenal.
Oh, tough one. Would I rather Spurs win the league than Arsenal?
You don't start racking up those Premier Leagues, do you? You know.
No, I don't. I would
You would rather Arsenal win the league. Don't be like this. Like.
No, I can't. I
so
can't
close,
decide.
don't do
I
this.
can't decide.
No, but like if you had to, like you have to. It's a life or death question.
I would rather Spurs win the league.
Thank you. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. We can.
Yeah.
Okay, it means a lot to me. Thank you.
That's lovely. That's
Thank you.
nice.
That was clip that because that was a touching moment. It will never happen
Very
again.
nice moment. Anyone who backed that epic boost, João Pedro to score or assist, has landed thanks to the impact sub. It was obviously the sub came on and assist the goal. So nice little way to land that. Took a while, but got there in the end with the impact sub. So that one's landed, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Erling Haaland one lands later on as well.
Full times.
3-2, is it?
Yeah, full times in the Championship. Coventry have extended their lead at the top of the Championship table. They were 2-0 down at home to West Brom. West Brom did go down to 10 men very early in the second half, and Coventry made the man advantage count. Coventry beating West Brom by 3-2. A remarkable result with the Valley. Southampton, who had a tough start to the season, had won their last 2 games since the sacking of Will Stewart. Won 5-1 away at Charlton. Charlton 1, Southampton 5 is a full-time of the Valley. And Bristol City, chasing a place in the playoffs, have beaten Swansea at home by 3-0. So Coventry top on 37 points. They're 8 clear of Borough in second and 10 clear of Stoke in third, who of course do still have to play this weekend. Bristol City up to 4th in the table, back into the playoffs after winning. And maybe Southampton could be a team to watch. Up to 13th, won 3 in a row, 13th in the table. And it's mad to think they had an awful start to the season, manager sacked, and yet they're 4 points off the playoff places after winning 3 in a row. So we've got 3 minutes to go then in our 12:30 game in the Premier League. Burnley 0, Chelsea 2. A good victory this would be for Chelsea ahead of a massive week with Barcelona coming to Stamford Bridge and also Arsenal coming to Stamford Bridge as well on Sunday. I guess really, Craig, you'd love Spurs to do Arsenal a favour, to do Chelsea a favour. Really,
I would absolutely love it. They're obviously no threat for the title, so yeah, I'd love a Spurs win in that one. It's very unlikely. Quiz.
I like your quizzes.
When
I love how quick you announces these things.
Yeah, he's just like
Question.
quiz.
Point.
So the last time Spurs beat Arsenal at the Emirates was November 2010.
Yeah.
Who was the Spurs manager?
That was...
Harry Redknapp?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Can you name the scorers?
What was the score?
3-2.
The winning. Yeah. Do you know what? I remember. Who scored a header? Did Yunus Kabul
Correct.
score a header?
Who scored? Who
Gareth
else scored?
Bale?
Yeah, and was a pen.
Okay.
Shush the crowd. No, pre-came.
Yeah, to 2010.
Van Vaart.
Yeah, and he went.
All right. I mean, Kabul was a pretty good.
Kabul.
You respect that, don't you?
I do respect that. Do you know what's so funny? Ingrained in her memory because they never win there. Like she remembers it like it was yesterday. 15 years.
And do you want to know something really niche I remember about that?
I remember
Kabul
where
header?
I remember where I was. I remember where I watched it.
Kabul scores a goal away at Arsenal. You know, it's late in the second half, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Limbs in the away end. He runs away from the away end to celebrate.
Yeah, man.
That should be a rule in footballers' contract.
You have to run
if you
towards the
score a goal away from home and there's limbs, go into the
Do you know
limbs
what
so we
game?
can all see the limbs.
Well, do you know what game is also ingrained, and I know the
4-4?
commentary. No, that's great as well. But the when we beat Arsenal at home, Danny Rose, Premier League debut.
Oh, that goal was just ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
And that
Absolutely unbelievable.
Doesn't look real, does it?
No.
So 2010, the last time you won.
Well, in the league, we beat them in the cup there.
Yeah, Daddy scored a couple
lovely
of.
little chip,
Yeah.
Good memory, man.
Huh?
Yeah.
Good memory.
Hey, we're on this, aren't we? It's talkSPORT.
That was Carabao.
Afternoon.
That was Carabao.
Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
Didn't fancy Arsenal away tomorrow?
No.
Would you have to go in and just?
Because she knows they're not going to get anything.
No, I went last season on a cold Wednesday night in Jan, I think it was. To be honest with you, the last
Do you get
time
sick, when you're around those?
very much so.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
People know you do, though.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that go, "Why are you here?"
I'm watching Spurs play.
Yeah, but the last few times I haven't sat in the Arsenal end, but I've sat in
Careful.
corporate,
Oh, okay. That's a bit.
and they're like, "Why are you here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't really want to be, but I don't want to be in the Arsenal."
Probably being paid, weren't you? I'm guessing by some sort of company.
Anyway,
There we
so
go.
the last time I went to Arsenal, and I will actually tell you why I don't go, was the second time you lost 5-2. And after that, after doing it, I did it pretty much every year before that. And the second year we lost 5-2, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Did Adebayor get sent off for Spurs in one of those 5-2s?
Yeah.
That's just Adebayor playing for Spurs
Also,
doesn't feel real, does it?
Sorry, just imagine losing 5-2 twice, back to back.
Yeah, it takes
In the
something,
same
doesn't it?
fixture. Like Spurs are just jokes. Like they're just a funny. Fun. They're not a real club.
Funny
Well,
little club in North.
There goes the full-time whistle.
Was that dig necessary? Well, you should actually be on my side for tomorrow. Oh, it's a bit much. It's just a little bit much. It's a bit much.
I don't think it is much. That's a big win for Chelsea.
It's a big
Didn't
win for
play
Chelsea.
well. Went
It's
to
just a bit
Burnley,
much.
picked up a 2-0 win.
Yeah.
Chelsea, but Quaku,
You're going to win the league.
Quaku, I don't want to one thing I would say with you, you've been very inconsistent, I think, in your views,
Yeah,
and you're
very.
it was at least you admit it. It was literally only like 3 weeks ago you were like not sure about Maresca's future, and now you're literally sitting there saying we can win the Premier League this
I
season.
said no. That there is a world in which Chelsea can win the Premier League.
Right,
Sorry, I'm just really sorry. We've got to stop doing this because there is a world.
I guess
We are in
lots
this
of things can
world.
happen. Right?
Are there as apart from Arsenal? You can say Liverpool to an extent. Think about the amount of like quality, top quality players, best players in their position in the Premier League. Chelsea have got. I've already gone through them, but I'll do it again. Reece James, best right back in the league, in my opinion. Cucurella, best left back in the league, in my opinion. Moises Caicedo, best midfielder in the league, in my opinion. Cole Palmer, one of the best players in the world. Estevão, one of the most exciting young players in the world. Robert Sanchez, like we mentioned, has gone under the radar. Has been one of the best keepers in the Premier League this season. Enzo Fernandez is a World Cup winner. If you look at that collection of 6 or 7 players, yeah, there's a world in which Chelsea can win the league. A lot has to go away. Arsenal have to fall off. Liverpool have to keep on losing games. But there is a world in which this group can win the league. Moises Caicedo didn't play a minute of football today. Chelsea won 2-0. It was seamless. It was easy. It's a big week, Sam. It's a big week. Got Barcelona, got Arsenal. Talk to me after the Arsenal game. A game in which I'm going to say it right now, we're not losing that game. We are not losing that game.
Sorry, which game? Arsenal game?
The Arsenal game. We are not losing that game. We are. I'm telling you that for a fact. And talk to me after that game. If we win it, we're in it. We're 3 points off of Arsenal right now. The runaway leaders, right? The team that's going to storm the league. Chelsea are 3 points behind them.
So this time next week when we are here for that game, and we ask you that question,
Yeah.
you are going to say,
What if we beat Arsenal? Well, obviously.
are you going to say you're then going to win the league?
What if we beat Arsenal? How do you think I'm going to act?
What
I'm
if you
acting
draw
like
to
this right
Arsenal?
now.
What if you? I know what you act like. What about if you draw?
It's about performance. Let's see.
What if you draw to Arsenal?
Yeah, ask me next week.
Cool. Can you
Lee-
stop saying there is a world?
There is a
Because
wo-
Can
there
we
is a
make
world-
it this world? Because I could say there is a world where Spurs become the best team. There is a world where I grow wings. There is a world where
Spurs are what? The best team.
there is a world. I don't know what world. It's a parallel universe. So just claim it. I'm actually done with you.
Lee, final one for you. Have Chelsea shorted much at all in terms of winning the league?
I was just asking the
Really
traders
don't
that.
like
I was
it.
just messaging our traders that very question, and for Coventry's price for the Championship. And by accident, I left on the the dictate button, the button where you press in, and so it's just basically that whole conversation between. I haven't sent it to the traders yet, but I might just send it.
Just send it.
Do them a favour and don't send it to them, okay?
I just want to know
Type
what
in.
world.
Chelsea,
What world?
Chelsea are 18-1 from 25. So 25 is before the match.
Coming a little.
Now 18-1.
Okay. So Chelsea win at Burnley by 2 goals. Confirmation of full times in the Championship. Bristol City 3, Swansea 0. Southampton winning 5-1 away at Charlton. Coventry extend their lead to the top, beating West Brom by 3 goals to 2 in League One. Plymouth win at Port Vale in League Two. Gillingham 1, Barnet 1, and Walsall win at Harrogate by 2 goals to 0. This is talkSPORT Goals with William Hill. It's 18 plus. Gamble aware, dog. We'll take a very, very quick break, and then when we come back, we very much turn our attention to the 3 o'clock games in the Premier League. Yeah, very good afternoon. It is talkSPORT Goals. We're live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and coming to you as well on your smart TVs with William Hill. It's 18 plus. GambleAware.org. I'm your host, Sam Ellard. Lee Phelps and William Hill. It's to my right hand side. Abby Summers, Quaker Afari to my left hand side. One result already in the Premier League today. Chelsea's recent good form continues. They went to Burnley and they beat Burnley by 2 goals to 0. There was a first half header from Pedro Neto. Then right at the end, Enzo Fernandez scored from close range. So Chelsea up to second in the table, 3 points behind Arsenal, who of course play tomorrow. 5 games at 3 o'clock in the Premier League about to get underway in 25 minutes time. Bournemouth West Ham, no Semenya for Bournemouth. Brighton Brentford, both on the same points. Fulham against Sunderland flying high, fourth in the table. Liverpool desperately needing to get back to winning ways, home to Forest. Rob Edwards' first game as Wolves manager is home to Palace. In the Championship, Coventry extend their lead to the top of the table. They were 2-0 down at home to West Brom. They turned around when the Baggies went down to 10 men and won 3-2. Charlton 1 to Hampton 5. Bristol City back into the playoffs, beating Swansea by 3-0. Kwesi Wafari, it is a massive afternoon for Liverpool. Salah, Isak, Gakpo the front three. McAllister, Gravenberch and Jones in midfield. Szoboszlai right back. Van Dijk, Konate, Kirk as the back four. Alisson fit again and in goal. Is there a possibility? Can you see a situation where Liverpool can start to gather some momentum and improve results and performances?
Is there a world?
In this world.
Yeah, there is a world.
Like right now, ideally.
In which Liverpool can do it. I just think with Liverpool, there is just a slight disconnect, right? We all talk about the transfer window. We don't need to go into it. But Arsenal took the league in a certain direction. And that direction was physicality. And that is a game predicated on pace and power. Liverpool went in a more finesse direction. Think about the players they signed. Averts, Nekatike and Isak. And so I think it's just a case of realignment and readjusting. And people want to mock Liverpool because some people are calling for them to go again in January. But looking at this Liverpool team, I think you need to go again in January.
It's centre back desperately.
There is no question about it. If Semenyo is available, you go and get a player like that, because where's Liverpool's pace? Where's the pace in that team? That it doesn't exist. And so I think Liverpool can get results. They've got some of the best players the Premier League's ever seen. I think you can string results together, but if it's a case of you perform like you have in the first 11 games of the season, it's going to be as inconsistent as it was at the beginning of the season. 1-6, lost 5, not a single draw. Like, the management of games has been poor. If you think about Man United game, see that out as a draw. Think about a Chelsea game, see that out as a
Palace
draw.
away,
Palace away.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not going to win it, like, don't lose it. And that's the issue with Liverpool. But yeah, to answer your question, you can go on the run because we've seen this team go on the run before.
And Liverpool's performances obviously have to improve, but to take a real glass half full way of trying to imagine a way in which my team can get back in the title race. It is Forest at home today. The next games after that in the league are West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds, Brighton. So possibly the next 5 games on paper obviously, I mean, if it was not played on paper, are winnable games for Liverpool. Against, I know Sunderland are going well, but other teams are teams that are fighting relegation or mid-table. But yeah, clearly things have to improve. I have to believe that, Virgil van Dijk is going to get back to his best, and, Ibu Konate is going to not keep on making the same amount of mistakes. Surely Mo Salah, who put up generational numbers, his first touch is going to come back sooner rather than later. Hoping that Alexander Isak, who I think in the last 18 months to 2 years at Newcastle was one of the best centre forwards in the league, is going to get himself fit, hopefully get a regular run of games. The Florian Wirtz that we see, in the international break at Germany, playing really well, putting up numbers, getting assists, is going to find his feet, adapting to the league. I do genuinely think, despite this season being an absolute mess, from the recruitment being wrong in the summer, bringing in too many players, from the manager not knowing the best team, the best system, and not adapting quick enough to the players, not being good enough, I still believe there's just too many good players in this team. And hopefully win today against Forest, and maybe we can start to gather some momentum.
Yeah, there are very, very good players in that. It's just you're very kind of front heavy in that sense. Like, I think we've said it a couple of weeks ago. I think it is a massive mismanagement and oversight that your only options was Mark Gahey, and I know you signed Leone as well, but like, there had to be another option, another target that you could have got in the summer. Like, we knew that you needed a centre back. That was so obvious, And I think that I don't think you really had any.
It's not easy.
I don't think you were going to get. I don't think you were planning on getting Ekatike and Isak, but I understand why you would go and get both. I think that adapting to having so many new players, like, we have seen that with other teams before, and it does take time for that to
but the
for that to
a team that
gel.
won the Premier League last season didn't need to go in and bring in half a dozen players.
But some of those were out of your control.
Like
I think the Trent one was obviously out of your control.
Sure, okay,
in that sense, obviously Jota was also so sadly out of your control as well. There are areas that were.
Sure, that's 2 players.
Okay, there's 2, but I think
also I'd say I don't want to be wise.
But
I was one person that was so happy that we did. Yeah. But maybe looking back on it in hindsight, from a team that wins the Premier League, I appreciate what you're saying. We need another attacking option, clearly the right back situation, but maybe they could do the whole thing again. Would they not?
Oh, I'm sure they do it
this summer. Would they bought in one of Ekatike and Isak? That's something Alex Ferguson did really well at Man United.
Yes.
The year they won the league. There was a couple of new additions to keep the squad going, not kind of wholesale.
However, like we said, there was certain situations that were out of your control.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And I also feel like last season, not giving Arne-Slot that money and that backing, it was kind of like, okay, well, let's go and prove, like, let's see what you can do and prove yourself this season. And then you can kind of have all the money and keys to the kingdom type of thing. I think that when you bring in so many, you are always going to cause a ripple effect, and especially a team that doesn't naturally do that. But because you didn't do it last year, this is your rebuild. Really, it was meant to be last year, and it's just happened this year.
The loss of Trent has been massively underestimated. I mean, we're talking about Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
Trent suffered from that in a way, was never given the kind of the props he deserved. He's look where he's gone. He's the partnership with Salah, that's obviously been underestimated, and I think that's a huge. And I think now the fact that you've got Szoboszlai, it's like, why is he there? He's a fantastic. Every time he goes away on international break,
but you just said that. But no, he's there because he's probably the most Trent. What Trent could do, what Trent could do there with the ball at his feet from that right back position was unbelievable. Yeah. And Dominic Szoboszlai is probably the closest thing to do that in terms of being able to move into.
But what a waste of all the other bits, obviously.
And I appreciate that, but I think that's probably that because Frimpong is such a different type of right back, isn't he, to Mo Salah, in terms of the way he goes on the outside. I think Conor Bradley, as great as he is defensively, I don't think he's the strongest offensively. So I think you're right. I think you're absolutely bang on. I think the loss, I think Trent was one of the most underrated players
100%.
we've seen in the Premier League for a long time. But because
100%.
in his early stage of his career, he was a little
defend.
bit weak defensively, but he got so much better defensively. And what he could do with the ball at his feet was freakish. And you're right, we couldn't replace that because there's no right back out there in the league. And I think Szoboszlai doing that role, moving into midfield from right back, is maybe the closest thing we've got to having a Trent ball-playing player there.
Because of how good he is in midfield.
And he's been our best player this season.
100%.
I think AFCON will help you. You've got a Mo Salah problem. You have, and it sounds so harsh because
it's too early. I think it's too early to say that, Kwaku.
I don't think it's too early.
It's 4 months ago. You're saying,
4 months is a long time.
We tell this guy he's the best player in Premier League history.
Yeah, but father time catches up with everybody, and sometimes it can happen
like this though, where you go from having one of the best seasons in Premier League history to being like a guy.
I think AFCON will help. I think AFCON will help you out because you can see what life will look like after Mo Salah. And if you go through a patch of really good form, all of a sudden it's like, okay,
then Slot's got a reason not to put him back into the team.
100%.
And I think your team will be better for it. If I'm being honest, he doesn't do any of the work going that way. And if he's not giving,
who plays on the right hand side? Do you think who's the most natural?
You know what? I think you change it up. I think you either go. Something has to change. You can play Ekatike and Issa
in like a diamond formation,
and versing behind them.
So ideally, you want them both to be playing.
Yeah, he spent enough money on them.
Both of And diamond is probably the best.
And I think with Salah, this is probably a natural. This is like a natural season where it doesn't need to be all about Mohamed Salah. The numbers last year were absolutely ridiculous, but I think realistically, you're coming to the point where you do then just have to plan for life without him. It can't all be built around Mohamed Salah now because Mohamed Salah is at that age where he's going to be towards the end of his career, and that's okay to come on and not be reliant on Mo Salah, but. Let's be honest. If Arne-Slot was just going to start dropping him, there would be uproar.
You can't do it. You can't really drop Mo Salah. It's fantastic business by Liverpool, by the way. That 2-year contract.
Yeah, because you can sell him next summer and get money.
I'm really good point about AFCON. The more I think about it,
that's why this guy's good.
Because then you ease him out, and then he comes back, and you don't need to. He doesn't get naturally. By the way, today I think the big change is Alisson in goal.
Yeah,
I think that makes a massive difference today.
Like, I don't want to criticise Mamardashvili, but there's some one-on-ones that like Alisson just gets Liverpool out of danger, and like. Again, this is why I like football fans this season because no one's using injuries as an excuse. Liverpool could really easily point to Alisson going down at the moment.
Mate, spend like £400 million in the summer. We can't use it.
But it's coincidental that literally the minute Alisson got injured, Liverpool's form.
Yeah, but they weren't playing well before that.
One thing I would say, I promise you, nobody loves Alisson more than me, and I agree with everything you say in terms of how good he is on one-on-ones and everything. But I don't think we can pin this loss of form on Alisson.
They weren't playing well from the start of the season. They were just getting over the line.
I don't think it's a coincidence.
Right, good stuff, Quaker. At this time of the show, quarter to 3, we're going to say goodbye to you. What are your plans this afternoon and for the game tomorrow?
Chilling with little boy.
Dash.
Dash. Yeah, just going to chill with him.
And where are you watching Chelsea tomorrow?
Where am I watching Chelsea?
You mean Spurs, Arsenal?
Oh, Spurs, Arsenal, not Chelsea. I keep thinking Chelsea, Arsenal's tomorrow. That's next Sunday.
Yeah, when I'm watching I'm not too sure. Somewhere they probably come from my own home.
Right to mate, if you want to have a couple of beers.
I live in Brighton.
Long way to go, isn't it? Quaker Talkman, we'll see you next Sunday for Chelsea, Arsenal on talkSPORT Goals. Marcus Speller from the Ramble is with us next as we watch 5 3:00 games in the Premier League on talkSPORT Goals. We're with William Hill, 18 plus at gambleaware.org. It's a busy Saturday of football. Let's do this, guys. A very, very good afternoon and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. We are live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and also as well with you on your smart TVs this Saturday afternoon. We're approaching 3 o'clock. We're approaching 5 games at 3 o'clock in the Premier League. The one result today in the Premier League is Chelsea go to Burnley and win by 2-2. Chelsea up to second in the table, 3 points behind Arsenal, who of course play tomorrow in the North London derby. The 3 results in the Championship: Coventry 2 down home to West Brom, win by 3-2, and Southampton go to Charlton and win 5-1. Bristol City back into the playoffs, beating Swansea by 3-0. Now all our attention turns to the 3 o'clock games in the Premier League. We've got Bournemouth West Ham, we've got Brighton Brentford, Fulham Sunderland, Liverpool Forest and Wolves Crystal Palace. I'm your host Sam Ellard. Lee Phelps is still here, Abby Summers is still here, and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals to Marcus Bella.
It's me.
How are you?
I'm all right, yeah.
I wonder what you were doing then. It's like your trademark goal celebration.
It was this guy did it, everybody.
Have I said something wrong or something?
No,
How are you, Marcus?
You never say anything wrong, Sam. It's a pleasure to be in your company. It's supposed to be in all the company here of such people of fine.
Stop schmoozing.
I'm getting emotional.
The 3 o'clock games haven't even started yet.
It's been a little while, and also we had a big international break, so absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Absolutely.
Just out of interest, we are going to turn our attention to the 3 o'clock games very, very shortly. But just out of interest, sat in your seat minutes ago was a very passionate Quaker Wafari who's adamant this Chelsea team can win the Premier League this season.
Yeah.
Can they?
Yeah, no, he's wrong. They can't.
I agree with you. Thank you for saying that with such authority.
So I think it's mathematically still possible. In some ways, it's mathematically possible that Fulham could still win the Premier League title. It is more likely that
Wolves
Chelsea...
probably still could if they won every single game.
I can't see that world.
What world, Lee?
What
world?
Yeah,
world.
You are taking the mick with Wolves a bit there, but I think
And Fulham. No,
hey, come on. Hashtag I believe.
Yeah.
No, I think obviously I understand what Quaker's saying, that there's a smidgen of hope just looking at the other teams and the way they're performing.
I don't think he was giving a smidgen of hope. He was getting quite chesty with it.
Right.
It's basically like 2 weeks off from Premier League
He had a
football.
bubbling feeling.
He did.
Yeah.
I think, do you know what? I'm going to take it down from a smidgen to a globule. There's a globule of hope maybe for Chelsea to win the league. I still think Arsenal will do it. I would say you've got Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, and then probably Chelsea in that order.
They'll challenge. At times, they'll put a good challenge, but then the consistency just won't be there, will it? That's what's going to...
Indeed, I always feel with Chelsea that you just want that little bit more. Yeah. What Kwaku said with regard to the core of the side, very talented group of players. You've got some real-world beaters in there. There's no doubt about that. But there's just a little something.
Yeah. Today, if
good win today.
Cole Palmer and Estevão are in that team and they're both fighting, they probably win it 4-0, don't they?
Yeah.
Maybe.
But then do those same players go to Arsenal, go to Liverpool, or go to City and get a result?
Yeah, but I mean, the league is much more open this season than it has been, and I think in the spirit of that, people are saying, "Well, hang on, could we see somebody else that's an unfancied side?" Because I think people are a little bit low on Liverpool.
I don't think Arsenal run away with it from here on.
No, I don't think anyone's going to run away with it.
I don't think they continue. I think I'm really interested to see what happens in the North London derby after the Sunderland result, because that's the proof, isn't it? If they go and win that game and win it well, and that's you go, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Bit of a blip.
What, North London derby?
If they win that, then they go.
Was that you touting Sunderland there in the runnings after the Sunderland result? Oh, you meant Arsenal? Yeah. Arsenal. I thought you meant today. I thought you were saying, "Hang on a minute, guys, look at the table."
No, I don't think they're not going to do a Leicester, are they? Aren't they? I just think it's a little test in Arsenal's mettle. What happens? Okay, you've had the draw at Sunderland.
Right.
You've got injuries for the international break. You come back now. You've got North London. If they win that, you go, fair enough. That's another tick in the box, isn't it?
But they would be expected to win
course.
a North London derby at any stage, really, especially when it's at home. I mean.
It's just another question mark, isn't it? It's another question mark, having gone to Sunderland and dropped points.
Go there and get something. I'm getting excited now.
To be honest, Abby, like
I said I wouldn't get excited. I don't get excited.
In my lifetime, when I started watching football in 1990, I think only when Pochettino was in charge for that a brief moment did I not expect Arsenal to win the North London derby.
We had some good times under Harry Redknapp.
Yeah, so you did.
Martin Yole.
Martin Yole. Less so at Fulham.
Yeah.
Well, I can assure you, Mark, because I've come prepared with Fulham questions for you.
Oh, here we go.
We've got to take a break in a couple of minutes. I'm going to save you for the other side of the break. But I thought, I want to ease you in, Mark.
I wonder if there's people watching it going, can you ask him them during the break?
No,
or people just going, off. I'm done. I'm not interested in it.
We're having a Fulham after.
Mark, a lot of eyes are on Liverpool, obviously, today against Nottingham Forest. We know it's been a bad start to the season. is this going to be a permanent thing for Liverpool this season, or can you see a way in which things start to get better and these good players start performing again like last season?
Yeah, I can see that. I think that we've been conditioned. Abby mentioned it before the break about how good Liverpool were last season, and we all remember that. We've been conditioned in recent years, Man City having near perfect seasons, Liverpool having near perfect, and even Arsenal as well when they finished second. As near to perfect as you can be without winning the league. That's what we've come to kind of expect. It's not always been like that in the Premier League. We find ourselves in a situation now, and I think people are ready to write off Liverpool. Well, they haven't won. You lose this many games. You're not going to win the league. Well, yeah, in the last 5, 6, however many seasons, yes. But the league's not like that this season. So I think they still can come good. I think the chat that you had, again, just before the break about Trent Alexander was an interesting one. You mentioned Alisson, very important for having him come back into goal, because before he was injured, you probably say he was their best player, which was a bit indicative of the defence not being as tight. But I think they can. Isak surely is going to show something like he did last season.
Maybe score a goal today. That'd be
Maybe
nice,
score a goal today.
Don't ask too much for the £100 million centre forward.
And as Quaker was saying, when Mo Salah leaves for AFCON, it'll be interesting to see him, because Salah's obviously one of the greatest players in the history of the Premier League, let alone Liverpool's history. But I think there's a long-winded way of saying, yes, I think they can do it. But a result today would go a step in the right direction.
What we'll do in the next 3 minutes, we're going to put the kettle on, we're going to get a cup of tea, we have our quad on our TV screens, we put Fulham's one game not on the quad for you, Marcus, so you don't have to watch Fulham this afternoon. 5 Premier League games to come, one more break on talkSPORT Goals with William Hill waiting, plus a GambleAware.org, then we're watching the 3 o'clock games in the Premier League. A very good afternoon and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. It's Sam Ellard, Lee Phelps, Abby Summers, Marcus Speller with you until around 5:30 this evening. We are going to be taking you through now a busy 3 o'clock set of fixtures in the Premier League. The one result today is that Chelsea have gone to Burnley and won by 2-0. The 5 games at 3 o'clock in the Premier League, Bournemouth versus West Ham. Bournemouth have won 4 of their 5 Premier League home games this season, but 1 win in 4 though overall against the West Ham team in the relegation zone. Have won though their last 2 games under Nuno Espirito Santo. Brighton, Brentford, 11th v 12th, both sides on the exact same points. Brentford are winless in all 4 of their Premier League away games against Brighton. Fulham versus Sunderland. Fulham just 1 point above the drop zone. They have lost their last 2 Premier League home games against Sunderland. Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest. Forest won 1-0 away and drew 1-1 at home against Liverpool in the Premier League last season. They've not gone 3 league games without defeat against Liverpool since 1993. Rob Edwards takes charge of his first game as Wolves manager, home to Crystal Palace. Wolves still looking for their first victory in the Premier League this season. 3 results in the Championship. Bristol City beating Swansea by 3-0 back in the playoff places as things stand. Charlton 1, Southampton 5, Coventry 3, West Brom 2. The 3 o'clock fixtures in the Championship: Birmingham, Norwich, Derby, Watford, Ipswich, Wrexham, Leicester, Stoke, Oxford, Borough, Portsmouth, Millwall and QPR versus Hull City. Sean Dyche has already done a Sean Dyche thing at Anfield, making Nottingham Forest turn Liverpool around in the first half. So therefore they are attacking the Kop. Marcus, you are a big Fulham fan, season ticket holder. 11 played, 3 wins this season. Yeah. Start the day 1 point above the drop zone. Why has it been such a tricky start to the season?
Yeah, it has been. I should say someone else is sitting in the seats today because I'm not there, obviously, at the cottage. Wouldn't want those tickets to go to waste. Fulham have started the season poorly. There's no doubt about that. They had poor recruitment in the summer, and they got a couple over the line towards the end of the window. But Marco Silva wasn't best pleased, and he said they needed a bit of freshening up, that squad. You had a few players in there who, like, not bad players, but maybe their time at the club is maybe sort of coming towards the end. A few older players in there. The previous window, going back a couple of years, was pretty good, the previous summer. And Silva, I thought, looked like a man who was very disgruntled. And, he'd been constantly linked with the Spurs job, and Frank got it. And I wonder if he thought maybe that was going to be his. I don't know. They're very much my words and nothing he said, of course. I think he's loved his time at Fulham, and there's obviously that chat about the contract negotiations at the moment. I think Fulham play some good football, and I think that they are a side who shouldn't be in the position they're in. But the problem is they can't score goals at the moment. Raul Jimenez, who is no spring chicken, he's put in a big old shift for Fulham, but he's never been a prolific goal scorer, has he really? Lovely player to watch, got great feet and can head the ball, but in terms of putting a ball in the back of the net, not in abundance. Rodrigo Muniz is probably the man to take over from him when he's back from injury, but he's been injured, and then he aggravated the injury again, and he's going to be out until the new year. And it is that position. I know this sounds ridiculous, but I don't think they ever really fully replaced Alexander Mitrovic.
That's fair.
You go all the way back, then to when old Mitro was playing, and if he was in this team, he would be getting 12, 15 goals a season. For a striker for Fulham, that's not too shabby at all. As I say, Muniz and Jimenez have chipped in, but they need something more up there. And I think that it's going to be quite tough for Fulham. And I think the January transfer window, they're already looking at that, to be quite frank. So that's why they're struggling. It's the lack of goals and maybe a little bit of inertia with one or two of the players and even the manager. But right now, I think they're going to. I think they've had the kick up the backside, and I would expect them from the international break on now to try and to get a bit more on the board, because blimey, no one's too good to get relegated.
You also didn't do much in the summer,
no,
either. I think that was probably also very disappointing.
Yes,
from a Fulham standpoint, I feel like Marco Silva is a really good manager, but at the same time, if you're not progressing the squad, what can any manager do?
Totally,
really to keep it fresh.
I feel there's almost like there's a ceiling for a club like that. A lot of clubs in the Premier League are like that.
You're in that bracket. I think of like a Palace or like a Brentford. Would you not put them in that kind of mid?
I think they're pretty evenly matched. Yeah.
Well, look at Palace. What do they chant? 12th again. Don't give up. We won the FA Cup.
Sure.
And that's it. It was there.
Are you sure in the League Cup?
So Fulham are
in the League Cup
away to Newcastle.
That's a great, tough game. That's
a quarter-final, though.
That's a great opportunity, isn't it?
Well, totally, yeah. And I think that's it for Marco Silva. It's like history is there if he can win a trophy, but winning a trophy with Fulham has not happened in their entire history, so it's no mean feat.
Got close a couple of times.
There was some, just on his future, there was some talk, wasn't there, in kind of the international ranges before it, that maybe possibly Fulham and Marco Silva might part ways. Was there any part of you, given everything you've just said there, about the lack of activity in the summer window, maybe he's taken you as far as he's as you can go? Was there any part of you maybe thought a parting of ways would be best for both parties, Fulham and Marco Silva?
Well, I thought he would leave next summer. I thought he was going to leave. His press conference would have been yesterday. They do the presses. He was a bit more open than honest than normal, and I spoke to one or two journalists who cover Fulham and others who were there. They said, it was a slightly different vibe in the room, and they felt it was more positive because in terms of him potentially signing another 2 or 3 year extension, because I think a lot of Fulham fans want him to stay because he's the man who has brought Premier League stability back to Fulham. They are a mid-table side, or have been, and that's where we desperately want to get back to. And it's under him because they were a yo-yo side for so many years, and they're down in the Championship and so on and so forth. So there's no gimme. There's no absolute God-given right that you're a Premier League side. So with Silva, I think people have really enjoyed him at Fulham. And a few were thinking, I think this will be his last season. Whereas today, with the new contract negotiations, maybe he's thinking to himself, do you know what? Is there another club that would really mould the whole club really kind of around him, as much as one does in this day and age?
I take that point, but I think if he was to walk away from Fulham tomorrow morning, I think he leaves with reputation really, really high.
Yeah.
I think the next team that sacks their manager in the Premier League, barring kind of the obvious couple, I think they consider Marco Silva. So I think at this stage of his career, I get what you're saying in terms of he's safe there at Fulham, but he might think he needs to take that gamble at another club and see if the funds are there, the resources are there to try and take them. He might think he's taking Fulham as far as he can get.
But do you do a sideways step? I mean, obviously he's worked with Marinakis before in Greece, and there was talk about Nottingham Forest. Well, last season you'd be thinking, I'll tell you what, that's not a bad job. Whereas this season, okay, they've got Sean Dyche in basically to stave off a relegation fight. Yeah. Right? I thought that if Amram was going to continue the way he was going, they might sack him in November. And maybe, you never know how another person's mind works, but I thought Silva might even be offered that job. Do you know what I mean? Should it come out? Whereas you now look around the league and you kind of go, actually, where are the plum jobs and where do we think they're going to appear? I don't think there's that many at the moment.
No.
So maybe he will sign the contract. There could be a bit of small print in there, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Whereas I was fairly confident that he was going to leave next summer, which wouldn't be my wish. Today, after that press conference and looking around, I think maybe I'm just closer to the centre, closer to sitting back on the fence on that one. But he's done a great job, whatever happens.
Oh, there's no doubt. And people shouldn't downplay the importance of Premier League football year after year, because we see big clubs fall down the football pyramid and not come back up. So, he's done a good job there. Cody Gakpo inside the box for Liverpool. McAllister! Oh, what a good save by the goalkeeper. Gakpo did well down the left-hand side. Comes in, there was a clearance from a Forest player, it didn't go far. It fell to McAllister, and it was well saved, I think, by the goalkeeper. Liverpool started really, really well in the game at home to Nottingham Forest. All 5 games in the Premier League are goalless. First goal in the Championship, Birmingham taking the lead against Norwich. Birmingham in really, really good form. They won the last 2 home games against Portsmouth and Millwall, and they're taking the lead at home to Norwich. But Lee, that was a good chance there for McAllister. Yeah,
it was really good. Gakpo did really well. They've looked bright. Liverpool. Forest haven't really got going yet. Gakpo obviously had a good international break, didn't he? Scored and assisted against Lithuania as Liverpool corner come back in again. Yeah, we need a goal, don't we, somewhere? Brighton on the attack against Brentford. That's been quite an open game. Decent effort, decent save as well in the Brighton match. But yeah, goalless. I've been trying to keep an eye on some of the other games, but nothing much happening in Bournemouth, West Ham, Fulham, Sunderland yet, or Wolves, Crystal Palace.
Yeah, so no goals there in the Premier League yet. Again, just 1 goal in the Championship. Birmingham lead Norwich by a goal to 0. Lee, are there any prices you want to bring us up to date with?
I'm looking at the Liverpool game and just thinking that it feels like a goal is imminent. They've come out, like I say, out of the blocks pretty quickly, Liverpool. They're 4-9 to win the game, which is no surprise. Isak to score the first goal is 4-1. What they've done well so far is get down the sides and get balls in, and that's going to give him an opportunity, obviously, eventually. But
started really well here, really, really brightly on the front foot. Forest really struggling to get out here.
They're struggling to score goals. I mean, he hasn't seen an away goal yet, Sean Dyche, in charge of them. I just don't know where. They've obviously got players who are capable, but it's more, you're thinking more like set piece for Forest, and at the minute they're just having to defend.
One thing we didn't do, Lee, which we often do, and I know you like it, Mark, because you didn't put together a little talkSPORT goals hacker.
Bet builder.
A bet builder. Yeah, sorry, not that. Is that what you meant? Bet builder.
10 minutes in?
We can do it in play.
Are we too late?
No, we can do it in play.
All right.
Which game?
Do you want to pick a game then, Marcus?
A game or a goal scorer?
You can pick the game. We'll do it we'll do a bet builder on the game.
I'm betting Fulham to win. I've got it.
Oof.
Oh, you're doing an acca, not a bet builder.
Oh, sorry.
Normally pick one game and do a bet builder.
Okay.
We can do an acca if you like.
Whichever. I'm happy to be led by
Lee. Come on,
Lee, you're the man. You're the man.
This was very indecisive.
I'm not sure I want to be any part of Fulham winning. That's my problem.
Okay, fine. Let's take that away. Scrap that from the record.
No, we'll go with it. Fulham. We can do an acca.
So let's do an acca.
Which one? What are we doing? Goals or teams to win?
Teams to win.
All right. I'll have Fulham to win. They've got to win today.
Okay, I'll put it together as we're chatting away here.
All right, go on, Abs.
I stress it's 0-0, by the way.
I will do Brentford. I'll do Brentford to win.
Brentford to win at Brighton?
Yeah.
I'm not sure
I
about
actually think that might be a draw. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the draw's a really, really good
I think
shout.
that's a draw.
I'm going to go down to the Championship because I like a couple of teams in the Championship. I like Ipswich home. Is that fun?
I like that.
I like
mixing it up.
I like Ipswich home to Wrexham, Borough Oxford, and Ipswich home to Wrexham. And we have our first goal. And Lee, you called it. You mentioned Callum Wilson, didn't you? And Callum Wilson has just given West Ham the lead away at Bournemouth. They go into this game on the back of 2 victories, and Callum Wilson, who spent many, many years at Bournemouth, has just given West Ham the lead. It's Bournemouth 0, West Ham 1. There's a VAR check in the game at Wolves. Tell us about that shortly, Lee. But it's a long ball forward. Callum Wilson takes it down on his chest and then gets away a first-time shot. And Petrovic dives down to his right-hand side. The first touch from Wilson's really impressive. Then the shot, it's not hit too crisply. And I think Marcus Speller, the goalkeeper, getting down to his right-hand side, he makes a meal out of that.
He does.
Save that.
Yeah, he's poor keeper, and he knows it as well, the way his head just sort of slumps onto the floor.
He's almost backtracking, isn't he, as he takes it down. And the shot, I think, comes in quicker than he thinks.
Well, it does.
And he can't sort of
It's a great strike. It's great forward play in sort of the general, if you like, from Wilson, because he chested it down lovely, and he's got to hit that. It's the rain is coming down all over the country. and it's slippery surface, etc., etc. It is, isn't it?
I think you're
weatherman.
You're weatherman as well as a pundit on
Can you give us a forecast?
Honestly, what's it going to be like on Monday?
Yeah.
Marcus? I need to be out early on Monday.
The rain is falling. The umbrellas are being erected as we speak. No, I think that Wilson did well. Come on, Abby. Like two of you, man. Wilson hit the ball well. The keeper's positioning was poor. He should have done better.
You haven't been here for 6 months, Marcus. What on earth? By the way, you've just been given a yellow card by producer Lewis for using the E word on. We're joking with you.
Oh dear. But look, the keeper should have done better. That's the takeaway.
That's his 8th goal in that fixture, Callum Wilson.
Is that right?
It's really interesting what West Ham did, because the team who he scored most goals against is West Ham, 12. So they just bought him. Let's just solve that problem.
Yep.
And so in this fixture, he scored 7 goals against West Ham for Bournemouth, and now he's scored an 8th for West Ham against Bournemouth. So
he loves
it was just over 2-1, wasn't it? We got three fixtures in. We went Fulham to win, draw Brighton, Brentford.
Yeah, I like that.
Ipswich to win.
I like that.
Home to Wrexham.
You got to pick one, Lee. Finish us off.
I got Liverpool 2-5. I'll take the easy one.
All right, go on.
So that is
6-7-1.
12-1.
Oh, okay, well, I like that.
What was that one?
12-1.
Do you know what?
I
think, yeah, that's nice. That I think Liverpool is the obvious one. I also think Palace beating Wolves.
Yeah,
I really don't think that's a clear cut. I really don't.
No, I like.
You got a bit of faith in Robbie Edwards?
There was a penalty shout there just a couple of minutes ago. It was judged to be just outside the area. It's close though.
I've got my own acca. I've done Palace to win at Wolves, City to win at Newcastle, and Villa to win at Leeds, which is around 10-1, which I think is pretty a pretty nice acca. So let's hope the talkSPORT goals acca can come in then. Marcus, do you give Rob Edwards any hope, any chance of I was going to say staying up, but maybe just winning a game at Wolves could be a good place to start?
It would be a good place to start. I mean, they've been under the cosh already in these opening 15 minutes.
Chance for Sunderland! Oh, Leno makes a really good save. There was a 1-on-1 opportunity there. Ball carried into the box, and Leno did really, really well to come out quickly, got himself down to the player's feet and made a good save.
He did, yeah. My heart ruled my head, I think, when I went Fulham to win. Anyway, that's what I've gone with. Rob Edwards, much has been made about how he was doing well for Middlesbrough. It was the only job, really, within reason, that was going to take him away from Middlesbrough, and he's gone there. We know he's got history with the club, and it's well documented. I think I'd be surprised if there were that many Wolves fans who were particularly excited by that appointment. I don't mean that in any disrespectful way to Rob Edwards, but they are in a real state at the moment. They need points badly. Yes, it's still a long way to go in the season, but really, when you're down there, you need a manager who you know is a firefighter. You know, who's got real pedigree in the Premier League or another top flight. Italy or Spain or something like that. Even that's not a given. So for Rob Edwards to come in, his only real time in the Premier League was a relegation, of course, with Luton, limited squad with a smaller budget. I understand that. I look at that and I wish him all the best, but it's really, can he change the mood around the place? Can he get them as a more cohesive unit? Because they've got some decent players. I know they've sold their best players, and that's obviously the problem. But they've got a centre-forward who can score goals. They've got a bit of creativity there. I'm saying this as Jean-Philippe Mateta marches through on goal, although he did look, and he's put it wide. I did think he might have been offside when he went through, but it's still a chance.
So I had my hands in the air because Milos Kerkez missed a really good chance. Liverpool started the game off really well at Anfield, playing some really nice football. Mo Salah does well, quick feet, managed to get some room with his right foot, puts the ball back across the face of goal. It falls to Kerkez, who comes infield, and on his right foot, his shot goes way over. Liverpool 0, Forest 0. And yeah, Jean-Philippe Mateta there played 1-on-1 with Sam Johnson. It's a really nice flick that from Pino in midfield to get him through on goal, and he just pulls that ball wide. Wolves 0, Palace 0.
Yeah, so in summary, I would still fear for Wolves.
I definitely think that Wolves are still under it, but I just feel like I mean, who knows if there is going to be this manager bounce, but I feel like Rob Edwards did such a good job at Luton. Like, yes, they didn't have enough quality, but they still put up a lot of fight in so many games. They were still in it. Like,
and he took them up in the first place.
Exactly.
As well, no, that's not an easy job.
Yeah, like I know it didn't work out after, but I do think that like he instilled such a fighting spirit in that Luton side. I remember they were minutes away from beating Chelsea. Did they beat Arsenal as well? Last minute, Declan Rice. We struggled. Actually, we played them early on and we beat them like 1-0. I remember, like, they had so much fight and determination. Like,
I think in the first half of that season, you're right. They played really well in games.
Yeah.
You found different ways every game to end up losing games. They probably should have got something from.
100%.
Is there any part of you that maybe thinks the Wolves owners in the back of their mind are also thinking, whoever we bring in, even if it's Pep Guardiola, we might get relegated anyway. So let's make sure we bring in a manager
that can bring
who's
us
got a good
back.
record.
Yeah.
He's a really good
teams out of the Championship.
He's one of those.
Done well with Luton,
really
obviously,
good
got them up.
Championship
And
manager.
started well with Borough.
I think that's probably it.
They're down. I think they're down.
yeah.
It's a horrible thing to say,
Well,
but
no, but you're right. But
I disagree, really.
What you're
isn't it?
saying about Luton is, I get it, and you're saying, oh, but they did well in that game and in that game, but they ultimately went down, and I don't think you could really use that as an enormous stick to beat him with for the reasons that you've just given. But the fact is, his only time in the Premier League was that. Decent in the Championships, no doubt about that, even though he was sacked at Luton. But Wolves are not Luton Town. They are not the kind of plucky underdogs that are coming up and it's a bit of a fairy tale story and they're going to have that fighting spirit. They have shown that they are quite disjointed and they need to kind of unify that team and score to make them a better unit because they leak goals and they're not getting the best out of some of the attacking talent that they have, albeit
Limited.
Yeah, limited, but there's still a bit there. I think there's a few players in that Wolves side that other teams down there or even one or two of the promoted sides think, we wouldn't mind him.
Andre and Gomez, two boys.
Exactly, yeah. Andre,
and
They found Arsenal last season.
Yeah, exactly. But he still got it. He scored on the.
I mean, it's slim pickings, I think, in terms of the quality there. But I think it's about being a unit and being a team. You can look at Sunderland. Everyone would have said Sunderland definitely favourites to go straight back down. I'm not saying they're going to maintain where they are in the league, but they are working as a team. They are one big unit all together, and they believe in the same. What is it that saying? They all believe in the same hymn sheet, singing off the same hymn sheet.
Singing off the same hymn sheet. Goodness
we
me.
dream the same dreams. We want the same thing.
No, but singing off the same hymn sheet is
only Lee got that
that's
reference.
the one. God, you try and lower the age of your jokes.
Sorry.
Less dad jokes, more young jokes.
I'm just trying to gauge if Abby will get that one.
I didn't. I'm not that old. Cheeky you. I'm not that old. I need to have my Botox redone, clearly.
I jest, of course.
Oh!
A chance.
Yes, this is in the slim picking because we've been pretty woeful for most of the season, but this is the best 20 minutes I've seen us play all season. I think we're playing quick football, creating chances on the front foot. That's fair.
Yeah,
fine.
That was your best performance by country.
Okay. Mo Salah's put another really good dangerous ball across the face of goal. Nobody got on the end of it. Still Liverpool 0, Forest 0, but Liverpool really, really putting the pressure on Nottingham Forest.
How are Forest looking?
They spend most of the game in their own half with 11 men behind the ball.
How would you think a Sean Dyche team would set up at Anfield?
Yeah.
It's that.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
It's called a low block, I think. The kids are calling it.
Forest have just had such a bizarre season. Like, it's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
They've had 3 managers and it's not even December yet. Like, just such a topsy-turvy time for them. I'm quite gutted for them as fans because I feel like they just did so well last year. And Nuno just deserves so. I know, and he just deserved more.
I was really gutted that after the great work that Nuno did last season, he wasn't given the opportunity to take them into the Europa League. I agree with that sentiment.
Part of me thinks he actually didn't even want that opportunity. The way that he was talking after, not that he didn't want the opportunity to play in the Europa League.
Towards the end, I think when Edu came in, he obviously didn't get the players he wanted.
But clearly, the structure of the club changed, and Nuno
completely changed. Yeah,
he knows the owner. He's no fool. He's been in the Premier League long enough, and he was just like, well, if it's going to be like this, I'm not in. And it is a great shame.
That whole Ange period was just.
Well, that was so bizarre. Your man Ange getting the call.
No, he's not mine.
And, he was at one point, but it was. And Harry Wilson just flashes one wide for Fulham.
It's good in the week.
Have you noticed that all 3 before the start of play today, all 3 clubs in the bottom 3 Nuno managed?
Wolves, West Ham and Forest, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Although, to be fair, we should say as well, I think that this win would take West Ham out of the bottom. I'll tell you what, West Ham winning at the moment, go above Burnley, Leeds, Fulham and Newcastle. West Ham are 14th in the table. All of a sudden, top half finishes on,
3 wins just for you, isn't it?
Yeah, literally, yeah. It's so tight, so congested, isn't it?
I think going back to the Wolves thing, the problem they've got is that the other teams have started all right, and I'm a big believer in whatever you're averaging after 10 games, you're probably going to average at the end of the season, and most teams are on 9, 10, 11 points, averaging a point a game, and they've got 2 points from 11. You can't make that up. Yeah. I don't think.
Well, do you know what, Lee? So Fulham, their last victory in the league was at home to Wolves. I couldn't wait for that fixture. Yeah, if I'm honest. Yeah. And even then, they went down to 10 men. Yeah, Fulham weren't great. No, but it was just like, we needed that 3 points.
Their heads dropped so much. That's where he can make a difference. Yeah. That he's if you listen to what Middlesbrough players said about him. It was the kind of togetherness that he brought and all that.
Goal.
Obviously,
Offside.
Obviously,
No, you didn't say. He went miles ahead there, Thiago. He did put the ball in the back of the net for Brentford, but yeah, he was about 3 or 4 yards offside.
It's good to see him getting in. Thiago is like,
he's one of your favourite players, isn't he?
Well, I think if you're looking at him, backing him away from home against teams this season, he's going to score probably mid-teens in the end goals. You're going to, more often than not, I think you'll find because he'll be a bigger price away from home, and he's great. He's great.
Fulham are in here. Is that Josh King taking it forward? Get a shot away. Good save by the goalkeeper. Roofs does really well to get down low to his right-hand side and push that ball away. But Harry Wilson with the chance for Fulham, and then that was King, Marcus. And Fulham are having a decent spell here.
Well, they are. They've started well, and they've needed to start well. I mean, again, you can't be. It was Kevin actually who went through, the young Brazilian, and he. Yeah, I mean, as I say, Fulham, especially last season, would take the home games to their opponents. They would, and I think sometimes, certainly in the earlier stages of the season, you kind of teams figure teams out as they go. Fulham would often do that, and it would take some of the bigger teams by surprise. They've got the potential to do that. But they've got to. I mean, their away form is absolutely stinking at the moment, so they have to make the home form count. On paper, they're a better side than Sunderland. But in reality, right now, Sunderland are playing the better football. Sunderland have been one of the talking points of the season, but they've got to really go right. Hang on a minute here. We're a Premier League side. We're at home. We've got to make it count. So an encouraging start. But still a long way to go.
We are already halfway through our for the first half of our 3 o'clock game. Just the one goal in the Premier League. Callum Wilson back at Bournemouth and in the goals, but for West Ham leading Bournemouth by 1-0. All the other 4 games are goalless. Liverpool, though, starting really well against Nottingham Forest, and Palace are all over Wolves as well, as you probably expect. But Wolves do have a free kick in a dangerous position. Brighton 0, Brentford 0, and the 5:30 game is Newcastle Palace. Been some goals in the Championship. Birmingham 2-0 up now at home to Norwich. Leicester City leading Stoke at home by 1-0. Leicester go into this game 6 points behind Stoke in the Championship table. Stoke City third in the table, and the other goal in the Championship. Portsmouth in a really, really wretched run of form, 20th in the table, just outside the relegation zone, leading Millwall, who start the day in the final playoff place by 1-0. And Hull City having a really good season. They're 5th in the table. They're 1-0 up away at QPR. There is a corner kick for Liverpool, which is going to be worked to the edge of the box to Curtis Jones, who has a shot with his left foot, and it ended up going just over the bar. Abby, no surprise you did see Andy Robertson on the bench today after his... there was no way that Andy Robertson was going to be in any sort of state to play 90 minutes today. No. I'm sure he's had a good couple of days, hasn't he?
Yeah. Do you know what? As international breaks go, that was actually quite... a fun one.
It's a great one.
It was. Great stories that came out of it. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, had a good time of it. And Republic of Ireland as well. I mean, that Troy Parrott, I mean, it's like...
Oh, sorry, Lee. There was a free kick from João Gomez. And it was weirdly saved by Henderson. Not sure if it took a wicked deflection, but he made a mill of this save. And then it came straight back to a Wolves player. And from close range, he hits the ball. Yeah, it does take a deflection. In fact, in the end, with the deflection, he does well to keep it out. And he then fell to a Wolves player from a couple of yards out, and he makes an absolute mill of the shot, going over from close range. But that was half a chance for Wolves.
Chance for Fulham as well.
Yeah, they've got to make it count. That was better. By the way, saying in the international break, did you see that the Scotland fans, there was a little tremor on the old
yes.
What do you call it?
Like Richter scale.
Richter scale, yeah, exactly. There was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what is classified as like a very, very sort of, I don't know, sort of minor earthquake, but there was so much jumping around when that goal went in that area. Like one, but it was nothing that nobody would see, but it just showed you that
how much
they basically shook the earth.
It was a ridiculous game as well, because actually, like, they didn't play brilliantly, even when they were down to 10 men.
Yeah.
But the goals were insane, weren't they? The overhead.
Yeah. Kicked in.
Everything, the goals,
halfway line,
the scenes, the celebrations. Bournemouth should be on level terms. That's Brooks from close range who goes wide. A ball came into the box, and Brooks' first-time effort just goes wide. Yeah, the limbs, everything about it was.
And when do Wales win 7-1? It's like...
well, when you got Harry Wilson in your team, it's possible, isn't it?
Brennan
Back post Brennan, Wilson pulling the strings. Yeah. I mean, it's possible, isn't it, here? So just one goal then in our 3 o'clock games. No other goals yet. Marcus, what's catching your eye?
Well, as I say, talked about Fulham's start, but Wolves coming back into the game a little bit. I know their free kick, which sort of Dean Henderson's save. But I tell you what, Strand Larsen's through. Oh,
I think it probably was.
That was.
He kind of climbed on him, didn't he, a little bit?
It's one of those ones where the referee. So what happened was the ball was played over, and he sort of given the defender a bit of a nudge. And a penalty at Brighton.
He's given a penalty, yeah.
Penalty at Brighton.
Yeah, Belaber's given away a penalty.
He looks guilty, doesn't he? As he's pleading his innocence.
Quite possibly.
You can't give a penalty, can you, based on a player's face?
Yeah.
But he's brought down Dangaratara in the box on the right-hand side, and the referee's pointed straight to the penalty spot. So happy Summers. You got Brentford, didn't you, in the talkSPORT goals this afternoon? Possibly a penalty for Brentford.
Yeah, I fancied this game as a draw. Like, part of me was thinking, do I go with Brentford? Like, Brighton are just a bit of a mixed bag, usually away from home, and then I was like, no, actually, this is at Brighton. Let's go on more on the side of caution.
Great
but
ball.
Yeah.
Lovely.
He got a lovely flick set through Utara, and for some bizarre reason, Belaber decides to throw himself to the floor.
I mean,
Utara gets there ahead of him. There might not be loads of contact, but when you go to ground like that, and Utara gets the ball first before Belaber, he's always going to go down. It's always going to be a penalty. It won't be overturned. The flick though from the centre forward was brilliant.
Yeah.
But when that ball runs into the box, why is Belaber going to ground? As soon as he goes to ground, you're asking for trouble.
Silly.
I think it's really, really silly.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if this was overturned, or if it even
They're not overturning that.
looked at. No, and here we go. We got a penalty. But yeah, I like as soon as he dives in like that, the forward's just thinking, "Thanks very much."
Yeah.
Any touch is going to be a penalty, and it's going to be Lee, your favourite player, Igor Thiago, who's got the ball on the penalty spot, and I'm sure the referee is going to take as long as he can get here to get this penalty, because obviously they like to do nothing quickly.
Have you thought about like writing a letter to like PGMOL?
No, do you know what I should do?
He loves it, doesn't he?
No, I should do.
Very upset. He's very upset.
Stay on the line, goalkeeper. He knows the rules. Anyway, Igor Thiago has scored 4 of his last 5 penalties, 28 minutes gone against Verbruggen, and he sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Goalkeeper goes to his left, and Igor Thiago sends in the wrong way. And Brentford are leading a Brighton team.
Love that.
They are. Well, how have you backed them? And I thought it was a bit surprising. Well, you've gone for a draw, though.
I've gone for a draw.
Let me get it right. You've gone for a draw.
I have gone for
you're in draw. Oh, sorry.
At first I went.
Wanted Brentford, didn't you?
I did want Brentford, and then I thought actually the smarter option here is to go with draw, because this is probably a very drawy type of game.
But Brighton have made all the early running.
Yeah.
Brighton-Brentford at Brighton feels like the most draw fixture of the whole Premier League season.
1-1, 2-2. It's just
either that or Bournemouth-Brighton. It just feels very drawy.
Yeah.
Apart from every Leeds home game, which I always just go draw.
Draw.
Yeah. I mean, look, but Brighton have done the early running, so that's a goal against the run of play.
Yeah.
Middlesbrough goal down, by the way. Oxford. That's Adi Vavish, the interim manager, who's obviously Rob Edwards gone, and there's a lot. Obviously, the Middlesbrough fans not too happy about it, and obviously Coventry extend their lead at the top, and Middlesbrough now they're 9-1. Well, they were before played to win the title.
It's a long time, isn't it, to wait for to a point? And I know it was obviously
he was there, wasn't he? He was there, like in the back room, but no one knows who this guy is really. He played football here, and I think he was a lower, very lower league manager, and he went into Rob Edwards' backroom staff, and then he's just been given the interim job.
Liverpool continuing to put the pressure on Nottingham Forest. Dominic Szoboszlai just had a shot with his left foot, which took a wicked deflection off Murillo, sent the goalkeeper the wrong way, looped in the air. Thought it might have dipped into the back of the net, but instead just went over. Liverpool have got another corner kick now, and once again it's going to be an in-swinging corner. Lots and lots of players, as is often the way now, pretty much going to make that run from the back post in towards the goalkeeper. Going to be an in-swinging corner, and it's going to be headed away at the near post. So 30 minutes gone. Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 0. Brentford lead at Brighton thanks to that Igor Thiago penalty. Bournemouth 0, West Ham 1. Fulham 0, Sunderland 0. And it's still goalless as well at Molineux between Wolves and Crystal Palace. Sardo's got the ball. Comes in field. Can he get a shot away? Takes a deflection. Just goes wide. It's going to be a Crystal Palace corner. Salah on the right-hand side dinks the ball into the box, but Murillo does well to head clear, and Nottingham Forest are going to clear. You said, Marcus, how was Nottingham Forest, a Sean Dyche team, going to set up Anfield? And you're absolutely right. He's going to park the bus. But when you look at how teams have had success against Liverpool this season, it hasn't been difficult for teams to show a little bit of intent, try and play through Liverpool and do it with ease at times, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I don't really see that from Forest today. Now, this is off the back of an international break where it does give teams a chance to reset. And Liverpool would be very much one of them, thinking, right, lads, come on, we've not been doing much of late. We need to be back at the races here. So this is always going to happen. I just feel though that with Sean Dyche, this is probably the best squad of players he's ever had.
No doubt about that.
And so we're all agreed there. Therefore, now he's got a bit of attacking talent does not necessarily mean he knows how to use it that well. And I mean that with all the respect in the world, because what he did at Burnley was very good.
Oh, Forest lead at Anfield.
And as we're just
absolutely remarkable. You know what?
Really?
That is, I promise you, that is the first time Nottingham Forest have been in Liverpool's half. They win a corner from a counter-attack. The corner gets whipped in by Elliot Anderson, headed on by someone at the near post. It falls to Murillo, and he smashes the ball into the back of the net. Sean Dyche, the tactical genius, Marcus.
Well, it would appear so. I mean, I'm sure what I was winding up to say was, does he know, how are they going to sort of score, or what are they going to do? And there's Dyche on the touchline, laughing at people like me who doubt him. I mean, what he's done with previous teams, it's all based on defence.
Was he in offside position, that player there in front of Alisson, Martin Lee?
No.
Number 14 there in front of Alisson. Do you want to give that as offside as well, Lee?
I don't think 14 was offside, but if you're talking about number 10, he was well out of his eye.
By the way, can I just say what that is also?
If 14's offside, then he is.
I think
it should be.
From Murillo, by the way, it is a flick on at the near post. His first touch is remarkable.
Lovely.
And then his finish with his left foot into the far corner. He takes that goal like a centre forward.
I don't think Ndoye would.
I think he's onside. He's actually in Alisson's eye line, but I think they'll check it. I think he was actually legitimately in his eye line.
Goal given.
But I think he was onside. Yeah,
Sam, we need to have a real conversation.
About what?
About Liverpool.
Have we not done that?
No, but I feel like...
What more is there for me to say that I haven't said in the line? No, I mean, from what we had last weekend against Man City, when I think I broke down everything that's been awful about us this season, from recruitment to Scott's tactics and players being out of form, I tell you what, I think his left foot might be offside there, by the way. But anyway, I have nothing else to add, Abby.
Okay, but what will Liverpool do? Like, because it can't go on like that.
It can.
I mean,
are you not?
I mean, if
it
you're
literally
quoting Mick McCarthy with regard to Liverpool, that is quite.
No, but I'm actually not. I'm not even trying to banter you here. Like,
why don't you ask Marcus? Because we haven't asked his opinion.
Okay, what? Okay, can it go on?
I'm sick of talking about it.
I'm not surprised. We're going to keep doing it because you keep losing.
The problem is, Abby, that when you say can it go on like this, I mean, we're all waiting for something to happen and for something to click. But I think that, as you were saying earlier, the miss of Trent Alexander-Arnold is perhaps...
Oh, Callum Wilson, sorry to cut you off. Callum Wilson's done it again. Bournemouth 0, Nottingham Forest 2, Bournemouth 0, West Ham 2. Sorry, the West Ham manager now. And West Ham back-to-back win for the international break are now 2 up against a Bournemouth team that started the season off really, really well. But Bournemouth went into this game on back-to-back defeats, just 1 win and 4. And Callum Wilson... Oh my goodness!
Oh my word!
That's
sensational.
I want to have a proper look at this. But Callum Wilson, we talked about his on the chest.
Sorry, guys.
That's a contender for goal of the month straight there from Callum Wilson.
Talk us through what's happened.
He chests it. Callum Wilson. So the ball goes in. It's at an angle. He chests it down and spins and hooks it in with his left peg in at the top corner. He's what? Is he about 10 yards from goal? So he's fairly close. But the way he chests it, spins and volleys it into the top corner.
Nottingham Forest had the ball in the back of the net at Anfield for a second goal. Now, I believe it was given as a handball. The ball came into the box. Igor Jesus takes the ball down, and I think they gave it originally as a handball. He puts the ball in the back of the net. We're going to need a better replay than that.
I don't think that is.
It comes off his chest. Oh, my God.
Are you 2-0 down, Sam?
As things stand right now, checking disallowed goal handball.
I think it's going to be...
That comes off his chest, Marcus?
It does look like it.
Oh, my word.
We're going to need a replay where they zoom in closer there to his chest.
Ideally, yeah, because we can...
I mean, by the way, we should just say for anybody...
Callum Wilson
I just want to say that Callum Wilson's goal, that is a contender for goal of the month.
Sensational.
The way it's beautiful strikers play. The way chests and spins and volleys. But the volley itself is wonderfully done. I mean, he sort of caressed it. It's wonderful play from Wilson, and that'll do him the world of good. And West Ham as well, because how often do they struggle to get a proper number 9?
Massively. I mean, also it's kind of odd. Like Callum. Oh, they've not given that.
I tell you what.
I think you've got away with one there.
Nottingham Forest had the ball in the back of the net again, but it's disallowed by the referee. For a handball, I would love to see. The replay we saw was from behind the goal, And I think, Mark, as you said, your initial reaction, it was Igor Jesus. Your initial reaction was there wasn't much arm or hand on that.
No.
So
my initial reaction, to be honest with you, was almost the same.
well, that's kind of what's been said on.
I think we need to see a better replay of that, because
Lots of people
I'll
saying
take it, but I thought it was more chest.
Lots of people are saying that not sure why that has been disallowed. It's not a handball. Also, Mike Dean also said after the first goal. He said Arne Slot was having a pop at the fourth official, saying that 2 weeks ago that goal would have been disallowed.
I actually genuinely thought his left foot was in an offside position. And I think you agreed with me.
From the angle we had, it looked like it.
And there was no doubt that he was definitely standing in the referee's way. So yeah, let's try and look out for another replay there, because I think possibly we've got away with one there, because it looked more chest than anything to me.
I think that
that's not how football works. So it is all going off. This is what we love on talkSPORT Goals, don't we? We love goals going in. We love dramas that happens. There's a booking for the Nottingham Forest assistant manager who is not happy.
They're absolutely incensed about that, because from what everyone is saying, obviously we need to see another replay for us.
The replay we saw from behind the goal,
apparently it's just
there was no zoom in.
But from what it looks like, it is absolutely not a handball. So we talk about have they evened it out.
That's not how football actually works.
No,
it will just be another bad decision that they've made. It'll be simple as that. Some weeks ago is with you. I made my feelings perfectly clear a couple of weeks ago. I thought we were unlucky with that goal, and I think that one from the first replay I saw.
I mean, it didn't look. It didn't look wrong, but I would like to see it again before I really sort of go in. But look, the fact of the matter is,
Mike Dean, I can't see a handball that should stand.
I've just seen an image where maybe, I don't know if it comes off a little bit of his left arm as he takes it down, possibly. I mean, I'll take it. How could
you possibly disagree with Mike Dean?
Yeah, no, he is the oracle, isn't he, of all football opinions. If Mike Dean says it, then it's absolutely true.
Sorry, go on.
No, honestly, I feel like I've done Callum Wilson a disservice.
Well,
I was fixated on a goal at Anfield that didn't happen. I haven't even seen the Callum Wilson goal.
Callum Wilson will never have a more fruitful game, probably. Like, he's actually... He can.
He could score a hat-trick, couldn't he?
He could. He's on
Wilson,
for it.
I mean, look, the first goal, as I say, I think from Wilson's point of view, chests it down nicely and gets the shot in. Gets the shot in early on a slippery service, and he's asked to question the goalkeeper, which the keeper is just as fluffed. That second goal was a thing of beauty. The way he turns and shoots, and you think to yourself, blimey, if he can find a bit of form here, I mean, that would do West Ham down to the ground. They to have someone else.
Who was the last top class kind of centre forward West Ham had who scored goals week in, week out? You think of players like Fulcrew that have come haven't worked out. Skamaka's come hasn't worked out. Aller's come hasn't worked out.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since most of their goals have come from Jared Bowen.
That's what I was about to say.
Zamora.
For them,
Alton Cole, that sort of.
Jermaine Defoe. We'll literally go back. I can't think of
Andy Carroll with that overhead kick. You know what I mean? But it wasn't prolific.
It was prolific.
No, it's been a long time, and I mean, he's not a forward, but Dimitri Payet. Do you know what I mean?
Carlton Cole.
Yeah, I mean,
Literally.
you go. There you go. So to have another outlet other than just Jared Bowen up there, okay, Paquetá does chip in. Do you know what?
I genuinely think we have to go all the way back to that.
Yeah.
I really do.
But if you remember Callum Wilson, he's got such an eye for goal. You remember Newcastle under
Newcastle
Steve
run.
Bruce?
It was an England squad.
Exactly. But remember Newcastle under Steve Bruce. I'm sorry, Newcastle fans, to remind you of that. But the point I'm illustrating here is under Steve Bruce, they were so turgid and so defensive. Yeah. It was ridiculous. Wilson still scored goals in that team. He would still manage. I remember him scoring.
Well, obviously Antonio, but like.
He's talking about West Ham, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I was talking about West Ham.
So Wilson, he's got that eye for goal. Yes, he's had his injuries, but if West Ham are tapping into a bit of vintage Callum Wilson there, my goodness, that'll, as I say, that'll ease their relegation fears very much. So, I mean, I think getting Nuno in was smart. I know it took a little time, but they're obviously better than what they were, because it couldn't really get much worse. So with Nuno in there, with the squad of players he's got, we know what he's like with what he did with Forest.
Wolves even going back.
Indeed, and look, Chris Wood played his best football of his career under Nuno.
Raul Jimenez scored goals for Nuno.
Exactly, yeah. So oddly, despite being a very defensive manager, he actually can utilise that attacking talent that he's got. Look what he did with Anthony Elanga, Morgan Gibbs-White. Look at those players. West Ham have got some talent going forward. I'll tell you something. There are a lot of teams down there who are near West Ham in the table who would love a player like Paquetá or Wilson, or everyone would love Bowen.
I think teams in the top half would love players like Bowen and Paquetá.
Yeah. Shouldn't limit it to that.
Look at Spurs. I mean, all jokes aside, look at the sort of the attack you're going to field tomorrow at the Emirates Stadium.
Yeah.
You know, they get into your team, wouldn't they? Oh, good save. Sorry, I thought that was looping into the top corner. Szoboszlai whipped in a free kick from the right-hand side with good pace, and it was headed goalwards by McAllister of all people, and Sells makes a good save. There's been some goals in the Championship. QPR have equalised against Hull. QPR won, Hull won. QPR have lost their last 3 Championship home matches, last losing 4 in a row late in 2022. Portsmouth 1, Millwall 0, Middlesbrough second in the table, losing away at Oxford. Leicester still leading at home to Stoke, who start the day third in the table by a goal to nil. Stoke have won their last 2 away league games, looking to win 3 in a row for the first time since all the way back in 2005. Ipswich 0, Wrexham 0. Derby taking the lead at home against Watford. Derby in a really, really good run of form. I think they've won their last 5 games in a row in all competitions. Watford, meanwhile, really struggling, down at 15th in the table. Carlton Morris is the top scorer in the Championship this season with 10 goals. Norwich as well, really struggling, aren't they, this season? Sacking Liam Manning. They pulled a goal back away at Birmingham. Birmingham 2, Norwich 1 since the start of September. Norwich the only side in the Championship without a victory. They were 2 down against Birmingham, but they've just pulled a goal back. I think whatever happens in the game at Anfield, this handball is going to be a big, big talking point, because already on social media, the majority of things I'm seeing from people are saying there was no handball. Where was the handball? It should have been given as a goal.
Yeah,
Liverpool just the problem is,
if anybody cares. Maybe not. Maybe Liverpool losing to Forest is not an interest.
No, it is not.
They're not at it. Like, I mean, the problem, the goal stemmed from the fact that Liverpool had a corner. The ball in was poor. No one really tried to retrieve the ball.
No.
There was no pickup, and all Forest did was just lump it forward and got a corner, and that's where it came from. And you look at, I know we keep going on about Salah, but he is a shadow of the player he was last season. I've not seen him deliver a decent ball into the box yet today. He's not got past the first man once.
I really thought he was going to go in the summer, and I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I wondered if that was kind of, I mean, off the back of the season he had. I know it. It's easy to be wise after.
I was going to say, he put up generational numbers, a generational season,
he did. And
everybody was saying, you have got to give this guy a new contract.
Yes, indeed. And as I say, it's easy to be wise after the event. But the age he was, he looked around. I wondered if he thought, is there a new challenge there? Or maybe there isn't. Okay, to stay at Liverpool is still an amazing thing. It's, again, difficult to know what's going on in another person's mind, especially if you've no way of communicating to them. But I don't know.
If anyone can do it, though, it's you, Mark.
Well, yeah, I'm trying.
Great run from Salah outside.
But then once again, there he made a good run there. But that, I don't think, was the right option to try and score from the near post like that.
But what I was going to say, Sam, though, it really was. You saw with Liverpool after that PSG game last season when they went out of the Champions League. You saw the way he played in the cup final. He was completely anonymous, and Newcastle obviously beat them. And then towards the end of the season, yes, of course, he had moments. But to me, there was a distinct 2 parts of that season for, I'd say, Liverpool generally and Salah as well. Don't want to do him a disservice because, again, phenomenally good season and one of the best players that the top flight in England has ever seen. So let me be quite clear on what I think of him. But this season, I mean, look, I understand that if a player is playing with so many demands on them to kind of quote unquote take a season off or to have a slightly quieter season, can be a little bit more understandable. But as Lee was saying, he's just not at it.
No, I completely agree with that.
And he's shown no signs. And only because of what he's done before do you think, well, we know he's interested. But to me, if that's any other player, you think, have they had their head turned? Are they still focused? Are they?
It's age. It's age.
But I mean,
it
5 months
just be
ago.
that.
It doesn't matter. I remember.
You can't go from that good to that bad.
You actually can.
Because he's 5 months older.
You can. You can.
I don't think you can, Abby.
Well, I'm telling you from my experience watching Son. Yes, they are not the same.
Not in my experience in life.
Yeah. Well, trust me, it can. You can age very quickly. You can age a year and a day. That is actual fact.
Sounds like a terrible day.
It is terrible. It was a terrible day. I've had many of them. You can. But what I would say is, I remember Son. And I think I spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. Son won Golden Boot. Didn't want that pen.
You need to gift that, Abby, on your Instagram for later, please. Okay?
Can I have that, actually? That will come in very handy for the rest of the season. I remember Son got Golden Boot with Salah that season. That was the last season Son was really at it. and then he stayed for another 2 seasons after that. Not everyone was saying you can't drop him, he'll come back into it. It just goes. He went from having that in the May to how he was by October time. He didn't look the same. You lose a little bit of half a yard, you make the wrong pass. You're in the team because of who you are. I'm not saying that Salah is completely finished. I'm not saying that. But it is age.
But
and it does catch up with you.
I think your Son comparison is very good, to be fair. Like, I think that, but do you think there could be just some sort of, I don't know, almost like psychological or deep thing in that a player does something at a certain age and thinks, do you know what? It's not going to get any better than that. And there's maybe just a subconscious slightly dropping off because Son, appreciate obviously Europa League winner now. Although
but it was a right decision for Son to not start that game.
Indeed. And do you think him getting that golden boot, etc., etc. I just wonder if again at the age he was and so on, and with Salah what he did last season, it's kind of like. I don't have it in me to do that again.
I don't think it's that.
Right.
I don't think it's that. I think it's genuinely a physical thing. It's like even we're not even athletes, right? None of us are athletes here. But the energy that you
considered.
have.
No one could have ever mistaken me for an athlete. You're absolutely right.
The energy.
In what sport would you wear a pink sauce sweater? It just wouldn't. Maybe darts or something like that.
This is purple. This is purple.
Golf.
Yeah, sorry, pink.
You could wear that to golf.
That's a good point.
You could wear
probably
that to golf. You could go to the cricket in it.
You can play cricket in it.
Depending on which
You
country.
can't play cricket.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, if it was a vest, if we cut it here.
Are we talking
anyway,
about
we're
what sport Marcus could go to wearing a purple
this
jumper?
Golf is probably the best. The best shout
Golf
to
outfit.
Really? Darts.
I just think that as you get older, it's like with anything. Like you get after the age of 25, you bend down and you start being like, you get a few
25?
blows. After 25,
Blimey.
You start to get up off the bed and you've got a few aches and pains. Like life comes at you fast, especially when you're an athlete. I just honestly think that it is just
She's done 6 months of Pilates. And she thinks she thinks she's the new.
She's 25.
Or are we saying he's got old overnight? It's the boxing thing. Chris Eubank Jr. got old overnight last weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
You do just get old. Life catches up with you guys.
And Trent left. Going back to
No, but you're right. I think the way that the space is not there for him, the tactical shift, etc., etc.
Just Trent was just so important.
Also, could Salah as well? I mean, he was the main man. The whole thing was on him last season, really. Now it's kind of like, Verts is there. We've got a couple more shiny new toys. Isak as well.
What? It's an ego thing.
I think there is a bit of that.
There could be.
Every week, though,
but I think it's not going to be just one thing. It's I think it's a little snippet of all these things, and I think as well, also as well. I'm sorry to
No, but I think you're right, Tim.
Diogo Jota.
Yeah, of course.
And we saw in the first game of the season, like it's not now, just now, we're in bad form, we mentioned this. The first game of the season when we beat Bournemouth, 4-2 Anfield, was very emotional.
Yes, very emotional. Yeah. Doesn't go away in an evening, that.
No. I think you're probably right. I think.
Look at Andy Robertson. What did he say?
He spoke about Jota when away with Scotland in international break. Yeah. So I think
couldn't stop thinking about him.
I think the way to probably sum it up before we take a break is probably lots of things that maybe contributed to this dip in form. We've got some half times then to bring you in the Premier League. West Ham are winning 2-0 away at Bournemouth, looking to go 3 wins in a row. Callum Wilson scoring 2 for Bournemouth, for West Ham even, and the second goal in particular, a really, really nice finish. Brentford 1-up away at Brighton, having a really, really good season under Keith Andrews. It was a penalty scored by Igor Thiago. The only game that's goalless in the Premier League is Fulham 0, Sunderland 0, as is in fact Wolves versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, though, dominating the majority of that game. And the other half time in the Premier League is at Anfield. A really entertaining game of football. Liverpool for half an hour, really impressive. Didn't break Forest down. Forest score from a set piece. A couple of other goals going in the Championship. Leicester have doubled their lead at home to Stoke City. They're 2-0 up. And Birmingham have got another 2-goal lead against Norwich. Birmingham 3, Norwich 1. This is talkSPORT Goals with William Hill. It's 18+. BeGamblerAware.org. We'll take a very quick break. And then when we come back, we'll round up everything that's been happening up and down the country in the Premier League and below. Someone opened the Percy Pigs for Marcus Berry. I mean, goodness me, honestly. He had 3 minutes there to open up the Percy Pigs and has absolutely
can I just say,
had an absolute stinker.
I need a proper adult in the room. Lee just went, pass him here.
Yeah.
Pass him here. Look at him. Oh my goodness, he's like Gerard Butler in 300.
I'm going to read some scores out. You can eat some of those. It's talkSPORT goals with William Hill 18+, gambleaware.org. The early game today in the Premier League saw Chelsea move up the second in the table, win at Burnley. West Ham are absolutely flying away at Bournemouth. 2 goals from Callum Wilson on his return to Bournemouth. West Ham have won both of their last 2 Premier League games and looking to win 3 in a row in the competition for the first time since late in 2023. It's Brighton 0, Brentford 1. Both these sides started the afternoon on the same points. Brighton remain unbeaten in their last 9 Premier League games at the Amex Stadium, but are losing by a goal to 0. Fulham 0, Sunderland 0. Fulham are unbeaten in their last 10 Premier League games against newly promoted opposition. It's Liverpool 0. Nottingham Forest 1. Nottingham Forest have lost their last 6 Premier League away games against the reigning champions, but Murillo's goal against Liverpool after half an hour gave them a lead, and it could have been another goal if it wasn't for a decision, a handball. It was Igor Jesus who had the ball in the back of the net. As he controlled it, though, the referee and VAR deemed it to come off the arm or hand. Most people, though, seem to think that was incredibly unfair. Marcus, the next 45 minutes for Liverpool. I mean, when you're trailing Arsenal by 8 points, every game feels like a must-win. But, I mean, this just has to be a victory, doesn't it?
It does, especially with the North London derby tomorrow, which you'd fancy Arsenal to win. But it's a derby, and you know, Spurs have been pretty good on the road. In fact, they joint top of the points tally.
I think so, yeah.
Table with Arsenal, with points on away from home. Yeah. It does. I mean, if Liverpool were to lose this game, or I'd even say not win it, after all the chat of, you know, was it 1 win in 6 and so on and so forth, it really would be such a demoralising result, because you have that international break. You think, right, it's a chance to refresh. It's a chance for Arne Slot to have a good old look at things and think, right, come on, look at the quality we have in this squad. They've not clicked. They've not found their groove. Slot did really well last season. Much was made about him kind of just getting in to the groove, if you like, that Jurgen Klopp left. But I mean, Jurgen Klopp hadn't. I suppose that in his last season he did challenge for the title up until a point, and then they
March time
faded away. But still, they had a pretty good season. What Slot did last season was brilliant. The way he kind of curated that, the way he brought the players together, and so on and so forth. We've talked a little bit about some of the challenges that individual players and indeed the squad has. This season. You know, the death of Diogo Jota is still hanging over that side, but what are they going to do in footballing terms now going forward? They have to do something, because if you spend hundreds of millions of pounds on that amount of attacking talent and it doesn't click, you've got to start wondering. With Wirtz, I know he's had his critics, but you know, it's still his first season in the Premier League.
There's a good player in there.
He's a fantastic player, and there's no doubt about that. You know, people sometimes forget that. Sometimes players do take to bed. I mean, look at Jack Grealish. Was 100 million Man City signed him for? First season, he was pretty much on the bench, just being sort of bedded in gently into Guardiola's way of doing things, and then soon enough he's won a treble. So Wirtz will come good. There's no doubt about that. Isak's the disappointing one, I think, because of what he's done in the Premier League. People say, oh well, he's still not fit, or he's this not that and the other. It's kind of like we're in November now.
December now, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You know, the Christmas lights are already up in a lot of places. So at some point he's got to kind of come good. Salah, we've already spoken about. It's a funny old one, but it's the defensive stability. You know, like there's goals there. Alisson coming back in the side is big, but when something like that happens, when the ball drops on the floor like it did to Murillo, and there's a bit of pinball and he scores, it's kind of like flipping heck, Liverpool.
That was the first time Forest had got in Liverpool's half in that whole game, and they won a corner and scored from it.
And by the sounds of things, a VAR call went Liverpool's way.
Well, I haven't. Yeah, from everything I'm seeing on social media, and our replays in here weren't particularly good. I didn't see much arm or hand. I saw more sort of chest. So I think we possibly got away with that one. Lee, we'll take a break and then we'll get some second half odds with you. Yeah. If that's all good. So again, West Ham 2 up at Bournemouth, Brentford winning at Brighton, Fulham 0, Sunderland 0, Wolves 0, Palace 0, and Forest 1 up at Liverpool. We'll take one more very quick break on talkSPORT goals, and then when we come back, second half games in the Premier League, and in particular at Anfield, it's a massive 45 minutes for Liverpool. Good afternoon, just gone 4 o'clock, Saturday, November the 22nd. Our 3 o'clock games in the Premier League are about to get underway on talkSPORT Gold with William Hill. It is 18 plus, begambleaware.org. We are live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and on your smart TVs until around, 20 past, 25 past 5 this afternoon. Then the boys of O'Hara and Cundy will take over with the phone and show. It's Sam Ellard, Lee Phelps, Marcus Speller and Abby Summers, who is back with us in the studio. She just decided off her own back to have 5 minutes off in that last...
no, it actually was.
In the half-time.
I went to the toilet. Guys, I can't actually tell you how difficult it is to go to the toilet in 3 minutes. It is.
Well, no, fair enough. Anyway,
I got back late, and then I just thought I'll just let you all crack on.
Okay, good stuff.
Apology accepted.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, chill out. Half-time's end of the Premier League. West Ham are 2 up away at Bournemouth.
Sorry, you made yourself a tea?
You had about 8 minutes away. I have made myself a cup of tea. You had about 8 minutes where you just didn't come in.
You made yourself a pina colada. You
could have gone to Cafe Near and got some lattes, which you wanted.
Oh, yeah.
Where are they?
Oh, we're not getting the lattes.
That's where we thought you'd gone.
Yeah.
I thought you'd
gone.
Bournemouth 0, West Ham 2. Callum Wilson scoring 2 goals for Bournemouth. Bournemouth have lost both of their last 2 Premier League games, only after losing 1 of their first 9 this season beforehand. Brentford are leading at Brighton by a goal to 0. Brentford have lost 4 of their 5 away games in the Premier League this season, but so far so good away at Brighton. Fulham 0, Sunderland 0. Nottingham Forest are leading 1-0 away at Anfield, although Liverpool have lost 5 of their last 6 Premier League games. They have won 4 of their 5 at Anfield so far this season and need to turn things around. Rob Edwards' first game as Wolves manager is Wolves 0, Crystal Palace 0. Wolves have failed to win any of their 11 Premier League games this season, and the 5:30 game should be a tasty one this evening. Newcastle versus Crystal Palace. In the Championship, the halftime scores: Birmingham 3, Norwich 1. Derby's really good recent form, continuing, beating Watford by a goal to 0. Ipswich Wrexham. I picked Ipswich, didn't I, in the talkSPORT goals Zaka. That's goalless at half-time. No player has scored more home Championship goals this season than Jaden Philogene. Maybe a goal from him in the second half. Leicester leading Stoke, third place Stoke City, by a goal to 0. Stoke have won just 1 of their last 12 league games against Leicester. Middlesbrough starting the day second. Coventry winning earlier. Borough losing 1-0 away at Oxford. Portsmouth 1, Millwall 0. QPR 1, Hull 1. Lee, what odds should we look out for in the second half of our 3 o'clock games, please, my friend?
Well, if you think Liverpool are going to turn it round and win the game at Anfield, they're 11-8 to do so. Forest are 15-8 to win with a goal advantage, and it's 2-1 the draw. A couple of the others, Bournemouth at West Ham. Scoreline 2-0 at the minute. Bournemouth 7-1 to win the game. It seems unlikely. 19-5 the draw. The draw in the Brighton-Brentford game, which Abby liked, is just over 2-1. And Fulham-Sunderland, the odds aren't that much different to what they were at the start of the game, really. 13-10 Fulham, a bit bigger. The draw a bit shorter, 11-8, and Sunderland 17-5. In terms of our in-play ACCA that we put on, Fulham to win. Obviously, that's 0-0 at the moment. The draw in the Brighton-Brentford game, Brentford leading by a goal to 0. You went Ipswich to beat Wrexham. It's 0-0 in that game. And I went Liverpool to beat Forest. So my pick is the one that's letting us down. And anyone who's in the
absolute stinker, basically,
the beat Robbie final one standing game, Robbie picked Liverpool. So at the minute, if Robbie goes out today, then whoever's left in at the end of the weekend shares that 50k.
Well, that was short.
Still got time.
How much would the split be then for everyone?
We don't know.
We worked it out.
You have to wait to the full result. So Man United.
We did work it out, I think, just based on... I think we based it on like 100,000 people entering it, and it was like 47p.
Oh, really?
But a lot of people have picked Liverpool,
how many people
so they'll go out as
yeah,
well.
Sure.
So you have to be left in. So we won't know until after the Monday night game, Man United.
Yeah. I actually picked United for that.
Interesting.
Did you really?
I did. I fancied United at home.
Yeah, I think so.
United at home to Everton.
Maybe next time you can do one me against everyone, me against all the punters.
Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, if Rob goes out this weekend,
Robbie.
His
name's Robbie.
Sorry, Robbie. He's Rob to me. But if Robbie goes out this weekend, so then do we let him come back in, or he's gone?
That finishes. Start again. They'll start another one.
With Rob or?
Yeah, with our man.
Okay.
We call him R.
With our man.
Really?
I'm joking. I'm just trying to get it shorter than Rob, and I couldn't do it. With Row.
The big R.
Stoke have pulled a goal back away at Leicester. An early goal in the second half for third place. Stoke, Leicester 2, Stoke 1. Liverpool haven't made any changes.
Ooh.
Goal.
Forest.
Oh my goodness.
God.
What a finish that is.
Oh my word.
Finish.
Well,
Savona, the right back. This is now getting borderline crisis mode. I mean, seriously now.
Well,
I've spent 2 weeks telling myself things are going to get better, things are going to improve, and Forest have taken the lead. By the way, you're right to say it's a lovely finish from Savona. Played in down the left-hand side. Ball comes back across goal, and he times his run really well. And his first time finish with his right foot goes into the back of the net. It's Morgan Gibbs. Why is that? I think Nico Williams, he does well down the left-hand side. Finish. And he just pulls the ball into a dangerous area. He does really well, Nico Williams. Yeah. And the right back makes a run in field, and he just slots the ball into the back of the net.
Opens, it's like a side foot finish, but opens his side foot up and just plants it into the top corner, or not quite top corner, but near enough.
Lovely sky.
Do you know what? Yeah. I was saying that. It's a beautiful sky.
Yeah, honestly, under the beautiful sky. Samuel Ellard. We need to have another chat, mate. Every time you lose, every time there's another goal conceded by Liverpool, we're going to have another chat.
Yeah. Might I jump in here, Sam, and say that I was
going to just lie then and say there's been a goal somewhere else.
No, but we actually...
Goal at Fulham,
we actually...
Sorry, why are you giving Marcus the same level of degree? Marcus is Fulham at 1 point above the relegation zone in this season.
All right, with the greatest
Don't patronise Marcus Speller.
I'm not patronising Marcus. No one really cares about Fulham.
£400 million.
But they don't. Like, in the context of things, no one really cares about Fulham. You're probably not going to go down.
They might do.
They won't. They just won't.
Abby, you didn't have to say that.
No, but I said with the greatest of respect. You're deflecting. Hold on. You're deflecting here away from Liverpool. We need to talk about Liverpool.
Okay, what do you want to ask me?
Does genuinely, if this keeps going the way it is, does Arne Slot survive the season?
Yeah, 100%. I think Arne Slot is going to be in charge next season. I think no matter what, 100% happens. I cannot sit here and even despite this season going terribly and Liverpool looking all over the place, I cannot sit here on a show and want call for a manager who won my team the Premier League, the second Premier League we won. To be sacked.
At what you're not a Chelsea fan, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there we go.
But at what point? Yeah. Also, at how low would Liverpool have to finish before there's a world, to quote Kwaku, in what world does that happen? Do you have to drop out of the top 10? Do you have to lose 10 games?
I honestly think, Abby, I honestly think Arne Slot is going to get the whole season. I think no matter what happens. My gut tells me that.
Okay.
Because I just think that this guy came in last season and he won Liverpool. We won the Premier League last season with Arne Slot as manager. And I know everything at the moment. The numbers, the stats, everything, performances are absolutely woeful. But I just can't see a way where, in a few weeks' time we wake up and Arne Slot's been sacked because I'm not sure the club know where to go next. I think they obviously gave him so much money to spend in the summer. I traditionally think, I'm trying to think, obviously, in my lifetime, apart from Roy Hodgson, who didn't last particularly long, Liverpool are not a team, the year after we won the league, Abby, when Jurgen Klopp was manager, we went through another awful run of form. I think we lost 6 home games in a row. I mean, even Fulham rocked up to Anfield and beat us that season. It was absolutely remarkable. I honestly think Arne Slot is creating the bank. He was given lots of money to spend in the summer, and I don't think Arne Slot gets sacked at any point in this season. Maybe if we get to the end of the season, and if you're saying it carries on going as bad as this, we end up finishing mid-table, whatever, then maybe everyone sits down together and has a conversation. But I think while we're in the Champions League, I don't think he gets sacked.
I think it would. Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's there for at least another few months. The only thing that might get him sacked is if Liverpool suddenly look like they're not even going to get Champions League football next season. Okay, because that's so crucial. But that's not until another few months away. Do you know what I mean? Or another couple. Yeah, into the new year, like that you would begin that pattern could start really taking shape. But look, this is, I was saying, at the start of this game, Sean Dyche, he's set up as a Sean Dyche team would at Anfield. And I was thinking they're not going to show much going forward. Well, what Dyche has thought to himself is like a lot of managers now who play against Liverpool, is he's set up and thinks, do you know what? If we just keep it pretty solid at the back, yeah, they might get a sniff here and there and we might have to ride our luck a tiny bit. But actually, we should be okay, and we'll get our opportunities from a set piece.
Be clinical,
exactly, because they're sloppy back. And this is the thing: there's no fear factor playing Liverpool anymore, and also, that is bad.
Look, the physicality as well. It's just
they look soft.
They look really, really soft. Liverpool. What have you thought of Isak's performance today?
He's been ineffective. He's barely had a sniff. He hasn't had a chance.
He's pretty much been invisible.
You'd rather Nick Voltemada up there, wouldn't you?
But based on what I've seen the last couple of months, he's been quiet. He hasn't had much service. He does seem odd. I think weak is a good word. Is a good word to use. I think our midfield 3 last season was so good. Gravenberch playing as a 6. I can't believe this season, even in games we were winning at the beginning of the season, how easy it's been for teams to cut through Liverpool, to play through Liverpool. Like, Gravenberch and McAllister last season were two of the best midfield players in the world. I mean, McAllister this season, like, we talk about Salah's form being poor, and he obviously gets the headlines, but those boys in midfield, Gravenberch and McAllister, their form has taken an absolute nosedive as well. And then I'm like, is it on the players to start finding form? Is it on the manager to start finding, changing the system? Because he's tried a 4-3-3, the same midfield three as last season. When Wirtz was available, he went for a 4-2-3-1, Marcus, with Wirtz in the 10. Szoboszlai right back. It feels like the manager's changed everything. I mean, is this all on the manager to try and find the right system, or do players have to take, or is the right answer a bit of both?
Well, it could be. I think there's a number of things. We spoke about it before the break.
They got another corner Forest, by the way.
I thought you should say it's 3-0 for a minute.
Well, it should be if that one wasn't.
I think that this is, you're bordering on crisis mode here. But I think with regard to the manager, we're not really going to know until we have enough time, whether that's probably into the new year. Because, I mean, Arne Slot, what he did last season, everyone's going, but he won the league. And absolutely right. And he has to take an enormous amount of credit because he's a manager. What Jurgen Klopp had left him was very, very good.
It was a healthy team.
It was a very healthy team, a team in transition, which is why maybe Liverpool didn't go the full distance as in Klopp's last season in terms of Premier League challenge, but they still went along. It went quite a long time in that season, thinking that they might do it. Is Jurgen Slot? Is he going to be a one-season wonder?
Jurgen Slot.
They could actually do with a bit of both.
Maybe that's it. A co-manager situation. That was a strange slip of the tongue. Is Arne Slot, going to be seen in a few years' time as a one-season wonder at Liverpool? We don't know, and this is why we're desperately trying to find out what on earth is going wrong. And you think, is it that? Is it that? It's a myriad of things. In aviation, you call it the Swiss cheese effect. So many little holes.
Alice! Oh, sorry to interrupt. Thought that was fantastic.
What happened, Lee? Tell us.
Ball in for Ismail Sarr and just rolled in to the box and looked like he was just going to bury it. He put it way over in the end, but it was a lovely move from Palace. I've just been watching this game and they've started to come back into it. Ball dummy. I think it was Mateta just let it run past. And he was just running on. Sarr just kind of he blazed it over the bar in the end, but it's a great move.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Lee, what are the odds, for like Arne Slot to not make it to the end of the season?
Well,
just say to be sacked. Just use that word.
At the minute.
Okay, what are the odds for Arne Slot? What are the odds for Arne Slot to be sacked? I actually just said it in a nicer way, just to soften the blow.
Yeah, so we've got the next.
Doesn't make any better, Abby.
The next Premier League manager to leave his job. Basically, he was 16-1 before the start of play today. Daniel Farke was the favourite. Was Marco Silva, Eddie Howe, Scott Parker, then Slot came after that. The thing with the manager situation, and he has been shorter than that.
He's not that far down the list. Look at the company he's in. He's not.
We've spoken about it already today, haven't we? A few of us have mentioned it, and
I tell you what. Sorry, Lee. Mo Salah. You know what? You can slag Slot off for whatever reason you want. Something though that is not Arne Slot's fault. Of football players making basic mistakes game in, game out. Simple individual errors. Give your head a wobble, Abby. Honestly, that is not down to Arne Slot. Mo Salah there literally is playing a simple 2-yard pass to a Nottingham Forest player. That is not on the manager Arne Slot. Some of these players have got to take a long, hard look at themselves in terms of basic, simple, individual mistakes and performances that we're witnessing this season.
I totally agree with you. Also, are you starving? Because that was a giant nibble. That was huge.
And what?
Absolutely huge. Just because we can question Arne Slot as well as the players.
I'm allowed to passionately defend my manager.
Yeah. You can passionately defend your manager.
I know you're booing Thomas Frank already.
I'm not booing Thomas Frank at all.
I'm allowed to back my manager.
I have done nothing but actually back Thomas Frank and say that I think the fans that are calling for that are crazy. Don't deflect this. You have to. The whole thing is a crisis. Arne Slot does need to be questioned.
And I've seen some of his tactics this season.
Earlier on in the season, when you lost 3, I said this is ridiculous. We can't be getting on Arne Slot's back. You have to look at the players. You have to look at the outside factors. But there does come a point, Sam, when you have lost how many is it now that you've lost? 6?
Yeah.
But right, 6 or 7, whatever it is, you do have to start looking at the manager and think last season he inherited a Jurgen Klopp side. We said he didn't have to do much. He hadn't made a few tweaks. Yes, he did, which was brilliant. He had to do a few little tweaks to a team that was already there and already built.
It wasn't a few little tweaks, Abby.
It wasn't.
It was. It changed the whole complete style of football.
But the team was what it was. This is his team. Yes, he spent a lot of money. Yes, there are other outside factors which we are also being very considerate about. But you can't say that it doesn't fall on Arne Slot at all.
No. I never said that, Abby. Abby, I'm sorry. You're just making stuff up now as you go along.
Not at all.
I've made it perfectly
It's actually
clear.
fact.
There are 3 things I thought I was going to score. There are three things that I've mentioned. I think three things that have gone wrong. If we could go back to the summer again, I think we do our business.
We've already spoken about that and all agreed on it.
Okay, good. I've also have said Arne Slot this season has also got to take some of the blame. He is the manager, and I'm worried watching Liverpool, and I'm watching teams cut through Liverpool's midfield way too easily, game in, game out, and I also see some of our patterns of play where there's big spaces in midfield and stuff like that, and that is 100% on the manager to work out how to get the best out of these players. My point that I just made there, I think possibly the biggest problem we've got right now is we've got a bunch of players that were absolutely outstanding last season as we won the Premier League, and I think pretty much all of them, maybe, apart from Dominic Szoboszlai, the goalkeeper, have been absolutely woeful this season. Not good. I'm seeing people like Virgil van Dijk, Ibu Konate make simple, basic mistakes. We spoke about Mo Salah, generational season last year. Not be able to do simple things like control the ball and pass the ball. I'm just saying it's not all on Arne Slot.
Sack him. But I agree with you.
It's a collective effort.
I agree with you.
Lots of things are going wrong, and a big part of that are good football players who are badly out of form.
I totally agree with you on all of that. I'm not disagreeing with anything you've said.
I think unless I sit here and say, sack Arne Slot at 5 o'clock, you're not going to be happy.
Not at all. I'm not saying that. I'm just simply questioning
then what I just said.
No, I agree with everything you've said. It's the same thing that we were talking about an hour ago.
Yeah, my opinion hasn't changed from an hour ago or 2 weeks ago.
Who will the buck stop with in the end?
Oh, the manager, long term, yeah. But I'm saying that I think the manager, even though we're in a complete crisis, use that word, whatever, given the fact that he won the Premier League last season, he's got enough credit in the bank, he was the manager that oversaw all these players coming in. I think for me, simple, he gets to the end of the season. He gets given time. I'm not sitting here calling for a manager to be sacked.
I think the other thing, we've spoken about it today already, is the Diego Jota situation.
100%.
It has to.
Absolutely.
He said before that he said he watched the Andy Robertson interview live.
Yep.
And he said he doesn't know how badly it's affected the team, but they miss the player and they miss the man. It's affecting all. That Andy Robertson interview just showed you that.
Yeah, and that was with Scotland for a Scotland game. It wasn't even with the Liverpool game.
Absolutely.
So, and no one's really. I mean, we're talking about it in the media. We're talking about it, and people.
Oh, Palace take the lead at Wolves.
Oh,
it'd been coming, hadn't it, Lee? They've been pushing. Munoz from close range gives Palace the lead. Wolves 0, Palace 1, Lee.
Now we see what effect the new managers had, because when this has happened before, Wolves' heads have just gone down, and it's been pretty much end of game. We saw it with Fulham, didn't we? So let's see what happens now. Do they come back and fight back, or do Crystal Palace just get another one?
I totally just to circle back to that. I think that we have all said how much that Jota,
but we can't quantify it, can you?
No, of course not. Look, anyone that has ever lost anyone in their life will know that grief is very, very difficult, especially when it is also on this massive scale. It affected the fans. It affected all fans of football, not even just Liverpool. And of course, these are his friends. These are his teammates. It is of course going to have a massive, massive impact and effect. But at the end of the day, Liverpool will have to start picking up results.
Yeah.
I mean, they will have to start picking up results.
The only
it's not actually moving on. It's not about that. But there comes a point where this is the team that's out there every single week, and how do you get the best out of these players that are in that state of grief? How do you do that? That will come back onto the manager, because that's what you are there for, to lift them and direct them in the right way,
and to lift them and to tactically make.
And I'm also not calling for Arne Slot to be sacked, by the way. I'm not. I'm asking you as a Liverpool fan, the same way that you would ask me as a Spurs fan if Spurs had lost 6 on the bounce. Last season.
Chance for Salah. No,
don't be silly. Last season, you sat there and asked me week in, week out about Ange, and I still said there, and I said no, I'll wait till the injury's back. And so I'm asking you.
Are you unhappy with my answer?
No, I'm not. I feel like no, I'm not unhappy with your answer at all. I just feel like
you asked me. I've said he's got to take a level of blame.
Yeah.
I'm also just saying I can't blame every single thing on the manager.
But I agree with you.
At players. I'm also looking at the people above.
I agree with you.
For the summer of recruitment, where half a dozen new players came into the first team, which is a lot for any team, isn't it?
I agree.
I mean, and to add something to this, and it's quite a sort of boring, predictable thing. Time will tell. And I think
that's boring. Yeah.
Well, it is.
That's really boring.
I'm not sort of.
It does make a good headline for us, Marcus, does it? Time will tell.
Yeah, of course. But what I mean with that, though, I was going to elaborate on that, is Arne Slot, as I said, we will find out certainly in the coming months whether or not it's that one season he had, will he be seen as that one season wonder? I mean, lest we forget, Claudio Ranieri won the Premier League with Leicester. Roberto Di Matteo won the Champions League with Chelsea. Okay, now obviously very different men. Ranieri has been a great manager over the years. Roberto Di Matteo, I can't think of what else he did in his managerial career, in terms of success. But the reason why I'm mentioning those two is, in particular, in fact, Ranieri's maybe not irrelevant to what I'm about to say. But look at Di Matteo. Was it Di Matteo's tactical brilliance or whatever that won them the Champions League? He wasn't. He inherited a good group of players who knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And Slot did that. Now, Slot has to take credit for that Premier League win. However, this season, you saw it all the way back in the Community Shield before the Premier League had kicked off. They looked shaky at the back. Jamie Carragher was saying, I'm not convinced by this. As the season began, the first sort of handful of games of the season, Liverpool, what were they scoring on? Late goals. The character of the side was still there. Tactically, not set up brilliantly. There was question marks, but the character of that side got them over the line. They would fight and they would grit and determination, last-minute goals, and their quality would shine through. That's not happening anymore. And so I look at Slot and I think, as Abby's saying, I think the buck does stop with him. He has got an enormous amount to do. This is easily the biggest job of his life. I mean, it's the big job of the vast majority of managers' life, managing Liverpool Football Club, obviously. But coming from, was it Feyenoord? He's certainly from the Eredivisie. It's not a stretch to say that everything was perfectly laid out for him, and it's not. And also, it can be true that he played his part in that. Now it's kind of like, right, put your own. There's a chance there. Now put your own stamp on things, put your own authority. You've got a transfer window, because that first transfer window he had, what was it? Only Chiesa came.
Yeah, and he didn't play.
Chiesa, didn't really play that much. So you saw that he was just keeping
having the right go.
This also doesn't help, does it? When it's lovely for the flip from Szoboszlai, brilliant. Mo Salah from 8 yards out drags the shot way wide. I mean, last season he puts that in the top corner.
He's trying. I mean, to be fair to him, in the last 10 minutes, he's
it's nothing to do with work ethic. It's not that he doesn't want to be there. He's lacking.
But that's where we are now. To be fair, he's trying, is what you just said.
No, but I think someone earlier might question whether his his commitment.
Well,
it wasn't. I think it's a bit too easy to play losers.
He
doesn't care anymore. He doesn't want to be there.
It's not commitment. I think that when a player, we've seen it with footballers before, when they kind of look around and they go, have I stayed slightly too long here? And I'm wondering whether that's a teensy part of this with Salah. Do you know what I mean?
Right. He's in here now again, down the right-hand side, into the box, and Murillo just moves across, Milenkovic, and just shoves him off the ball. I don't think you can ever
question his work ethic.
No, he's been at the club for too long, and he loves the club too much for that to happen.
Back down
Although Forest on the counter-attack, now, goodness me.
Go on.
Is that Elliot Anderson into Alisson's hand? So we've got around 25 minutes to go then in our games up and down the country. Premier League scores, West Ham still 2 up at Bournemouth, Brentford still winning at Brighton, Fulham 0, Sunderland 0. The only game in the Premier League is goalless. Forest 2 up at Liverpool, Palace 0. Palace 1-0 up, at Wolves. There was a long check, by the way, on that Munoz goal for VAR, but it did stand in the end. In the William Hill Scottish Premiership, by the way, it's Rangers 1, Livingston 1 in that game. In the Championship, lots of goals happening in the second half. Birmingham are now 4-1 up at home to Norwich. Derby doubled their lead at home to Watford. They're 2 up. Still Ipswich 0, Wrexham 0. QPR have turned things around at home to Hull, who started the day in the playoffs. Hull were 2-1 up, but QPR have scored 5 goals in 8 minutes to go 3-2 up. Stoke pulled a goal back away at Leicester. Leicester winning 2-1. Middlesbrough starting the day second in the table, have equalised away at Oxford. Oxford 1, Middlesbrough 1. Millwall, who have had a really, really poor run of form, losing their last 3 games, and now 2-0 down away.
What a goal that was.
Marcus Speller, talk us through it. Palace 2 up. What's happened?
Beauty there. Blimey. I mean, it's 2-0 to Palace. It's a sensational strike.
That was gorgeous.
That was,
Pino was that?
Yeah. I mean, the ball was played into him kind of on the angle on the edge of the box. He takes a touch to get the ball out of his feet, turns and rifles that in the top corner. Palace are absolutely delighted with that. And you would think that would be probably game over because Palace have been the better side. Wolves...
They deserve the Palace, don't they? I think Palace dominated the game.
Palace are a good side. They know what they're doing. I would have been surprised had Wolves have got anything out of this. And yeah, there it is there on the turn. Lovely touch out.
Oh, that is so nice.
Does it kiss the bar on the way in? Delightful.
We've got a penalty in the Bournemouth West Ham game. I think Max Kilman's given away.
I think it was a handball.
Was it handball?
Yeah, I think they've had a long check. There's a handball. It was dragged across. Basically, he went in to do a slide tackle. I think he's caught it with his hand on the way through.
Tavernier's got the ball on the spot up against Areola, but a possible lifeline for Bournemouth to get back in this game. Bournemouth 0, West Ham 2. We're going to wait for this penalty to be taken. Liverpool 0, Forest 2. Brighton 0, Brentford 1. Brighton... inconsistent team this season, aren't they? Look, Oliver Gladstone, they're absolutely loving that strike from Yerry Pino. It was a wonderful one. We've seen some good goals today, haven't we?
Yeah.
And It is Tavernier, number 16, steps up. That is how you take a penalty. Powerful down the middle. Goalkeeper dives to his left-hand side. He's got absolutely no chance of keeping that out. And a possible, definitely a lifeline for Bournemouth to try and get back in this game. Bournemouth 1, West Ham 2, Lee Phelps.
Yeah, Forest got a Gravenberch with a foul. He's got a yellow card, maybe for moaning is more than anything else. But they've got a free kick. Forest did it. What they've been doing? Oh yeah, he's kind of like tried to drag his foot back. A bit of a cynical one from Gravenberch. They've just done what they've been doing. Got it clear, belted it upfield. Liverpool haven't been able to deal with it. And Forest got a free kick on the. It was a fairly heavy challenge on Salah, wasn't it? I mean,
those sort of shoulder barges, you don't get them in the box. Outside the box, when you're running at that speed, you can often get a foul for that. But the refs never give that as a penalty.
We have barely spoken about Fulham.
Yeah, I was
Might I give a Fulham update?
Yes, no, of course you can. Please feel free. You are our Fulham correspondent officially.
It's still 0-0 and the rain's still falling.
That's about as exciting as your game's got.
I mean, Josh King tried a Kenny McLean from the halfway line.
Okay. How did it go?
Miserably wide. I mean, Fulham have had a few chances. Harry Wilson will probably think he should have scored at some point today. And as I say, with Fulham down at the bottom of the Premier League table, this is a real chance. But the game's opened up a bit. Fulham have not taken their sniffs at goal and chances. It's all kind of set up for a late Sunderland winner. You know what I mean? You get that feeling as a football fan. That could just be
counter-attack, sucker punch, exactly. Something like that.
I mean, Sunderland have looked fine. Their high line, particularly the first half, Fulham kind of were getting a little bit of joy, but they haven't made it count. And Harry Wilson, as I say, he had a chance a minute ago, which he might have done better.
Okay.
2 changes for Liverpool. Alexander Isak's coming off after 67 minutes.
These changes don't make you think, right, they're going to go. I mean, they're not. The changes aren't like, wow, look who they're bringing on.
No, sure. I appreciate that. Robertson's come on for Kirkes.
Gaze has been all right when he's played.
Gaze when he comes off the bench. That is one of the weird ones to talk about the manager. Like, when Gaze has had very, very brief moments off the bench for Liverpool, he does often look dangerous and look lively, but the manager just doesn't seem to fancy him. Oh, no. I mean, it feels like his longest time he's going to get this season. He's got 22 minutes plus at a time. Often he's coming on the bench literally late 80 minutes, and it's almost just a little bit too late.
Brighton are making a couple of changes, or at least one change actually. Just looking at the second half, the momentum is with them. Obviously, they're a goal down, trying to get back into this. 80% possession to 20% from Brentford, who are 1 goal up and sitting in a little bit. But Brighton haven't really turned it into proper chances. 2 shots, 1 on target, 4 corner kicks to 1 in the second half. But it is mainly Brighton. So Abby's pick of a draw in this does Brighton are having a good go at this, trying to get back into the game.
Or someone in this room picked Liverpool, which wasn't very sensible, was it? Wow. Who was that?
Not sure actually.
Danny Welbeck missed a very good opportunity probably about 5 minutes ago. Not doing his England chances any good.
I always love a fun league table update for you. It currently has Crystal Palace 4th, Sunderland 5th, Brentford 6th, which feels quite different and quite fun. I mean,
it's nice.
Well, you've got to give Brentford credit. People were thinking,
nice.
But people basically said Keith Andrews has got no chance. He's going to get sacked a few months in, and they're going to get relegated.
Yeah, I mean, there's a team that was kind of well set up.
Yep.
And a club that's well set up, of course.
Are you comparing Keith Andrews to Arnie Slot?
For the briefest of moments, perhaps I was subconsciously. But I think, when Frank left, we all know the chat, and everyone thought, they're going to struggle. And they didn't have a particularly great start to the season. I mean, I saw them play at Craven Cottage against Fulham. Fulham, who we've spoken about.
Chance?
Goal.
There's a goal.
It's in. It's Welbeck.
Yeah, Danny Welbeck. There we go. That will do his England chance. Here's some good. And Abby's prediction of a draw looks like the only one we got right today. Danny Welbeck has scored for Brighton. Brighton 1, Brentford 1, and his rich vein of form continues. He runs back to the centre circle. Brighton want this victory. And right on cue, Marcus Speller. Danny Welbeck pots up. The ball gets played out to Minter on the right-hand side. He crosses. Welbeck makes a really good run. Great run. And it's a first-time finish with his left foot. The ball in from Minter is dangerous. But Welbeck timed his run to perfection. And the first-time side for finish is absolutely beautiful.
We've been spoilt today with some of these goals.
You're watching Thomas too.
Lovely.
Be crazy if he wasn't.
It would be mad.
Maybe he'll at least watch Match of the Day. England manager should.
Or watch talkSPORT goals, and then we can tell him that
Tommy Teague has got to go.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got to be on the plane.
So it's.
What do you? By the way, I know the international break was just finished and so on, but what did you think of Welbeck being linked as maybe back up to Harry Kane.
I think right now, given that Ollie Watkins is terribly out of form,
Solanke's not fit.
Solanke's not playing.
Ivan Toney's-
Liam Delap's been injured. Ivan Toney, you kind of forgotten about.
Yeah.
I think Danny Welbeck is the second best
100%.
English centre forward right now.
I genuinely think unless Solanke was to have a brilliant, I still think Watkins will go.
I think Watkins, will find some form of
Solanke's played little to zero football unless Ivan Toney comes back to a Premier League club in
You think
January.
Possibly in January.
I mean, I'd
Would you
love.
happy with that?
Absolutely,
I think it'd be a great signing.
I think it would be brilliant for us if we had Ivan Toney for the second half of the season.
I think there are.
Oh, absolutely.
People might sort of say, well, hang on, he's been not playing the highest level of football, and he hasn't. But I mean,
I take
Marcus, I was about. Sorry, can you explain that to our audience, because that moment there sums up Wolves' season, I think.
The ball comes in at the box, and they've got themselves in a bit of a muddle there, because one player should leave. He should leave it to who I can't see who it was, but he should have left that for Strand Larsen, who would have had a tap in. He's tried to have a go.
Oh
at
my
himself.
goodness me,
Can't
that's
get
an
his foot around the
embarrassing
ball,
finish.
and it goes very tamely wide of the post.
And Brighton there, a really good chance. It was a 3-on-3 counter-attack. Gomez carrying the ball a long way, and they tried to drill a shot past Gallagher, but just beat him on his far post. That feels like possibly that game has got a winner in it. Where should we go next? I mean, Marcus, Fulham just starting to maybe... Smith Rowe's had a weird kind of year, hasn't he? He kind of joined with so much hype and expectation. Started well, didn't he? But has never really been able to find any consistency.
Well, and he's not a starter now. Josh King, the 18-year-old,
he looks a brilliant player, doesn't he?
He looks great, yeah. Has come through, and King at the moment, he usually plays the first hour, and then maybe Smith Rowe will come on or somebody else. But yeah, usually Smith Rowe. He's got a part to play. I mean, he scored against Man United earlier on in the season. But you're right, for the price tag and for the potential that he's got, and the ceiling that he's got, having seen what he's done at Arsenal, and they were gutted when he left. He hasn't done it really for Fulham. It's been slightly disappointing. But look, he's on now. He's just flashed one wide. Fulham are trying to turn the screw here. They're really trying to go at Sunderland and make it count. And I have that horrible sneaking suspicion that the back door will just open a jar for this Sunderland team, who we know are so good this season, to nip in. But we shall see. 0-0 at the moment.
Josh King had a good international break. He scored and assisted for England under-21s as well. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to score a goal. I know he had that one against Chelsea where he was...
Which one? Fulham goal of the month, by the way.
Yeah, Fulham goal of the month. Well, for a while, he was one of those where I was thinking, he's one.
Yeah.
Won't score.
There is nobody, by the way, who knows more about international football than you, Luke. I do a preview show really every Thursday morning. He can tell you what every single player in the Premier League did across an international break.
Don't test
me.
There
we go. Another big win this will be for West Ham, who set to jump up to 14th in the table. 3 wins in a row. I always thought they did well to get Nuno leaving Forest in that kind of manner.
Yeah.
And I think West Ham did well to get Nuno in. Manager of the year before, who got Nottingham Forest into Europe.
There were many teams that were kind of would have been great for Nuno, and I think unfortunately, because obviously I don't like West Ham being a Spurs fan, I think that's a perfect fit. Like, just if Nuno's available, he's the weird thing with Nuno is his time at Spurs kind of like just doesn't really exist. Like, it's kind of been erased from everyone's memory.
It was a weird 9 games, wasn't it?
Like, we just don't even need to talk about it. Like,
who came in after him? Conte.
Was
it?
Yeah, Conte. Yeah.
I think so, right?
Yeah, it was Conte. We've had so many managers.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Conte. But you're right, Nuno at Spurs seems...
Nuno at Spurs is like so irrelevant because he's...
Oh my goodness me! What that is a good save, and also at the same time a really bad miss from Krupi right on cue as we were speaking about West Ham. A dangerous ball drilled across goal, into the sort of edge of the box, and Krupi makes it run into the box, and he's literally a couple of yards out. You think he has to score. He sits down Areola, but his shot just goes wide and just comes off Areola. That was a massive chance.
Stats are unbelievably in favour of Bournemouth in this second half. 81% to 19% possession, 9 shots, 3 on target, 2 big chances, 5 corner kicks. West Ham, it's basically 0 all the way down. Well, they're sitting back in, there's 2 up, and Bournemouth are having a right go. I mean, obviously they've got players missing, and that's probably what might cost them in this game. The fact that the guy Clivert scores goals late on in games, he's not got him to come off the bench, and that's like,
that's a great. I mean, it's a
great save.
Yeah, it's a great save.
Bit of both, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, do you know,
he should just put the ball in the back of the net, not even give the keeper any sort of opportunity to get anything on it. But yeah,
I mean, Areola is West Ham's one big signing that Potter made, lest we forget he was there, was the keeper from Leicester.
Yeah, of course it was. Yeah, Hermanson.
Yeah,
had a really good year last year.
Exactly. Whereas Areola's just seems to be back in there. I mean, he's got a bit of pedigree. I mean, he was great.
Wasn't he?
He was on loan at Fulham. I mean, he was.
Hermanson, he did. Yeah.
Quakey
wanted Chelsea to sign Hermanson. Summer just gone.
Desperately wanted him. Week in, week out.
Although he seems to change his mind now and everything.
He does.
One minute he's like Maresca out. Next minute we're going to win the league. Which one's it going to be, Quakey? Which one's it going to be, pal?
It depends on what world.
Yes.
It will depend on what world.
This world they're all living in now. We give predictions
that's
on.
What I wanted.
He's been sat thinking too much during international.
He's had a long 2 weeks off, not working, hasn't he, basically?
He's sat there in his feelings thinking they're going to win the league.
Yes. Yeah, clearly he has done that.
Yeah, and by the way, I echo, obviously, Lee was saying about the Stats and so on. Bournemouth really are not wanting to lose this game. And we know they're a really good side.
I like Bournemouth.
Yeah, I think everybody has admired what Areola's done there. It'd be a fabulous victory for West Ham.
Massive win.
I can't see them not scoring, though, Bournemouth away. It's still, 12 minutes to go.
A lot of football still to be played.
Indeed, yeah. And by the way, Wolves are turning the screw a bit. I mean, some desperate defending from Palace has just stopped Wolves from... Fulham. Sessegnon going close. But yeah, Wolves have shown a bit since going 2-0 down, but it seems a little... Too little, too late, perhaps.
And at Anfield, by the way, Liverpool obviously camped in the Forest half. Forest are just backs to the walls now. They've got a 2-goal cushion. You can even
but they'll be happy with that. So if Liverpool were.
That's what
30 yards
literally what ball just came in the box and it was just straight to a Forest head. So there's not much about Liverpool at the minute that's making you think they'll get back into this.
I thought the first 20 minutes we looked really good, really dangerous, had a couple of big chances, but in this second half I don't think we've had any. That Salah chance maybe was the only one. So let me bring you the latest scores then as we enter the final 10 minutes. West Ham looking set as things stand to go 3 wins in a row, leading 2-1 away at Bournemouth. Danny Welbeck's equalised for Brighton. Brighton 1, Brentford 1, Fulham 0, Sunderland 0. Forest are leading Liverpool at Anfield by 2-0 as Ngoma comes on for Liverpool and Curtis Jones comes off. Rob Edwards' first game as Wolves manager looks set to end in defeat. Crystal Palace go in there and are winning as things stand by 2-2. In the Championship, lots and lots of goals today. Birmingham 4-1 up at home to Norwich. Derby, as things stand, about to win 6 games in a row and go into the playoffs. They're leading Watford by 2 goals
it's
to
3-0 Forest.
And Nottingham Forest.
Morgan Gibbs-White. Trademark celebration. 3-0. Look at Alisson. He can't believe it. He's thinking, what have I come back to? Arne Slot has just stood there with his mouth open watching this. This is...
Bournemouth have equalised well against West Ham.
I'm calling it.
Bournemouth 2, West Ham 2. But yeah, Morgan Gibbs-White.
Sam,
it's crisis talk.
Do you think we need to have a conversation? You're not in the mood?
I mean,
you can ask wherever you want, Abby. This is supposed to be,
I just told you every time you concede a goal, I'm going to start asking you.
Oh, Bournemouth have equalised.
Oh, that's lovely.
There you go, Sam.
That'll cheer you up. Cheered me up. Don't know about you.
Bournemouth have equalised.
So is it? You want to talk or?
Well,
no, yeah, I am. But you're talking over me, so it's hard to talk, isn't it?
Sam gets very.
It sounded like you wanted to.
Sam gets very rattled.
Ball came out to Amari Hutchinson on the right hand side. He did really, really well to cut in on his left foot. His shot is really well saved by Alisson. Although he does, to be fair, push it back in the danger area, but it's hit with real pace. And Morgan Gibbs-White is in the right place at the right time, and he puts the ball into the back of the net past Alisson, who now scored the goal for Bournemouth, by the way. Bournemouth 2, West Ham 2.
Chelsea and Liverpool, same price for the title now, 16-1.
Yeah, they've both got no chance of winning it, so it seems fair to me.
Well, in Quaker's world, you could. Chelsea can.
I don't want to be in Quaker's world.
I don't know, mate.
Nice.
Better than the reality.
Still the Premier League champions.
So, just a question.
You can ask me, go on, ask me what you want, Abby. Just ask it.
I will. Don't shout at me.
I did not shout at you.
Okay. Anyway, if Arne Slot was to get sacked, who would you like?
I haven't got.
I just think you might need to start thinking about it.
I've explained this to you at the top of the show and throughout the course of the show. I do not want Arne Slot to be sacked.
I'm just saying, if at some point Arne Slot is no longer in charge of Liverpool, who would you like to come in?
I'm not answering that question.
I'm happy to speculate with you.
Thank you. I think it's a normal conversation. It's a football show.
Marco Silva.
We have to talk about teams that are in trouble, teams that are in crisis.
Yeah.
We have to talk about these things, Sam.
Who would you think then, Abby?
You must have an opinion.
Ange. I think you do well with a bit of Ange.
What an awful suggestion that is.
It would be Gerrard.
It wouldn't be Gerrard.
Did you say Gerrard?
Bournemouth. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, actually, just trying. Sam's not happy right now.
Bournemouth.
The two
Bournemouth
obvious
are coming
ones.
on strong here.
Glasner?
I can't talk. I keep getting interrupted.
No,
You've asked me a question.
Sam,
so it's not.
chill.
Oh, the two obvious ones: Oliver Glasner and Andoni Areola at the moment.
Okay, that was literally just who I
But
wanted
I do not
to
want
know.
Arnie Slot to be sacked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Is that okay, Marcus?
Areola and Oliver Glasner. Okay, that was literally all I wanted to know.
It's fine. I think that's
We didn't say that he's.
Hey, Klopp back, maybe that could be good. Actually,
Would you have Klopp back?
Yeah, if Klopp wanted to come back.
I don't think he would want it.
I don't think he would.
I think he's
come
having a
back,
lovely old time.
I'm sure he is.
You'd have to fit it in around his paddle schedule. I mean, look.
Bournemouth.
Oh, what
great
save?
There's so much going on in that second.
It's in there. It's a goal.
Marcus Speller, what's happened at the Craven Cottage?
Fulham have got a corner. No, they've scored.
Very good.
They've scored. It's Raul Jimenez. They've been pushing. They've had a lot of kind of half chances and efforts and so on. But, oh, my goodness, that was... I can't tell you. So it's looking like they may not lose this game now because Sunderland will probably still get a late one. But no, Fulham, they've scored. Raul Jimenez, you beautiful boy. 1-0 to Fulham. It's a great ball in from the left. They've been swinging a few crosses in. Sunderland have dealt with it, but Fulham have looked the more likely in this. If all game, really. Fulham, I think, have played pretty well. But it's been the story of the season so far for Fulham. Played well, done all right. That's a beautiful ball in. Look at that. Is that Chuck Wazy who put that in for the man on loan from Milan? Lovely ball in. And Raul Jimenez, great attacking instincts there and sort of on the half, not quite a half volley, but as the ball bounces up, he puts his foot in and from close range stabs it home. But my goodness, Fulham needed that because they've been the better side and they need to win those types of games. I appreciate Sunderland have been very good this season, but if they can just now...
There was
not
also
concede.
An unbelievable double chance, wasn't there, for Bournemouth?
Yeah.
But there was a shot from a near post. It was pushed away by Areola.
Yeah, look at that.
And then it was Evan Nilsson, was it, who slipped over, and then a shot came in, it was pushed away, back into a danger area, and somehow Tavernier from close range managed to shoot over the bar. Chance of Brighton! And Brighton do!
Oh.
It's Hinshelwood. 84 minutes gone, and Brighton, who are so good at home this season in the Premier League, they remain unbeaten in their last 9 Premier League games out of the Amex. Then we can make that 10 because they've taken the lead at home to Brentford. Hinshelwood, not with the sweetest of strikes, hit into the turf, but it's quick enough to get past Kelleher and go into the back of the net. And Brentford, who led this game for large periods of it, now find themselves behind. Brighton 2, Brentford 1, and Brighton once again, team, really, really good at home.
Really good.
They are. I think they kind of go under everyone's radar, don't they, Brighton? You kind of think, I expect them to be. There's no gimme. It's a very well run club. Much has been made of that.
Very good.
They've got a great squad of players, and none of that is a gimme. Like Brighton, to consistently play well in the Premier League and always be looking up the table rather than down for a club of that size and. Recent Premier League pedigree. It's remarkable. But those are the games again at home to. It's a lovely volley that from Hinshelwood. Actually, I know it sort of bounces a few times. A chance for Bournemouth again. Areola's keeping them.
Yeah, Areola's made about 4 or 5 really, really good saves in the last couple of minutes.
He has,
this time. Again, it's Tavernier who's shot, he pushes away and it remains 2-2.
Yeah. But that Hinshelwood goal, on first glance, you think as he kind of scuffed it, he sort of hit it to the ground. The technique, actually, it's a really lovely one. And that's the thing, Brighton have... what are you laughing at, Ab?
Sorry, sorry, it wasn't that. Sam told me to grow up. For absolutely no reason.
Okay.
Absolutely no reason. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Oh, they should score here! Oh, another save from Areola! He's pulled off 4 or 5 outstanding saves.
Areola's, I mean... Considering Callum Wilson scored 2 goals and Bournemouth are playing some lovely attacking football, Areola's going to be man of the match if it stays like this. I mean, a save that maybe you'd expect the goalkeeper to make, but still he does make it.
And what we got left here, 3 minutes of normal time, then whatever's left.
Well, West Ham are hanging on.
13-5 Bournemouth to win the game. You'd have to think that if they get many more chances, surely they're going to score. Bournemouth 2-2 against West Ham.
Yeah.
West Ham have just sat back now. They've just given up the ghost, haven't they? Really,
Yeah, they
it's
have.
just like hanging on. Like,
Well, I think that's it.
They were hanging on at 2-0, weren't they? They weren't in control of the
came out in
game
the
then.
second half.
Really, the whole dynamic in the second half. You know, I think the
Worst score at half time, isn't it? 2 up.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, you'd much rather be just
2-0 is it? Or 2-0 down, right?
I mean, the stats are if you go 2-0 up in a game of football are pretty on your side. You know, so this idea it's a dangerous scoreline. But anyway, old cliches aside, West Ham, when they were 2-0 up, it did. The first goal was a bit on against the run of play.
Right.
But the second one goes in and you're thinking, blimey, this could be a lovely day for them. But this second half, Bournemouth have just remembered that they're a really good side and that they've got some real attacking verve and spirit and great energy, and West Ham have really struggled to deal with them. Only Areola has kept this at 2-2 really, because they are creating chance after chance, and if Bournemouth don't win this game they'll be thinking, blimey, how on earth have we not got 3 points? And again, it's similar to Brighton with Bournemouth. I think they're in that mid-table position of they're looking up the table. There's absolutely no way that those two sides are going to be in any kind of relegation battle.
But have they got enough though to get crashed the European place?
Well, and this
not.
But this is the question. People were saying at the start of the season with Bournemouth, sold a few big players, obviously. The back line lost what, 2 or 3? I forget.
3, yeah.
Was it 3? Was it? Yeah.
Koke, Zabani, and Houston.
And Hoyson, off to Real Madrid. So, but they kept some big players. Now, Semenyo's not played today, has he?
No.
So you see what they can do even without him. I mean, he's been playing like one of the best players in the league. In fact, you'd probably say he is one of the best players in the league.
Apart from Haaland, yeah, you'd probably say in terms of form, he's been up there, right?
He's been incredible, yeah. So they've still got whatever Iraola's been doing there. It's still very much here this season. And if you remember last season, in the earlier stages, there was tentative talk of the Champions League. Can they do it? And obviously, they faded away. Well, with that experience, I don't think they'd get Champions League, but they'd love a little Europa League
course they
job
would.
or something like that. It'd be incredible. And with Forest doing that as well, it gives sides like Bournemouth a bit of hope. You think, well, hang on, you can push on and see. Because it hasn't been a traditional Premier League season that we've come to know. So,
yeah. No, I think I agree. There's no chance those sides get ready. They've got really, really good players. You sometimes think with those teams that, Brighton always a selling club and they're really good at bringing in new players. But you sometimes always with Brighton in particular kind of want them just to keep hold of some of their players for an extra season to see what they can do next year. Yeah. But obviously they're one of the best run clubs, aren't they, in terms of selling and bringing in good players. So we have got a few minutes left in Navarra 3 o'clock games.
Hi. So just with that Brighton strike, that has put Liverpool in the bottom half of the Premier League table.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
No, obviously not. I'm gutted. It's awful. It's been a terrible day and a terrible start to the season for us. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make you aware.
No, thank you. Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 3. 88 minutes.
You want him to have a bad day, don't you?
No, I am. I'm having a bad day. Of course I am. But I'm not. We're in the bottom half.
Listen,
we're Abby. I'll go further. I see. What are we 10th in the table, 11th in the table? We should be below that in the table. Our form's relegation form. We've been absolutely shocking. And do you know what the funny thing is, right? Not funny. The ironic thing is, the games we won at the start of the season, the 5 league games we won in a row.
Yeah.
Every single one of those games, we were lucky to win.
Absolutely.
So most of the points we've got on the
hanging
board
on.
are last-minute winners, handballs, penalties against Burnley. It's been an absolute shambles. We've been nowhere near good enough. Yeah. And today, once again, apart from the first 20 minutes, it's been absolutely woeful. Woeful. And do you know what? I spent 2 weeks in international break thinking, we've got these teams on paper. Yeah. Forest, West Ham will beat them. Of course we won't beat them. Yeah. But absolutely awful. Well, and these teams, they might be in the book. They've got good players. They can hurt you. And they have done today.
And I think that's what you just said there.
No, I'm not. I'm not laughing. I just,
But what Sam was saying there is this is the problem. Every game now Liverpool go into, it's what's going to happen. They've got the heebie-jeebies. Do you know what I mean? Every game now, that's crisis. It is. Yeah, and that's the thing. What do you then do? All right, next game, who have we got? Right, we should beat them. Bad result. And they show 5 minutes here or a good 20 minutes spell there.
Everyone keeps asking me, what do you do to the team? I've got no other suggestions in terms of what to do to starting 11.
The only thing really is...
Diamond, maybe play Isak and TK together?
Mixing it up tactically, yeah, we can talk and speculate about that until the cows come home. I think that really, like I say, into the new year, if nothing's changed, and it's not how Liverpool tend to operate, you have to say the manager's position is going to be under threat.
Fulham only 4 points behind you.
Yeah, hey, look, well, I'm sure West Ham and Nottingham Forest aren't far behind us. I know that, Abby. Okay, so you're saying the new year, Marcus, you think?
Well, like I said, if not much has changed, if it's still the same thing, because we've seen this before.
My God.
I mean, that's nearly 4-0 Forest.
Yeah,
that's nearly 4-0 managed by Sean Dyche
really be 5
at Anfield. What I mean, I was saying earlier in the first sort of 20 minutes of the game or whatever. They've set up like a Sean Dyche team. They're not going to show much attacking threat. Blah 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 blah. Like I thought, at worst, Liverpool are going to draw this 0-0, maybe 1-0. It's 3-0 going on 4-0 at Anfield. I mean, this is madness now. So,
what exactly are you saying? Because it sounds to me you have to. I feel like there's an on a slot comment coming in it.
Well, it is, and what it is, Abby, you'll be.
Why don't you give your opinion?
I've given mine.
I've
given mine all afternoon.
No, but
I've given mine all afternoon.
You think you should be sacked?
No, I don't think you should be. I think I think there is an abundance of issues at Liverpool, but the buck will always stop with the manager. And I'm not seeing anything.
No, don't we? Everyone knows that.
So, do you want me to give my opinion or you don't? Because you're just snapping at me.
We all know the manager stops bucks. Yeah.
So the buck stops with So if you've lost 6 out of 7, okay, you probably will surpass 10 before the end of the year. Okay, right. The buck will stop with the manager. It's not good enough.
So what? What are you saying then?
I'm saying you're being defensive.
I've defended the manager.
I'm saying you can't go on like this. You're Liverpool Football Club. Fulham can go on like it. Spurs can go on like it, and they did. You can't go on like it.
So you're saying the manager should be sacked this evening?
I don't think this evening, but I think it's increasingly becoming a conversation.
It's going that way.
It's going that way.
It is going that way.
And you can't deflect on that, and you can't say, give your opinion. I've given you my opinion the whole afternoon. You got many clips out of it. My opinion is there are many things that are going wrong with Liverpool, but the manager is not doing anything that I can see.
And I agree with you on that.
For you to progress
I agree with you on that.
or change.
No, I agree with you on
You're
that.
looking worse and worse week in, week out.
I agree with you on that.
I don't even know what's your most embarrassing defeat at this point.
This is up there, I think.
Penalty between Brighton.
I mean, United. Like, what you did to United, you rebirthed Manchester United, essentially.
Abby, better news for you.
Yeah.
Brentford have got a penalty.
Well, Iraq's done.
Oh.
Iraq, well, not really. Iraq has tanked because Liverpool losing home to Nottingham Forest.
I should have just done my own bet.
And Ipswich aren't being Wrexham. So, I mean, Iraq is...
You're also going to have to get comfortable with losing games.
Why? What football fan wants to be?
Because I feel like you can't snap every time we talk about this.
Well, of course I can. I've said my football team's losing. But
you're going to have to get comfortable with the fact that Liverpool are not Liverpool anymore.
Yeah.
And I can't see there's not much light to United are above you.
Yeah, more than half the league are, Abby.
See things like that. Can't snap at me every time when it's the truth. I sat here for 22 times.
Saved.
Oh, they've saved that.
Penalty saved.
And you say you never snapped at any point last season.
I snapped loads of times, but I was
allowed to snap, no?
22 times I sat here and lost.
We're getting
You're
there.
far off. Yeah. Trust me, there's nothing hits you like 22 times in a season.
The Brentford penalty was saved, Marcus.
Verbruggen, lovely save. Oh my goodness! I mean, they've dominated that game, Abby. You can't deny. And I think, despite losing what will almost certainly be a loss here, I think Keith Andrews' job is safe though, because he's done a good job at Brentford. 2-1 Brighton. Thiago missing the penalty. Surprising. Here it is again.
Oh, wow.
He goes up and he does that step where he waits for the goalkeeper to move, but obviously he misjudged that and
such a bad penalty.
Bad penalty.
It is an awful penalty.
Yeah.
Like, we saw the Bournemouth player, Tavernier, put his laces through the ball, smash it into the back of the net, and that is awful. We've got some full times then in the Premier League. Marcus Bella's arms are raised in the air because it's a much-needed fourth victory this season for Fulham. Fulham beating Sunderland by a 1-0. Also, Rob Edwards is walking around Molineux's first home game. His first game as Wolves manager has ended in a defeat. Wolves 0, Crystal Palace 2. So Liverpool 0, Forest 3. But that game's got 30 seconds to run. Brentford missing that penalty late on. It does finish 2-2 at the Vitality between Bournemouth and West Ham. West Ham were leading that game by 2-0. Bournemouth, though, were absolutely outstanding in that second period. Got it back to 2-2 and really somehow... Oh, a little bit of needle going on at Craven Cottage here, Marcus.
Not very Fulhamish. I blame Sunderland. Not very Fulhamish.
coming down here from up north.
We don't do this in Fulham.
Kenny Tete seems to be getting
fisticuffs.
Do you know, I never understand it if you've just won a game of football, why are you getting involved? Why are you getting involved?
Just to rub it in their faces even more.
Kenny Tete seems particularly unhappy with somebody there. I don't know what's going on, but that is a huge win for Fulham. They've had quite a tough start to the season. Oh, a yellow card post-game.
I love. What is the point in the referee booking an assistant coach post-game? That's not really going to do much, is it, to anything?
If that sentence doesn't sum up modern football, I don't know what.
Yeah,
the
honestly.
assistant got a yellow card after the game.
Full time at Anfield, Liverpool 0, Nottingham Forest 3.
I mean, so my summation, Abby and Sam, you've had a bit of a ding dong there.
Do you want really a ding dong? I
can vote for your man of the match if you want. Just came off my phone.
Okay. Well, there was plenty of ding from Abby, not too much dong from me.
I was calm. The only thing I've said is I think I'm backing the manager.
I think
a bad opinion.
So I think what
it's not.
I agree with everything.
I wasn't actually. I wasn't disagreeing with anything you said. I wasn't disagreeing with anything you said. I just said to you that you do have to question Arne's slot in it. That's it.
And I thought at various points throughout the show, I've said that tactically this season we haven't been good enough. And
so Sam, let me ask you a question then.
Sure.
You think he's safe to the end of the season? That was a handshake snub, Mark Hughes-esque. No, he wasn't. He was always the snubby, not the snubber, wasn't he? Anyway, I think with Liverpool right now, if this carries on, even if because they're good enough to pick up the odd win here and there,
sure.
It reminds me a little bit of Jose Mourinho's second spell at Chelsea.
Okay.
They win the league, and then that second season, it was kind of, are they going, are they not? And they'd win, and they'd lose at home. There was a sloppy result here, and but then they go, they've still got Eden Hazard, they've still got all these players. And again, eventually he loses his job. And Chelsea, as we know, over the years, are much quicker to change managers than a lot of sides. Liverpool, not so. And I think Liverpool now are dangerously close to a unfamiliar territory of, do we sack a manager that last season won us the Premier League? Because the way it's going, we may not qualify for Champions League football. I think they're going towards it. I think come January, maybe, possibly February, I think if nothing changes, then I think the club have a big decision to make.
Sure, but when there's like 8, possibly, That's 8 games away, isn't it? February. There's a lot of football still to be played.
This is probably the worst. Well, it's up there with the worst title defence since Leicester.
Really? Sure. I mean,
what do you reckon Klopp's thinking right now?
I think he'd be pretty upset. I think he'd be pretty angry. I think he obviously cares a lot about Liverpool Football Club. He obviously spent, nearly 10 years there. Mm-hmm. I think that Liverpool Football Club's in his heart like it is with all the fans. So I'm guessing he'd be probably pretty downbeat.
Because it's different to, say, Man City. You're talking about poor defences. Man City win the league and then obviously...
last season they were.
Did they finish fourth?
They finished well in the end, but around this time of year, there was
a clear wobble, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was about this time last year.
But of course, I mean, I think it's fair to say that Guardiola had enough credit in the bank.
Sure, he won 4 in a row.
Exactly, right. And now, I was saying at the time, and I still do believe that the heady days at Man City have kind of gone.
Yeah,
they can still challenge for the league, obviously this season.
In a whole rebuild, aren't they?
But exactly, But I think in terms of them being like almost bulletproof. Do you know what I mean? I think that's done. But it did feel like a wobble. There was the definite wobble. There's no two ways about that. But they finished the season pretty strongly. But they'd lose the cup final. Liverpool, again, we shall see. I think the next couple of months, you say those 8 games or whatever it is.
Ballpark, yeah.
This is crisis, crunch time, whatever kind of time you want to call it. Liverpool needs something massive.
Hold that thought, Mark, because we'll take a very quick break, and then when we come back, we'll dissect all the games at 3 o'clock. And I'm sure Liverpool will be the majority of our focus point. Just to round up then the games in the Premier League, West Ham were leading Bournemouth by 2-0. Bournemouth scoring 2 goals in the second half to draw 2-2. Probably really should have won that game. Bournemouth had lots of chances, didn't happen in the end for them. Brentford to the lead thanks to an Igor Thiago penalty after 29 minutes. 2 late goals though from Brighton, Welbeck and Hinchelwood got Brighton the 3 points. Brentford missing a very, very late penalty. Fulham left the late but picked up a much needed 3 points, beating Sunderland by a goal to 0. Raul Jimenez, the goal scorer. As we just mentioned, another defeat, another bad afternoon for Liverpool, losing at home to Nottingham Forest by 3-0. Rob Edwards' first game as Wolves manager ended in defeat, losing to Palace by 2-0. Newcastle versus Man City is the 5:30 game. Haaland, Cherki, Doku the front 3 for Man City today. Once again, no Rodri for Man City, with Phil Foden playing a little bit deeper. 3 o'clock results in the Championship. Derby were 2 up at home to Watford. Watford scoring 3 late goals to win 3-2. Birmingham 4, Norwich 1. Ipswich's good recent run of form ended at home to Wrexham, finishing goalless. Third place Stoke lose away at Leicester by 2-1. Second in the table, Borough drawing 1-1 away at Oxford. So a great day then for Coventry, who started the day with a victory at home to West Brom. Portsmouth 3, Millwall 1. QPR turned around against Hull and won that game by 3-2. So Arsenal still top of the Premier League. Chelsea moves up to second. It's Man City third. Palace jump up to fourth. Sunderland fifth. Spurs, Villa, Man United, and Liverpool. On my table, Liverpool was ninth in the Premier League table, but you tell me that we're in the bottom half, which we might be. Maybe. Oh, yes, we are. Spurs, Villa, Man United. Spurs, yeah, we are. Yeah.
Not even the smallest of victories.
Sorry,
he was getting ready to snap at me again. But
we're actually ninth.
We're actually ninth.
We're actually 10th. I haven't snapped you, Abby.
It's okay.
Okay, save it for the break.
Palace fourth, Brighton up to fifth. It's Sunderland sixth. Bournemouth, Spurs, Villa, Man United make up the top half. Liverpool are 11th. The bottom three is, I think, the bottom three that many people think is going to finish off the bottom three. Wolves, Burnley, Leeds. West Ham move out of it. So do Forest. Fulham got up to 14th. Newcastle down to 15th. And this is talkSPORT Goals. We are live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and on your smart TVs. We're taking a very quick break on talkSPORT. Honestly. A very good afternoon and welcome back to talkSPORT Goals. We are live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel and coming to you as well, of course, on your smart TV. It's just gone 5 o'clock on Saturday, November the 22nd, and the 3 o'clock games in the Premier League have just finished. The day started with Chelsea going to Burnley and winning by 2-0. Not a great performance from Chelsea. They won't care. They picked up the 3 points. They move up to second in the table. West Ham were cruising away at Bournemouth, leading by 2-0. Second half, they were a tough slog for the Hammers. Bournemouth coming back from 2 goals down to draw 2-2. Brighton beat Brentford by 2-1. They found themselves 1-0 down thanks to an Igor penalty. Brighton are scoring 2 late goals on to win that game by 2-1. Igor Thiago missing a penalty late on. Fulham 1, Sunderland 0. A much needed victory for Fulham and Marco Silva. Nottingham Forest go to Anfield and win by 3-0. Liverpool's wretched run of form continues. Palace went to Wolves and won by 2-0. So we've dissected Liverpool, I think, guys, in good detail. Elsewhere then, from today's fixtures, do you think, Marcus, that we've seen a real turning point for West Ham United? They have back-to-back victories for the international break. Okay, they were 2 up today against Bournemouth, but 7 points from 9 out of the relegation zone. Is the only way up now for West Ham?
Yeah, I don't think anybody will tip them to go down now because Nuno's there and he's steadying the ship. I mean, look, at the end of that game, Bournemouth will look at that and think, how on earth did we not win the game? West Ham won't be too worried about that. I think 2-0 up, you know, they're pegged back to 2-2. Ultimately, they've got to be happy with the point. But again, it shows you a little bit of character at West Ham to kind of cling on there. The goalkeeper Areola was keeping Bournemouth out towards the end there. They'll be gutted they didn't get a third. But West Ham, yeah, I mean, Callum Wilson getting 2 goals today is huge. It gives him a lot of confidence and it gives the other players in the team a bit of confidence. If you have a proper forward who can score goals, my goodness. And Jared Bowen will be thinking, oh, thank goodness it's not just me. So we know they've got some good players in there. They quite clearly have they've got a better squad than Leeds, Burnley and Wolves, who are below them. They've got Forest, Newcastle, Fulham, Everton above them. You know, start getting the points, you know, and you'll be up there. So I think Nuno, it was a bit of a baptism of fire when he took over that, at the club because they were really in the doldrums, weren't they? I mean, that first game he took charge of, was it Brentford at home? Where
who's that, sorry?
West Ham, when they were beaten 2-0.
Yeah.
It was 2-0 going on about.
That was like a Monday night game. Yeah,
exactly. Well, it was extraordinarily bad. And you think to yourself, Nuno, we expected better from you. And this is what we're seeing now. Okay, again, Bournemouth probably should have won this game, but they didn't. Ultimately, it's a good point for West Ham, despite being 2-0 up, all things considered. So, yeah, I think that West Ham fans, they're not going to be relaxing too much just yet because I mean they're still on the same points as Leeds, who are now 18th. But it's the early signs with Nuno there are looking pretty good.
I think I've asked you, Lee, for the last few weeks, and I've been surprised that you're telling me that you guys have West Ham more likely to go down than Leeds. Is that changed at all?
It will now. Yeah, it will now. Obviously, Leeds got Villa to play tomorrow, haven't they? So, Leeds now will be the third favourites to go down. I haven't got the price in front of me, but Wolves, after that result, they were 1-8. I think they'll be 1-10, probably. And then you've got Burnley, obviously, next, and then Leeds, around even money-ish.
Yeah,
so I think it's hard.
Might be a little bit different to that,
put forward an argument for any of those.
No, I mean, they're 9 points from safety. Wolves.
I even think
They're
Burnley
gone.
and Leeds just lack the quality.
I don't see how they can get. They can't accumulate enough points.
Yeah.
They'd have to win like 10 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
Out of
even have a
27,
chance
which
out
is
of-
I think
That's just never going to happen.
I think Burnley have done a bit better than what I think some people thought they would do, and I think they've shown a bit. But ultimately, I think that it's
they're like
probably
they're like Luton last year.
maybe.
Plucky. Well,
I think Luton.
some good games. But
Luton were better.
quite-
Luton had a bit more. I think Luton had a bit more about them.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, like Burnley,
you get the-
Burnley
get the
haven't been
comparison.
terrible.
It'll end up being like a pat on the back, well done, but you've gone down type.
Probably,
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't think Burnley were that competitive.
I don't think so.
I worry that the three, obviously, Wolves are cut adrift. I think Burnley and Leeds, the other two teams, could be cut adrift. I also think that I know West Ham and Forest had bad starts to the season. I just think there's like that Nottingham Forest team on. I'm not just saying this. They've gone to Anfield. If you look at Forest's bench some days, some of the players on the bench you think would start for a lot of teams in the Premier League. They've got real strength and depth.
Well, I think if you take Burnley from what I've said there and Leeds, look above them in the table. West Ham, well, we just said that they should really get out of it with Nuno. Forest under Dyche, I mean, they just won at Anfield for crying out loud, so they'll be flying high. Newcastle,
That's crazy.
bit of a false position, you might say. It's a bit of a funny one there. Then above them, Fulham, who I think are will be fine in the end. I don't, it was a huge victory there. Then you got Moyes' Everton, you got Brentford, and then Liverpool, Man United. Like those teams above Burnley and Leeds, where do you see them leapfrogging aside? It's going to be very, very difficult. And with Sunderland, okay, they lost today at Fulham, but Sunderland, despite that loss, they're still in sixth. I appreciate.
Sunderland will be all right.
They've been playing magnificently well this season, you have to say. So it's way more competitive, the Premier League this season in certain areas. But with regard to relegation, it is more competitive. But I still think, I fear for Burnley and even Leeds as well. Just looking at the difficult task of trying to draw in one of them, because Brentford were one of those teams, weren't they? That people thought, with Thomas Frank going, but even they've shown a lot recently. Brentford are doing pretty well this season, all things considered.
If you look at recency, we were talking the last time we were on about that kind of magical 37-point thing.
Yeah.
Which you look at like over the last 5 seasons, say.
Or less now, right?
Yeah, like some of them have been like 26 points for safety. Well, Burnley, Leeds, West Ham are on 10 and 11. So you're almost halfway there. That's why, it's going to be really interesting because, even Everton, like you say, 15 points. I know they've got the new stadium and everything, but
Everton aren't going down.
No, but
I don't think so.
Who's going to get dragged into it then?
Well, that's what I mean. Like you can't really make a case for anybody in that bottom half right now. You take Man United in 10th, no. Liverpool, no. Brentford.
I can't believe you even. That's been the worst part of my day, by the way. To let you know.
I apologise.
You putting us in the relegation candidates to go down and go.
I said
they'll be all right.
You look at the bottom half of the table. To be fair, I shouldn't have said Man United because they're in 10th.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know, when you
Top
look
half
at
teams only.
like,
But Everton,
I'm not
Fulham,
really-
Forest, Newcastle, West Ham.
I always look at, when you look at the relegation picture, you look at goal difference as well to see who's really suffering.
Yeah.
And you've got like -10, obviously Wolves, -10 Burnley, -10 Leeds, -10 West Ham, -7 Forest. And you got -3 Newcastle, same Fulham, Liverpool -2 on the goal difference.
Yeah.
I mean, that is woeful.
By the way, one of the worst things, though, to happen to the teams in the current relegation zone was Nuno going to West Ham.
Yeah.
They would have wanted Potter to stay there as long as possible and then get somebody who bit unproven and whatnot. But Nuno going there, I think a lot of the teams around them just went, man.
Final one on this. I want to get Abby's thoughts on North London derby. A nice day for Callum Wilson because he's had injury problems, hasn't he, in the last sort of year, 18 months, hasn't played much football. Scored 2 today, and you called it.
Sorry, just laughing at something that was just sent through on the WhatsApp group.
What's the funny, mate?
We're still on early.
I'm sorry.
You're not the pub fella.
It just really...
No, it's quite funny.
It is quite funny.
Producer Lewis
Sorry,
said,
Lewis,
said
you
hang
made me laugh out loud there.
hang
Sorry.
it in the Louvre.
Oh, this is cruel.
It's cruel on you.
No, it's fine. Do you know what? No, I don't mind it because you're right. I give it when, that's fine. We've been
It's good artwork. Whoever
It's
did that, it's good artwork.
Sorry, Sam. I shouldn't have laughed.
No, do you know what?
It was genuinely funny.
Can we put it on this? No, that's too far.
Can I do some Pilates or something?
I will, actually.
Honestly.
I think you need some Pilates.
Yeah, I do.
to
I do. I
relax.
thought we were doing classes.
We are. I'm waiting for you to tell me.
I think a massage would suit you better.
I don't offer that. That's not part of my...
I wasn't suggesting you were.
You're being really mean to me.
I was going to, at that moment, do you want to say something nice about Callum Wilson? Because his second goal today in particular
Beauty.
was a sumptuous finish, like a really good finish.
I mean, is it Is it ridiculous to say it was a great finish? Is it ridiculous to say if he carries on like this, come the summer?
You can't just link every player with England every time they do something.
If he carries on like this,
Yeah. Well, I tell you that second striker behind Harry Kane's up for grabs.
it is.
I mean, that's
Danny Welbeck had that locked in.
he was overlooked for this.
I think he'll still be overlooked,
squad.
but I think if anyone right now on form, it should be Danny Welbeck.
If Kane gets injured, then it's Welbeck and Wilson.
Kane,
Welbeck
do you know
and
what?
Wilson.
I think if Kane gets injured, I think he just plays Marcus Rashford up there.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't
It's
think
Bellingham up
WWW.
top.
Wilson, Welbeck, or Watkins.
Yeah,
he-
literally.
In the final, then 10 minutes or so of the show, because I feel a little bit drained at the moment. Let's talk North London derby, Abby. Arsenal Spurs tomorrow, Sunday, 4:30. How are you feeling ahead of it?
Should be nervous.
I don't feel nervous.
Should be.
Thanks for that. I don't actually.
Just trying to stick up for Sam.
It won't make me feel any better, like Spurs losing to Arsenal. Like,
It's just, normal. That's normal.
Yeah.
Normal. I don't feel nervous. I'm starting to feel a bit more excited. At the start, I did actually say I wasn't that excited, but as the day's gone on, I am getting a bit hungrier for it now. I'm getting that taste for it. Weirdly, Spurs away from home gives me more hope. Gives me more.
Do you think that's because Frank? We know him as Brentford manager.
Yeah.
That's how they would set
she's
up.
booing him every week.
No, I'm not. I'm here. When am I booing him?
You went to the United game. You chanted Frank
I
now, weren't you?
No,
But do you feel?
I
that-
wasn't actually.
But do you feel Frank?
And I didn't.
though,
I didn't.
Abby, do you feel
Don't bite.
that Thomas Frank, the majority of his career is at Brentford, and we know what they like to do. Always, they love to bloody the nose of a bigger and better side, but ultimately, kind of more mid-table, really. With
Where
Spurs,
are you going with this? Yeah.
No, but no. Hang on. With Spurs, mid-table,
Yeah.
obviously would be an improvement from last season
Absolutely.
in the Premier League. But jokes aside, with Frank, away from home, there's less onus on Spurs taking the game to the opponent. At the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the expectation, especially the good business they did in the summer and the size of the team and blah, 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 to take the game to the opponents. Frank maybe is not as equipped at that. I think he's still got to get used to managing a side who are the best side he's ever managed in terms of the squad and the players at that size of club. What the expectation is in the hope of qualifying through the regular route, if you like, for Champions League football again for next season.
I think that Spurs won't set up in that way that is open and flowing. I think a Thomas Frank style is a bit more pragmatic. He loves to have that double pivot anyway. He likes to have it at home, so he loves to have it away.
Yeah.
We're much better away from home than we have been.
But they're the reasons, though. That's the reason, is because the way he sets the team up away from home is more his modus operandi.
It is, and I think that probably works quite well, especially at Arsenal, where there is a lot of onus on obviously set pieces. That's not even a dig, guys. It's just what it is. Like
Gabriel's injured.
Spurs have become a set piece team themselves, so we've taken a leaf out of their book. We haven't had the attacking options that we would usually have in terms of our 3-4 first choice players have not been fit and available. I think Kudus is back. I think Bergvall is back as well.
Kudus back really important.
Kudus being back is massively important when you do miss Maddison, Kulusevski and Solanke, your first choices.
He's very positive, Kudus.
Yeah, he is. I think he
Direct,
looks,
isn't he?
Yeah. Well,
Loves
he's
that
only one
cone
that
on
looks
the
like he
left
can
foot,
actually
whipping the
he
ball.
can actually do something.
Yeah.
I think also with someone like Xavi Simons, we saw him play really well against Copenhagen, where he had more time, had more space. It's a bit less physical against Copenhagen. Whereas in the Premier League, I think he hasn't adapted as quickly. I think if you did have the options of Maddison or Kulusevski, he wouldn't probably have played as much football as he would. He would have been eased in, and that's why there's been more pressure, I think, on him to deliver and create magic. But the only thing is, I would say, is that he hasn't had the best talent around him, and not the greatest movement off the ball. So I have been on his back a bit, but I'm also very much, I'll wait and cast judgment when I've got our first choice players available. But just on the North London derby in particular, I don't have this feeling that we're going to go there and get battered. I think it will be a tighter game.
Arsenal don't batter teams, do they? They do
I think it'll be a bit
half teams to
cagier.
submission.
What
don't
would you
they?
take?
What I take?
1-0 defeat. Would you take that? Draw?
I don't want to say I'm going to go into a derby and take a defeat. I mean, even if history tells me that's how it will look, I want to go. I take a draw right now, absolutely. To go away to the Emirates, to go away against the best defence with or without Gabriel, the best team in the league, one of the best teams in Europe. Of course, I would take a draw. Be silly not to. Plus, it stops Arsenal a little bit. I always say that I will support any team. Obviously, not fully support, but I will back any team that is directly impacting.
Are you panicking
Arsenal.
in that respect?
No, I'm just saying I would like it if Spurs could actually just impact in some way. I'm always relying on City or Liverpool or someone else. It'd be just nice if Spurs could just be like, do you know what?
I wouldn't rely on
I'm definitely not relying on them this season. But it would just be nice if Spurs could actually do something. You know, we haven't won at the Emirates in the league for, what was it, 15 years? You know, it's...
Yunus Kabul scored the winning goal.
Who else scored the other two?
Bale and Van der Vaart.
Well done. It's like we had that chat earlier.
I got 2 out of 3 right there.
You did get 2 out of 3. It was very good. But apart from one win in the cup, I think it was 2018. Like we haven't won there. It's not successful for us. So if we can go there and just not get battered, just not be Spursy, not concede, you know, an own goal or something like that. I don't expect them to go there and have this free flowing football that I want at home or that our Spurs fans want at home. I want us to go there and actually put up a good display against the best team in the Premier League.
Kind of my feelings about England in the Ashes.
Oh, good. We haven't even. By what a day! Getting stuffed by Forest at home and getting beaten by the Aussies. It's been the longest and worst day of my professional career so far.
I'm glad I spent it with you.
Oh, I was really happy you were back up until. No, I'm joking, Marcus. It's not your fault, is it, that we can't defend and can't score and we're all over.
I'm partly to blame.
Sounds like being the manager, but yeah, I don't know.
You can be really immature sometimes. You know that.
So can you?
I can't. What are the odds, Lee, on the Arsenal Spurs game?
Yeah, Arsenal 2-5. The draw 17-5, Tottenham 13-2. That gives Tottenham a 13% chance of winning this game.
No, they wouldn't win 14 games, have 100 at the Emirates.
Yeah, that means Arsenal must be value in your mind. I mean, as we said, Tottenham, they're now joint best away team in the Premier League with Arsenal, with Chelsea. Chelsea and them are joint on goal difference. They're better than Arsenal.
You'll never sing that.
Look, I've got a feeling that they do get something out of the game.
Do you think so?
Well, they went to City and won. They've the only team this season to win at Elland Road. The only team this season to win at Hill Dickinson. I know it's Arsenal, but I think they can get something out of it. Without Gabriel, I think that's a big miss for Arsenal. I think Arsenal. They drew at Sunderland. This is a big test for Arsenal.
Don't get me excited.
This is a really big test for Arsenal. I think if they win and win well against Tottenham, then that's another massive tick in the title box for me. But I think it's a big test.
Can I ask you for who's going to get the first goal, that goal, or who people fancy for a goal? I'm always interested in that kind of thing because I'm looking around and you think, well, Arsenal, they might start with Marino up top because Gyökeres looks like he's still going to be out. There's chat of Odegaard maybe coming back in the side.
I thought they might go Trossard as a 9 and then play Martinelli on the left.
In terms of the favourites, Saka's favourite to score in terms of scoring. Gyökeres then.
So he's in there, okay.
Yeah, he's still in there.
But where would a Spurs?
I fancy a Romero.
Van de Ven. I fancy Van de Ven.
Van de Ven is our top goal scorer, by the way.
Well, I mean, they should deploy like NFL tactics.
Van de Ven's 11-1 to score in the game.
You have a quid on him. They should have NFL tactics.
Not score first, just to score.
Everyone just battering all the Arsenal players. He just runs down the middle.
Yeah, I mean,
like the corner.
He's going to score there. He's not from a corner yet.
I could be totally wrong, and we could get it could just be standard routine loss at the Emirates. But I don't know. Something's just telling me.
That's how I see it. I think Arsenal just looks at.
Just behaving how you have today. It's all right.
Well, because I've predicted Arsenal to beat Spurs. Okay. I mean, how dare I do such a thing like that? I think Arsenal are stronger than Spurs.
Yeah.
And
score draw.
Away from home, we're the same. Then.
Any kind of score draw 5-1.
I think Arsenal will win, and I think that'll be a good professional 2-0. You know.
You have a go at him for saying that as well.
Yeah.
I think you might get relegated, so it's fine.
I thought you said you couldn't be immature. Anyway.
Well, do you know what? The company you keep rubs off on you. The company I keep has rubbed off on me.
Hey, come on. Thanks, man.
How immature are you two?
No, it is immature though.
You've
been immature all day.
We're still on air, people.
We're still on air.
When you poke fun at a man like